smile appeared on her pretty face, and the sadness in the depths of her eyes dissipated a lot. Xiaoyi, I want to eat this. Feed me, she said with a smile, opened her cherry lips, and leaned over to wait for him to feed her. You'll be so greedy. Xiaoyi used cutlery to pick up two grilled oysters and stuffed them into her little mouth. Ziran also picked up two goblin eggs and fed them to him. Next came ice cold cola and ice cold beer. 1 bottle per person, which were blown directly into the mouth. It was the first time that Xiaoyi witnessed how powerful Ziran was. He could blow up a bottle in one breath. An hour later, all the food on the table was consumed, and 3 boxes of Coke and beer were consumed. Xiaoyi always felt something was strange. The goblin wanted a child. Ziran fed him more than 40 plates out of more than 50. Why did she always want to feed him a child? As they were getting married tomorrow? He didn't think too much about it and thought it might just be Ziran's bad taste. He patted his full stomach and let out a long burp. Sister Ziran, I'm going back. See you tomorrow. I can hold back this anger until tomorrow night. Don't worry, you men have great self-control. Xiaoyi waved his hand and went outside, wanting to return to his villa. In fact, he wanted to find Xingbing Shi and the others. Ziran said at this time, wait. You can't leave. Her expression was somewhat sad and determined. With sadness flashing in her beautiful eyes, she said to herself, this is the last day. I will satisfy you. Xiaoyi touched his head, not understanding what was going on, and turned back to ask, what? Ziran was angry and said, you idiot, why don't you understand what I say? I've hinted to him so many times, don't you understand what I mean? I am a girl, and it is very considerate of you to say this. You ate so much. But you didn't get angry. You are not good enough. Ziran was so angry that she dodged, hugged him forcibly, rushed into the guest room on the 3rd floor, and locked the door. Then, under Xiaoyi's stunned gaze, her clothes fell to the ground and she entered the bathroom attached to the guest room. The bathroom door was not closed, and the slender figure was vaguely visible in the white mist. 10 minutes later, Xiaoyi was stunned. She actually walked out naked, with determination in her beautiful eyes and firmness on her pretty face. Etc. I haven't washed it yet. Before Xiaoyi could react, he was knocked to the ground. No matter how he tried to stop Ziran, he couldn't. Sister Ziran, you are really hungry, he complained. Chapter 398. Oops, Ziran is missing. Like glue and lacquer, water and fire blend together. The seal power in Xiaoyi's body was released by Ziran. He experienced Ziran's tenderness and passion. 2 hours later, the battle ended and Xiaoyi fell into a deep sleep with a dizzy head. Ziran was dressed neatly and lying on the edge of the bed, looking at his handsome face as he fell asleep, with sadness in her beautiful eyes. From now on, you must live a happy life and treat Xiaobing well. Don't miss me when I'm not around. I probably won't have the chance to meet you for the rest of my life. Even if I did, I would probably be too dirty to face you. She leaned over and kissed his handsome face, leaving a faint red lip mark. Then Ziran took out a heavy special plate engraved with the words Holy Clan, bit his finger and dripped a drop of blood, turned on the token. Then a virtual projection popped up on the token, displaying several messages. Saintess of the Purple Family, in 5 days. The Saint Clan will send someone to take you back to the clan. The hidden Saint Clan will keep you. This information was received 5 days ago. In 1 month, a young master of the Imperial Clan will come to marry you. You should be prepared. The hidden Saint Clan will stay. Leave the secular world as soon as possible and return to the core of Blue Star. This information was received today. Ziran edited the text message and replied, I will go with you, please don't interfere in the affairs of the secular world. After replying, put away the token. She stared at Xiaoyi blankly for half an hour, her beautiful eyes full of nostalgia. Half an hour later, Ziran tore open a space crack, jumped in, and his figure disappeared. At the same time, Xiaoyi, who was sleeping on the bed, felt his heart tighten and he felt lost, as if something had left him. Once it left, it would never come back. He woke up suddenly and sat up with a start. His heart suddenly became a little flustered and he had no idea why. Ziran, I feel a little uncomfortable. Please comfort me and let's do it again. Xiaoyi reached out to touch the place next to him, but found nothing. When I lifted the quilt, there was no sign of Ziran. Nothing was there. There was just a fallen red flower on the blue sheet. Seeing this, the inexplicable panic in Xiaoyi's heart became even stronger. Etc. Xiaoyi frowned, having reached the realm of a great master. This kind of panic would not come without reason. There must be a reason. It seems that this panic is related to Ziran. Xiaoyi took out the communicator and called Ziran. Beep, beep, beep. A number you dialed is out of signal area. Please call again later. I called several times and it was the same every time. Xiaoyi's heart sank, and he had a bad feeling. Where did she go? Sister Ziran's behavior tonight was very abnormal according to normal logic. They would be getting married tomorrow and would have their wedding night after signing the contract. However, she gave herself to him today, and the wedding did not even take place, let alone the contract. Hello, Sister Yun Bing, is Sister Ziran next to you? Xiao Yi called Yun Bing. Yun Bing said unhappily, I'm busy with wedding matters in the middle of the night. Why is she next to me when she's not with you? No. Xiao Yi hung up the phone and called Huang Fu Xiangling. Xiao Yi, why is it that the person you are marrying is my master and not me? The sound of a white-haired girl crying and sniffling came from the communicator. Xiao Yi felt a headache. What the hell was going on? He just wanted to find out about Ziran, but he didn't expect to hear such words. Wait, don't cry first. I have something to ask you, Xiao Yi said. A white-haired girl sniffed and whimpered. What? Xiao Yi said directly, where is your master? I need to find her for something. The white-haired girl whimpered in confusion. I don't know, what's wrong? Xiao Yi rubbed his brows in worry and said, contact your master and see if you can get in touch with him. There must be a more special way of connecting between a master and his apprentice. The communicator was not hung up, and half a minute later, a surprised voice came from the white-haired girl. Hey, that's weird, the soul jade that master left for me is not responding, I can't get in touch with him. Xiao Yi hung up the phone, thinking to himself, oh no. It's trouble. Something might have happened to Ziran. Soul jade is a special jade item that can connect to the soul power and contact each other in the same realm. Ziran, you forced me to do this. There was a ruthless look in Xiao Yi's eyes, and he took out a rule-level treasure from the system space, the treasure hunting pointer. Rule level, treasure hunting pointer, function. As long as it exists in the world, it can find the hiding places of all natural treasures, including the locations of magical beasts of any attributes, soul bodies, secret realms, space nodes, and treasures. As long as the other party really exists in the universe, we can find it. Turning on the treasure hunting pointer, Xiao Yi enabled the search function target, Ziran, specific information. 1.7 meters tall, ordinary first-level Saint Realm. In order to make the information more accurate, he found the strands of Ziran's hair from the pillow and placed them on the treasure hunting pointer. Buzz buzz buzz. The treasure hunting pointer trembled, and a mysterious supreme chain stretched out from it and connected to the void. On the other side of the sea boundary, Ziran stood like a sculpture, looking somewhat sad. And no one knew what he was waiting for. The supreme chain linked to her. Ziran didn't notice anything at all. She was feeling a little depressed and immersed in grief and anger. Kunpeng Academy. The treasure hunting pointer stopped vibrating and sent a message. The target has been linked. Whether to enable the space node map navigation function. Open it. Xiao Yi said. As soon as he finished speaking, a three-dimensional map appeared in his mind, a three-dimensional map composed of spatial nodes. A blue navigation line appeared, starting with Xiao Yi and ending with Ziran. Xiao Yi looked at the map. He could understand it now. He had recently made up for his lack of knowledge about space nodes. Ziran is not in the main space of Blue Star, this space node. It seems to be in the center of the Earth. Isn't the center of the Earth all magma and core? Sister Ziran, why is she going to such a remote place? He scratched his head, confused. Xiao Yi looked at the three-dimensional map in his mind again, and was surprised to find that the space nodes around Ziran were golden, while the space nodes in the main space of Blue Star were blue. He immediately gave instructions to the treasure pointer, explaining the difference between gold and blue. Treasure pointer sends information. Golden space nodes are domains where the origin of rules exists. Blue ones are ordinary domains where the origin of rules does not exist. The rules of each planet cover all spaces in the world, but where the origin of the rules exists, the power of the rules is more intense if you control the origin of the rules. You could also be promoted to the rule-level Emperor realm. Xiao Yi felt that he had learned a lot. He took a pair of scissors, cut off the fallen red flower on the blue sheet, and put it away in an exquisite box. He was sure that the feeling of losing came from Ziran. Xiao Yi vaguely felt that if he didn't bring Ziran back today, he might never have the chance to see her again. Even if he saw her in the future, he would lose her forever. Chapter 399 Yanshi's jealousy. Ziran broke down in tears. Xiao Yi also wanted to know clearly why she went to that place and what she was going to do. He and Ziran are getting married tomorrow. Does she want to escape the marriage? He actually wants to escape from marriage. I must tie her back and kick her hard a few times to punish her and teach her a lesson. Xiao Yi left the villa and came to the nearby villa No. 1 to look for Yanshi. Zoran is a saint. To bring this saint back, one must have a saint, so Yanshi must be found. It is 10 o'clock in the evening. The lights are on in Villa No. 1, in the living room on the third floor. Yanshi was very depressed and felt like there was a suffocation in her heart that she couldn't get rid of. Why do I feel so uncomfortable when I think about Xiao Yi marrying Ziran, marrying another woman? Could it be that I really like him? Yanshi realized that she might have developed feelings for Xiao Yi and must like him in her heart. So when she thought about him marrying another woman, she couldn't suppress the discomfort and pain in her heart. She finally admitted that she liked Xiao Yi. No, he is Xiao Bing's husband. How can I fall in love with Xiao Yi? Xiao Bing married Xiao Yi, so I am destined not to marry him. How can't his sisters marry the same man at the same time? She rubbed her eyebrows and felt very depressed. Just then, knock knock. There was a knock on the door downstairs, followed by a magnetic and pleasant male voice. Sister Yun Shi, are you there? I have something to talk to you about. It was Xiao Yi's voice. Xiao Ya, why is he here so late? Yun Shi flashed to the first floor and welcomed Xiao Yi in. They were a single man and a single woman, and Yun Shi was secretly happy that she could be alone with him. Sister Yun Shi. Something happened to Ziran. She ran away from her marriage. Xiao Yi looked solemn and cut to the chase. Yun Shi was shocked. A hint of joy subconsciously emerged in her heart. It was a good idea to escape the marriage. The melancholy look on her pretty face disappeared instantly. Xiao Yi was surprised. Sister Yun Shi, Ziran ran away from marriage, are you happy? Yun Shi waved her hands hastily. No, why would Ziran run away from marriage? Where did she go? Xiao Yi frowned and looked at her in confusion. Although she said no, the joy in her beautiful eyes could not be concealed. But now time is tight, we have to bring Ziran back before tomorrow, otherwise there will be no bride at tomorrow's wedding. The invitations should have been sent out by now. The invitations to both Yiziar and Ziran have been sent out as Ziran, the bride, is not there tomorrow. And this wedding will be a joke and everyone will laugh at it. 39, 95, 27. Ziran is at this spatial node. Xiao Yi grabbed Yun Shi's white and tender little hand with his rough big hand and said quickly, let's go now and bring her back. When her little hand was grabbed, Yun Shi's cold and pretty face turned slightly red, and she felt a little excited inside. I don't think Ziran will run away from the marriage. She will come back on her own. How about we drink tea here and chat, she suggested. Xiao Yi was stunned. Damn it, Sister Yun Shi, are you happy that Ziran ran away from marriage? You don't even want to go look for her. You have to think it over carefully. This is a serious matter. The bride has run away from the marriage, which is embarrassing for me. If she leaves like this, I may never see her again. Having her inner thoughts expose the cold and beautiful face of the iceberg Queen Yun, she was embarrassed. And she said awkwardly, how is it possible? It's not possible at S39. 95, 27. This is the spatial coordinate. Let's go there now. Xiao Yi looked at her strangely. Yun Shi was a beautiful queen with a cold temperament. She was as beautiful as Ziran. And now she was better than Ziran and Yun Bing in figure. She was curvy, as if there was a big landmine in front, very firm and very top, which held up the bloated white robe. Behind her was a vestline with smooth lines, which lifted up the bloated white robe, as if a glass of water could be placed on it steadily. Slim figure, devilish body. But isn't she Ziran's best friend? Why would she feel happy when Ziran ran away from marriage? Xiao Yi scratched his head, puzzled. There, Yun Shi is now in the Holy Realm. The Holy Realm with space attributes. He tore open a space crack, took Xiao Yi's rough big hand, and walked in barefoot. Space teleportation, ultra-long distance teleportation. In the void at the back of the space, they teleported more than 10 times in a row. 10 minutes later, the two finally reached the spatial coordinates of 39, 95, 27. Positive side of space. Ziran stood there like a sculpture, alone in the vast void, and his back looked somewhat desolate. Here is the void between realms. I'm sorry. If I don't leave, it will bring disaster to you, so I have to go. Besides, I also have a family mission. Master the devouring rules and advance to the Emperor realm. As for the Fiank from the hidden imperial family, Ziran, would never marry him even if I die. I'm already married and have lost my virginity. My husband is Xiao Yi, the older brother who makes me both love and angry. Her pleasant yet sad voice echoed in the empty void. Suddenly, Ziran's pretty face turned cold and she shouted, "Boo!" She threw out a heavy punch, hitting the space barrier next to her. There was a loud noise. The space barrier shook several times. The figures of Yun Shi and Xiao Yi appeared. Seeing Ziran, Yun Shi let go of his rough big hand with a guilty conscience. Seeing the people coming, Ziran stood there in a daze, and said blankly, "You, why are you here? How did you find me?" Xiao Yi's handsome face was filled with anger. He flew over and said, "Don't worry about how we found you, Ziran. Do you want to escape from marriage? You just raped me, and you want to leave?" Bang, bang! Xiao Yi raised his hand and slapped Ziran's round, but hard several times. She slapped her every time he said a word. "Tell me, why are you leaving without saying goodbye?" Bang! You just walked away like that. You didn't even take me, Xiao Yi? Seriously at all? Bang bang! 2 more hits were given on the round butt. At this moment, Ziran was like a child who had done something wrong. Her pretty face was full of guilt. She lowered her head, avoided his gaze, and did not dare to look him directly in the eye. Silently enduring Xiao Yi's beating, Yun Shi looked at Ziran, who was being spanked, and a hint of envy and jealousy appeared in her beautiful eyes. Oh, if only Xiao Yi could spank my butt in such an intimate way. It would be so happy to flirt with him. But now, he was hitting Ziran. We can't let Xiao Yi continue fighting. Are you trying to show off your affection in front of me? So Yunshi said, Xiao Yi. Stop hitting her, it will break down if you continue. Listen to Ziran's explanation, she must be hiding something. Xiao Yi stopped spanking her and took Ziran into his arms. Hugging her tightly, he spoke warmly and firmly. Sister Ziran. You will never escape from my palm in your life. No matter where you go, I will be able to find you the first time, so don't think about leaving. If there are difficulties, let's face them together. This was like a confession of true feelings, and the sensitive and soft nerve in Ziran's heart was touched. And she broke down in tears. Chapter 400. Ziran decides to leave. I am the saint of a hidden saint clan. I have a mission on my shoulders and have been engaged since childhood. They will come to pick me up tomorrow if I don't leave early. They will not allow me to marry you. They may even kill you for my reputation. If I could, I would like to stay with you every day, and be with you every day. After Ziran sobbed silently for a minute, she explained desperately. Xiao Yi suddenly realized that Ziran left to protect him. His anger dissipated, and he felt a little distressed. Ziran had to bear all these grievances and difficulties alone. They were husband and wife, and they should have carried it together, but she had done it alone. Xiao Yi patted her on the back and comforted her. It's okay, they can't kill me. I have the 9 perfect nirvanas of the 9-tailed heavenly fox. The infinite blood rebirth of the 9-tailed heavenly fox, the infinite attribute inheritance and reincarnation of the candle dragon, as well as the 2 saints, Ni and Yunshi, and Mr. Tang Hao, who has reached the great perfection of the quasi-emperor. They can't kill me. Ziran's beautiful eyes widened, and she asked in astonishment, you actually have so many ways to save your life. Xiao Yi pinched her beautiful and pure face and said with a smile, yes, I am difficult to kill, so don't worry too much about my safety. Ziran's heart dropped a little, but it was still hanging. She said, you don't understand how powerful the Hidden Saint clan and the Hidden Emperor clan are. Those resurrection methods cannot cause any harm to the Hidden Saint clan and the Hidden Emperor clan. They will capture you and lock you in annihilation, cut off your consciousness and seal your soul. You will not be able to cause any trouble. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched, and he retorted, then I still have you and Yunshi, 2 saints. Yunshi, who was hugging his huge chest, nodded and said with a smile, yes, there are also the 2 of us in the Saint realm. Ziran shook his head and said self-deprecating lie, we are all at the first level of the Saint realm, and have just entered the Saint realm. How can we be the opponent of the Hidden Saint clan that has accumulated hundreds of thousands of years of experience? Xiao Yi said stubbornly, I still have Mr. Tang, who is a quasi-emperor. I don't believe that Mr. Tang can resist them. Ziran rolled his eyes and said, there are quasi-emperors in the Hidden Imperial clan, and the peak quasi-emperor is not a soul body. The combat power that a soul body that has reached the great perfection of the quasi-emperor realm can exert is greatly reduced. How can it possibly be a match for a peak quasi-emperor realm warrior from the Hidden World Imperial clan? Moreover, the soul body is quite special, and the Hidden World Imperial clan has special means to deal with the soul body. Xiao Yi. Yunshi also realized the seriousness of the matter and her face darkened. Ziran let go of Xiao Yi, her beautiful eyes firm, and said, I will leave alone to ensure everyone's safety. Xiao Yi, let me go. Otherwise, you and your beast girl will both suffer a catastrophic disaster. Xiao Yi was silent according to what Ziran said. Letting Ziran leave was indeed the most appropriate option. But he was unwilling to give up after this separation. He didn't know when he would see Ziran again. This talent is mythical, unique throughout the ages, but he has been practicing for a very short time, less than a year. And his realm is not high, only the great venerable realm. If he were given 100 years, the Hidden Saint clan and the Hidden Imperial clan would not be a problem. Ziran took a step back and said in a relaxed manner, don't worry, I won't marry that Fianq. You will be my only husband for the rest of my life. When I return to accept the inheritance, I will work hard to cultivate and strive to be the first to advance to the Emperor realm and become the invincible Blue Star. I will come to you as soon as possible. Or when you are promoted to the Emperor realm and become invincible on Blue Star, you can come find me. At that time, you won't have to be afraid of anything. No one can stop us from being together, and no one dares to stop us from being together. She took out a tablet from her storage ring, put it in Xiao Yi's hand, and said with a smile, if you miss me, just open your tablet and watch the little video I recorded inside. You'll absolutely love it. Then she took out a doll similar to a silicone doll, that was a 1-to-1 replica of herself. This doll is a replica of Ziran, with the same delicate skin and the same explosive figure as when she broke through the Saint realm. She wears a purple skirt and has purple hair. I made this myself using more than 10 special materials of the supreme perfection level. It is exactly like me, and every detail of the body is exactly the same. If you miss me in the future, you can hug this little Ziran, or do something you like. She has all kinds of functions. Xiao Ziran, you can take off this skirt. Ziran stuffed little Ziran into his hands. Xiao Yi was holding Xiao Ziran in his arms. holding a tablet in his hands, and the corners of his mouth kept twitching. Yunshi looked on and listened with a dull face, very confused. Ziran snorted and said, Xiaoxi, don't think that you have a great figure now when I was in my prime. You are no match for me, and this little Ziran's figure was made by me when I was in my prime. Yunshi didn't care much about her figure, so she nodded inferently. Ziran smiled proudly after the template was repaired. He was still a little narcissistic, but the degree was much less than before. Okay, I've finished explaining everything. Xiao Yi, I'm leaving and going back. Ziran looked at Xiao Yi deeply. Xiao Yi's face darkened and he shouted, stop. Ziran's body trembled, and tears filled her eyes, but she turned around resolutely and left, flying away into the distance. Xiao Yi hurriedly said, Sister Yunshi, bring her back and tie her up. Yunshi shook her head and said, Ziran's choice is the most correct one. This way you will not be harmed and will not be haunted by the hidden clans. Although I don't know much about the hidden clans, but from what Ziran said, their Sei clan has a history of hundreds of thousands of years, which is longer than the imperial capital of our dragon country. It can be traced back to dozens of eras ago. I believe their combat power is very strong. I will not put everyone in danger for your own selfish desires. Otherwise, I will not be able to protect you at all. She stood beside Xiao Yi, explaining, but did not chase after him. Xiao Yi sighed, took out the Bronze Palace and activated the capture function. The Bronze Palace is a perfect imperial weapon at the quasi-emperor level, and it can forcibly capture creatures at the supreme quasi-saint level without any effort. Buzz buzz buzz. The Bronze Palace directly locked onto Ziran, who was 20,000 meters away, and instantly projected two rays of light, one green and one blue. Ziran was flying quickly in a very depressed mood, when suddenly two rays of light of different colors were projected on her. Her flight came to an abrupt end. What is this? My realm has been sealed. I can't move. Who is it? The two rays of light from the Bronze Palace were retracted, and Ziran was forcibly captured inside. Xiao Yi chuckled, want to leave? Impossible. Even in the face of crisis. I can't let you leave. As for this little Ziran, I've collected it? He pinched Xiao Ziran's big landmine and was surprised to find that it felt exactly the same as the real one. Yunshi was shocked and said anxiously, if you do this, I won't be able to protect you. Do you want Xiao Bing and your beast mother to be in danger? Chapter 401 embarrasses Ziran decides to stay. Letting Ziran go is the most appropriate choice. It's not like you can't see each other in the future. Let her leave and keep everyone safe. You are not strong enough now to fight against the hidden Saint clan and the hidden Emperor clan. A hint of anxiety appeared on Yunshi's cold and pretty face. Just now, she didn't want Ziran to stay for her own selfish desires. But now, for the sake of the overall situation, she must let Ziran go. Xiao Yi's eyes were as bright as the stars in the sky. And he said, if an enemy comes, we will stop him. If a flood comes, we will block it with earth. Sister Yunshi, there is no need to be so fearful. Let us go to the Bronze Hall first. A portal appeared and the two entered the Bronze Hall. The Bronze Palace Tower is suspended in the void outside. Inside the tower, on the top of the 10th floor, a beautiful figure in a purple dress was walking back and forth beside the altar, with a sad look on her pretty face. This is the interior of the Bronze Palace. It seems that Xiao Yi doesn't intend to let me leave. Does he want me to go back and be a bride and hold a wedding? Tomorrow, the people from the Hidden Z family will come to take me back to the clan. If they knew I was getting married, they would definitely make a scene at the wedding, and even kill the groom for my innocence and reputation. After all, I am engaged to the young master of the Shang, one imperial clan, a hidden superpower. At this time, Xiao Yi and Yunshi appeared behind her. Xiao Yi asked, Sister Ziran, do you feel you belong to the so-called Hidden Z family? Ziran smiled bitterly. After I awakened my template at the age of 18, I came to the secular world and stayed there for 500 years. I have never been back. Which I remember clearly. All other experiences have long been blurred. There's no sense of belonging. That's it. Why go back? There's no need to go back, Xiao Yi said in a firm tone. If an enemy comes, we will stop him with our generals. If a flood comes, we will block it with earth. We have old Master Tang as our protective umbrella. I don't believe that the hidden Emperor clan will directly send the most powerful quasi-emperor to capture you. As long as it's not the most powerful quasi-emperor realm, Mr. Tang should be able to handle it. This, Ziran sighed, feeling that everything he had said before was in vain. In short, I won't allow you to go. I won't allow you to leave. Do you understand, Ziran? Xiao Yi said firmly. Yunshi thought of something and suddenly asked in a cold voice, Ziran, are the hidden families the forces that kidnapped Xiaobing and my parents? You have guessed it, so I have nothing to hide. Zoran confessed, yes. The one who captured your parents was the hidden imperial clan, the Shangwan imperial clan. There was a blazing fire in Yunshi's cold and beautiful eyes. She said coldly, why did they arrest my parents? Ziran recalled for a moment and said uncertainly, I don't know the specifics, but I roughly know that they were captured as experimental subjects. And the survival rate is less than 1 in 1,000. Yunshi's aura was released violently. You mean? My parents have been killed. A hidden imperial family, damn it. She and Yunbing were born in a small force. Her parents were at the great venerable level. Not long after they awakened their templates, their parents were kidnapped. And the Yun family's small force was attacked by their enemies and fell apart. The two of them listened to Ziran's advice and entered the original Demon City Academy, where they were protected by the Dean and escaped death. At the Magic City Academy, she met the young queen. They bathed and slept together. They became more and more familiar with each other, becoming sisters and best friends. Laying a solid foundation for their deep friendships, Ziran patted her shoulder and said, when Xiaobing wanted to look for your parents, she couldn't find them. At that time, we were so weak that we couldn't even enter the rule realm, so I locked Xiaobing up to prevent her from falling into danger. Ziran still feels that what she did was right, and she would still do the same thing if she had to do it again. You did the right thing. After a long while, Yunshi suppressed his anger. Xiaoyi, help me upgrade the template. I want to improve my realm quickly and seek revenge on the hidden imperial clan. They captured my and Xiaobing's parents, and put our Yun family in danger. We were directly exterminated. I want all the so-called hidden imperial clans to be buried with my parents and my family. She and Xiaobing had almost cleared out those enemies after they were promoted to the supreme, but they only found out now that the people who kidnapped their parents were from the hidden imperial family, the Shangwan imperial family. Xiao Yi rubbed his brows. He had already realized that the hidden imperial clan, the Shangwan clan, would be the enemy he would have to face next. Not only is Ziran the fiancé of the young master of the Shangwan imperial clan, but also Sister Yunbing and Sister Yunshi's revenge for the extermination of their clan requires them to confront the Shangwan imperial clan. Sister Yunshi, I promise you that after the wedding, I will upgrade the template for you, he replied. Yunshi's beautiful eyes showed joy. Thank you, Xiao Yi. Xiao Yi waved his hand. Why thank me? You and I are a family? Ziran pouted her face in anger, put her hands on her hips and said, Xiao Yi, I gave you my first time although we haven't married yet. I will be yours for the rest of my life and you haven't upgraded my template yet. Xiao Yi pinched her pretty face and said with a smile, after the contract is signed, I will help you upgrade the template. Let us go back. Let us face the danger together. I won't let you go back alone to bear everything. Don't be too anxious or worried. TS under E. And I have innate skills related to time. We can predict the future and foresee crises in advance, so we can prepare in advance. If a crisis arises that we cannot handle, the worst that can happen is that all of us hide in the Bronze Palace, escape into the universe, leave Blue Planet, and come back for revenge when we become stronger. Anyway, Sister Ziran, there is no way I will let you go. As for your family mission, a family without a sense of belonging forced you to be stuffed with the crystal fragments of the rules of creation. When you awakened, you were attacked after you upgraded to the Saint Realm. If I hadn't helped you, you would have been completely destroyed. In serious cases, you would have exploded and died. This is equivalent to your family killing you. What kind of family is that? Why would you go back and fight with them? Your parents, if they still have feelings for you, they wouldn't force you to do things you don't like. Ziran was stunned by what was said. Yunshi also changed her mind at this time and said in a cold voice, yes. Ziran, you can't go back. If you go back, you will marry the young master of the imperial clan. I will destroy the Shangwan imperial clan in the future. I don't agree with you becoming a member of the Shangwan imperial clan. You said you wouldn't get married when you go back, but after you go back, it's no longer up to you. Ziran's face rose. This was indeed the case. As she really went back. But she not marry the young master of the imperial family if she said she would? Impossible. Xiao Yi's face was filled with anger when he heard this, and he said, Sister Ziran, I will lock you in the Bronze Palace so that you cannot leave my area within 1,000 miles, otherwise you will be forcibly captured and taken to the Bronze Palace. It's a good thing I didn't let you go, otherwise, when we meet again, I guess you and the young master of the imperial family will have 3 children. At that time, even if you still have me in your heart, I will have completely lost you. Even if you destroy the Shangwan imperial clan in the future, will you let me be a father and help the young master of the imperial clan raise his children? Ziran scratched his head awkwardly. I really didn't want to betray you. I never thought about it really. I belong to you alone, both physically and mentally. Okay, don't be angry, Xiao Yi. I have decided not to go back and I will never leave you for the rest of my life. Chapter 402. Things take a turn for the better. A world wedding. Yunshi calmed down. In order to achieve revenge, one must grow to the peak now. The task is to prevent the people from the hidden holy clan of the Z family from disrupting the wedding and taking Ziran away. Please stop showing off your affection in front of me. If you want to show off, go home and show it in bed. Just as Yunshi calmed down, she felt the jealousy taking root in her heart, and her fists were clenched hard. Ziran threw herself into Xiaoyi's arms, feeling a sense of happiness that she had lost and regained. She rubbed her delicate face against his chest and said, "It's okay, Xiaoxi, if you don't like to see it. Just turn your head over there." Yunxi gritted her teeth and said, "If you don't want to watch it, and don't watch it." Somehow, she felt very angry when she saw her best friend being so close to Xiao Yes. He wanted to raise her fist and punch Ziran twice, leaving two big bumps on her head. Could it be that she was jealous because she liked Xiaoyi? Xiaoyi rubbed Ziran's little head gently like he was petting a kitten, and said, "After the contract is signed, I will immediately upgrade your templates and raise your template level to the mythical level." Mythical level. Hearing this, Ziran and Yunxi became excited. Mythical level, favored by the world, favored by the laws. A person of luck according to the legend. People of luck are said to be mysterious, such as those who can make a jetty counterattack, right through the battlefield, die and be reborn, etc. They are simply indestructible cockroaches and will inevitably grow into extraordinary people. Xiaoyi thought for a moment and said, "I guess you all know how powerful the mythical template is, so you don't have to worry too much about the people from the hidden imperial clan. Of course, don't worry too much. But that doesn't mean you don't need to prepare in advance. I'll predict the future now and see what the situation is." Hearing this, Ziran and Yunbing calmed down and understood the importance of the matter. Mysterious energy factors emerged from Xiaoyi's body. Predict the future. Predict the irreversible future trend after a period of time. The fragment is relatively vague. And the innate skill was immediately activated. The time factor vibrated at a strange frequency, as if it had opened the door to the long river of time, connected to the long river of time, and extracted important events related to Xiaoyi from the long river of time. A minute later, images appeared in his mind. There are 4 scenes in total. The first one shows 4 people in ancient robes being stopped outside a wedding hotel by Ziran, who was wearing a wedding dress. The second scene was that the 4 people were talking to each other, and Ziran, who was wearing a wedding dress, was listening with a look of joy and excitement on her face. The third scene is Ziran extending his hand to invite the 4 people to attend the wedding, and the 4 people waved their hands to refuse. The fourth scene is Ziran watching the 4 people leaving the wedding hotel. After Xiaoyi read the screen, his mind was full of question marks. What on earth did these people say that made so happy? Ziran even invited them to the wedding, but they didn't enter the wedding world instead. They left and didn't interfere with the wedding. When these people saw Ziran wearing a wedding dress and standing at the entrance of the wedding hotel, anyone with a normal brain could guess that Ziran was a bride today and was about to get married. But after saying a few words, they allowed Ziran to get married and left. If he could predict the future, he would not have foreseen that these people would kill him, which meant that these people would not harm him in the future. But why? Xiaoyi was very confused. Seeing his dull expression, Ziran and Yunxi became anxious. "Xiaoyi, what's wrong? Did we have a successful wedding? Xiaoyi, is everyone in danger? Can I defeat them?" Xiaoyi shook his head and said in confusion, "Our wedding went smoothly, Sister Ziran. Your tribesmen talked to you for a while and then left. They didn't take you away forcefully. Sister Yunxi, we are all fine, no one attacked us." This, Ziran and Yunxi were both shocked. The two looked at Xiaoyi in astonishment and said, "What did my people say? They didn't take me away." "Yeah, what did you say?" Xiaoyi's mouth twitched. "How the hell do I know what they said? I can only see a few pictures, but I can't hear any sound. Anyway, we are not in danger at this stage, and Sister Ziran will not be taken away." Ziran's pretty face became smiling, like a graceful lotus blossoming, showing her purity and elegance, and she said, "The wedding will be held tomorrow. We will know what they said tomorrow. We should be happy. They didn't take me away, which means things are turning around." Yunxi was not as optimistic as Ziran, and said with a sullen face, "Even if your clansmen didn't make things difficult for you, don't forget that there is still the hidden imperial clan. As long as this imperial clan still exists, you can never relax and must be prepared for emergencies." Xiaoyi nodded and said, "That's right, we must destroy the hidden imperial clan. And I am also very curious as to why your people did not take you away after they knew you were the bride. We will find out at the wedding tomorrow." After saying this, Xiaoyi put away the bronze palace and followed the 2 absolutely beautiful ladies with different temperaments back to the villa of Kunpeng Academy. Seeing Xiaoyi hugging Ziran and entering the bedroom, Yunxi outside the door clenched her fists. A rare look of jealousy appeared on her cold and pretty face. She wished she could replace the mistress of the bedroom with herself. "Sister, why are you staring at the bedroom door?" Suddenly, Yunbing's voice came from the stairs. It was Yunbing who came back. Yunxi's eyes were a little evasive, and she said in a panic, "No. Nothing, I'm going back." "Wait," Yunbing said. Yunxi's devilishly curvy body trembled, and she thought to herself, "Oh no, could Yunbing have discovered something?" Yunbing snorted, "Sister, you must come to the wedding tomorrow, or I will tie you up and whip your butt with a whip." "So that's it." She breathed a sigh of relief, her heart was at ease, and she smiled and said, "Don't worry, I'll be there." She was very curious about what Ziran's tribe meant. Then, she teleported back to Villa No. 1 next door. Standing in the living room, she patted her proud chest, causing a ripple, and said, No, Xiao Yi is Xiaobing's husband. I can't have any thoughts about him or develop any romantic feelings for him. Otherwise Xiaobing will be sad. The night is long. Some people are alone in their empty rooms, some are singing, and some are crying all night long. The next day, at the wedding hotel, outside the small world portal, in the lobby, Yunbing and Yitai were personally in charge of welcoming the big shots who came with invitations to attend the wedding. The two of them registered the names of these people and the gifts they sent. "How are you, brother Yi? I haven't seen you for a while. Your daughter is getting married, congratulations. I'm Jin Pang, the national chef of the Supreme Alliance. And I'm here to attend the Alliance leader's wedding." "Hey, you've come to the wrong place. This is the wedding of the daughter of the Yi family in Jinling City. This Magic City wedding hotel usually only receives one couple a day. Did you remember the date wrong? It can't be wrong, it is clearly written on the invitation from the leader." Dozens of people in the lobby were quite surprised and thought that the other party had come to the wrong place. At this time, Yunbing and Yitai, who were at the registration desk, stood up at the same time. Yitai smiled and said, "You all remembered correctly, and the invitation was written correctly. The leader of the Supreme Alliance and my daughter are both brides today, marrying the same man at the same time." "That's right, marry Xiao Yi at the same time," Yunbing said. "Fuck." More than 30 guests in the lobby and outside the hotel were all shocked. Chapter 403. Someone from the Z family's holy clan comes and the truth is revealed. What a blessing it is to have so many people. One is the daughter of the Yi family in Jinling City. Who is the other one? It's the leader of our Supreme Alliance, Ziran. She also has another title, the most beautiful woman in the imperial capital. The leader of the Supreme Alliance. This is a top figure, and a beautiful woman. I'm jealous. I'm so jealous and envious. Whether the guests were in the lobby or outside, they all gasped and started talking when they heard it. At the same time, there was a heat of admiration in their eyes when they looked at Yitai and Yunbing. Being able to ignore the world's strange looks and let his daughters marry the same person for the sake of their love requires a broad mind and courage that they cannot match. I have a question. If two women marry the same person at the same time, then the groom can only contract one person. What about the other one? There are unofficial historical records that some extraordinary people can contract multiple beast girls at the same time. Maybe this groom is such an extraordinary person. I don't believe it. I've never heard of it. I don't believe it either. Let's see what the groom will do when he signs the contract. Time passed slowly, and nearly 200 people came from the two families one after another. They were all relatives and friends. Ziran also had some members of the Supreme Alliance to make up the number. They were all supreme beings promoted and trained by Ziran. After the registration was completed, everyone entered the small world of wedding. In a colorful pink peach forest, there is a huge platform with benches arranged neatly and orderly. In the middle of the benches is a bright red carpet that extends from the peach forest to the high platform in the center of the platform. More than 200 guests from both families sat down at once, and soon the benches were full. Yunbing and Yitai also arrived and sat on the chairs behind the platform. Zheng Bingxi, Nan Gongxia, Liu Yamyu and King Zhu sat in the first row of chairs under the platform. Waves of festive music sounded, and the host in a suit came to the podium and said with a smile, "Please welcome the bride and groom." After the voice fell, half a minute passed and no one came from the end of the red carpet. The host spoke again, "Please invite the bride and groom to enter." The bride and groom still hadn't walked down the red carpet. Yitai frowned. "Where is the person?" Yunbing whispered, "I'll go take a look." She used space teleportation to arrive at the portal of the small world, and returned to the lobby of the wedding hotel in the Magic City base city through the portal. At this time, in the lobby, Ziran and Izir were both wearing red retro wedding dresses, with phoenix crowns on their heads, small boots on their jade feet, and long skirts behind them. One is a pure and beautiful queen. The other is a quiet and gentle girl. Behind them, Yunqi was holding up the hem of Ziran's wedding dress, and the white-haired girl Huang Fuxi Angling was holding up the hem of Izir's wedding dress to prevent it from dragging on the ground and getting dirty or stepped on. However, somehow, the expressions of both of them showed some depression and indignation. "Yunbing, you didn't lift the hem of your skirt yourself, but asked me to lift it. I had to lift the hem of my skirt during the entire wedding process. I watched them sign the contract with my own eyes. It really pissed me off." This unintentional behavior made the cold-blooded Yunqi feel very depressed and angry. Yunbing even gave it a nice excuse to let her experience the joy of the wedding more deeply. On her left was the white-haired girl Huang Fuxi Angling, also holding up her long skirt with both hands. She looked calm on the surface, but her sharp eyes represented the bombardment in her heart. If looks could kill, Izir would have been chopped into pieces long ago. Damn it, damn it. I was actually asked to lift the skirt of the stupid ZR. I'm so angry. Master is really something, forcing me to give orders without giving me the right to refuse. You knew I liked Xiao Yi, but you still lifted his skirt when he was signing a contract with another woman. Do you know how hurtful this is to me? Yun Shi and Huang Fu Shi angling looked at each other, and when they saw that the other was also depressed and indignant, they both showed surprise on their pretty faces. As the two of them looked at each other, they actually felt that they were both people in the same boat and felt a sense of sympathy for each other. Xiang Ling, lift your skirt a little higher, it's already touching the ground, Ezr suddenly said. You are my bridesmaid today, you know? Huang Fushi angling glared and said unhappily, I know. Yun Bing walked forward and asked, we are waiting for you at the scene, what are you doing? Ziran smiled and said, I have something else I need to do. Suddenly, Xiao Yi, who was looking out the door, spoke up. His magnetic voice came over, and his voice was a little solemn. Ziran, your people are here. Ziran's innocent and pretty face became expressionless, and she felt a little uneasy. She walked forward, took Xiao Yi's hand, and said, let's go out together. Xiao Yi frowned. This is not good. I am not a member of the Z family, and I am the groom. What if they change their minds after seeing me? What if they change the result of the prophecy picture? Ziran rolled her eyes at him and said, didn't you say that the future that can be predicted is a predetermined future? The general trend cannot be changed. Moreover, from now on, you are my husband, which means you are half a member of the Z family, and you are the son-in-law of the Z family. Xiao Yi shrugged, okay then, let's go meet him together. The two held hands and walked out the door. Behind Ziran, Yun Shi rolled her eyes, lifted the long hem of her wedding dress, and followed her out. Outside the door beside the road, stood four men in ancient robes, waiting quietly. Seeing Ziran walking out of the wedding hotel, the four of them looked at her, with shock on their faces. He looks very similar to the clan leader, with 2 eyes, a nose and a mouth. This guy should be the young clan leader. But a wedding dress? Are you getting married? Is the guy next to him the groom? The Imperial clan just cancelled the engagement, so the young clan leader is getting married now. Ziran held Xiao Yi's hand, feeling a little uneasy, and walked over, smiling faintly. I will not go back with you. When you go back, tell my parents that I want to stay in the secular world and not go back. Meet the young patriarch. 2. Greetings to the young chief. 2. For men in ancient robes placed their hands on the badge with the word purple on their chests and bowed to greet each other. Then, the ancient robed man standing in the middle said with a smile, young patriarch, we will bring your message to you. This time, we are not here to take you back, but to inform you of a piece of news. Ziran was stunned. Aren't you here to take me back? The ancient robed man nodded and said with a smile, that's right, young patriarch. The news is that the Shangwan Imperial clan unilaterally and proactively cancelled the engagement with the Z clan not long ago. Our clan leader was furious and also unilaterally cancelled the engagement with the Shangwan Imperial clan, and announced that the Z clan Saint clan and the Shangwan Imperial clan would no longer intermarry in the future. So, you are no longer engaged to the young master of the Shangwan Imperial clan. Hearing this, Ziran was overjoyed. A look of joy appeared on her pure and beautiful face, and she jumped for joy. Xiao Yi suddenly realized. He was wondering why Ziran was so happy in the predictive picture yesterday. It turned out that her marriage with Shangwan Izi was dissolved. Good, this is very good. Chapter 404, Double Bride Wedding, Conclusion of the Contract. The cancellation of the engagement means that Ziran has regained her freedom and no longer needs to marry the young master of the Shangwan Imperial family. Moreover, if Ziran marries Xiao Yi, she will not be hunted down by the Shangwan Imperial family. At this moment, Xiao Yi and Ziran felt as if they had unloaded a heavy burden from their shoulders, and their bodies seemed to feel a lot more relaxed. The two looked at each other and saw the joy in each other's eyes. This is my husband. Xiao Yi, when you go back, please say hello to my parents on behalf of Xiao Yi and me, Ziran said with a bright smile. The four men in ancient robes looked at Xiao Yi, then put their hands on the badges on their chests, bowed, and said, meet the young master's husband to 2. Meet the young master husband, 2. Xiao Yi waved his hand and said simply, hello. The four of them nodded and looked at Xiao Yi, who was wearing the ancient costume of a groom, with surprise in their eyes. Too young. Judging from his appearance, he is less than 50 years old. The aura of this realm, let me knock. Is it the second level of Great Venerable? Yes. Is this person really from the secular world? His talent is so amazing that he is even more awesome than the young master of the Shangwan Imperial clan. A 50-year-old Great Venerable. Even in the realm of rules, there has never been such a monstrous person. If this matter were told to others, people would probably laugh their heads off and no one would believe it. However, the man in front of him, the husband of the young clan leader, was a Great Venerable who was under 50 years old. The four of them wiped their eyes and felt the aura of Xiao Yi again, and it turned out that he was still a second-level Great Venerable. At this moment, respect appeared in the eyes of the four people in ancient robes. Monsters are worthy of respect, especially those with such brilliant talents that are rare in the ages. Young patriarch. The patriarch's wife said that she misses you very much and hopes that you can find time to go back and see her. Your husband can also come with you. Okay, we have delivered our message. It is time to go back. I am leaving now. After finishing speaking, the four bowed again and left. Ziran stared at them leaving in a daze, murmuring, "Mom, do you miss me a lot?" She shook her head with a look of surprise on her face, and said, "Xiaoyi, did you hear that? My engagement with the young master of the Shangwan Imperial clan has been cancelled." Xiaoyi smiled and nodded. "I heard it, this is a good thing." Behind Ziran, the icy Dinyanshi, who was holding up her skirt, had a hint of depression on her cool and pretty face. For some reason, after she heard that the engagement was cancelled, she felt uncomfortable when she thought of Ziran and Xiaoyi being together. But this is very strange. Yun, she thinks that she hopes Ziran and the young master of the Shangwan Imperial family will not be involved. The engagement is cancelled, which is a good thing. Could it be that I have been deeply poisoned by Xiaoyi? Have I completely fallen for him? Can't extricate myself? Yun, she was a little confused and couldn't figure out Xiaoyi's position in her heart. She just vaguely felt that Xiaoyi was extremely important to her, so important that he was an indispensable part of her life. Alas, Xiaoyi is Xiaobing's husband. I should find a way to reduce some of the negative thoughts about Xiaoyi. It's impossible for the twin sisters to both marry Xiaoyi, right? No, this will hurt Xiaobing. I would rather endure it myself than hurt Xiaobing. After this matter was over, Ziran and Xiaoyi returned to the lobby. Young Bing said, "Come in quickly. Everyone can't wait any longer." Everyone passed through the portal and arrived at the small wedding world. In the center of the peach forest, on the high platform, the host stood there, constantly narrating the origin of the peach forest, implying that the newlyweds would get married and live together until old age, etc. To delay some time. Most importantly, as the resident host of the wedding hotel, he wanted to advertise and let the fame of the Magic City Wedding Hotel spread to Jinling City and the imperial capital. Itai's face darkened when he heard this. Is it appropriate to brazenly advertise the Magic City in front of him, the mayor of Jinling City? In a flash, Yan Bing appeared on the chair next to him and said, "Host, City Lord Ya, the bride and groom have arrived. The wedding can officially begin." The host nodded, stopped advertising in time, and said with a smile, "Please welcome the bride and groom." As soon as he finished speaking, countless red and tender petals in the peach forest suddenly fell down, flying all over the sky, bringing with them a pleasant smell, dancing over the entire platform and drifting down. Everyone's attention was attracted by this scene. At the end of the peach forest, on the red carpet, Xiaoyi held Ziran on his left hand, and Yizir on his right hand. Step by step, he walked steadily towards the large platform. Yun Shi and Huang Fu Xiangling, the two big enemies, were behind the two brides, holding up their long skirts, following the bride and groom on the red carpet and onto the stage, witnessing the signing of the contract up close. Here comes the groom. Here comes the broom. Yes, there are really two brides. This groom is too young, and he has an extraordinary temperament. Like a banished immortal walking in the world. Very handsome and cool. Damn, no wonder our leader is so fascinated by him. This groom is really more handsome, taller, and has a better temperament than us rough guys. Oh my god. The other bride is pretty good looking too. Her looks aren't even comparable to the leader's, it's just that her temperament is different. Hey. I found a blind spot. How come the leader's figure has become so mediocre? The bride and groom will sign the contract soon. I have a question. Will the two brides enter the bridal chamber together at night? Can the groom handle it? Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, surrounded by flying peach blossoms, Xiaoyi held the hands of the two brides and climbed onto the wedding platform. The looks of Cheng Bingxi, Nan Gong Saya, Liu Yanyu and King Zhu were somewhat complicated. It would be a lie to say that they were not jealous, but it was also true that they were generous. When I get the chance in the future, I will ask Xiaoyi to give me a grand wedding. Cheng Bingxi said secretly. Nan Gong Sayao's face was full of envy when she had signed the contract with Xiaoyi. There were no spectators, no wedding, and even no banquet. Looking at Xiaoyi and Yizir on the high platform, her face was full of longing. The host smiled and said, "Now, let's move on to the stage of worshipping heaven and earth and concluding the contract. First, bow to heaven and earth. Second, bow to parents. Third, bow to each other as husband and wife." Xiaoyi stood in the middle, with Ziran on the left and Yizir on the right. Bow to heaven and earth. And the three of them turned around, and Yunxi and Yizir, who were behind the bride, also turned half a circle. The three of them bowed to Yitai Yunbing. Yitai and Yunbing both had happy looks on their faces. They accepted the bride and groom's bows and nodded. Next, a couple bowed to each other. Xiaoyi took a step forward, then turned around, faced the two beautiful brides and bowed. Ziran and Yizir looked happy and bowed as well. The host spoke again. Now it's time for the oath and questions. Groom Xiaoyi. No matter whether the bride is rich or poor, high or low in realm, are you willing to spend your life happily with bride Ziran and bride Yixir, fighting, growing and living together with them? Xiaoyi smiled and said, I am willing no matter what the conditions are in the future. I, Xiaoyi, am willing to be with Ziran and Yixir. Hearing this, Ziran and Yixir felt their hearts beating like fluttering deer. Their hearts were filled with joy and happiness. Then the host asked questions to Ziran and Yixir. Bride Ziran, bride Yixir, no matter the bridegroom, will live together in the future? Ziran and Yixir looked at each other and said with a smile, I do. I do. The host said, okay. Now, bride and groom, exchange evidence and conclude a contract. Chapter 405. The bride and groom enter the bridal chamber. The exciting moment has arrived. And this groom really contract multiple beast girls? There are all kinds of things in the world of beast girls. Is there really such a god? The people who were watching and witnessing on the platform began to whisper. Everyone's eyes were focused on the bride and groom. Xiaoyi smiled and said, let's go together. Ziran and Yixir nodded and released the power of the contract together. Xiaoyi also released the power of the contract. The power of the contract comes into contact with each other and blends together. Like two chains, they locked Xiaoyi and Ziran Yixir. The two women felt a mysterious force connecting to every aspect of their bodies. They did not resist and allowed this connection to fully nourish and lock them. After a while, the contract was concluded. They both felt a stronger connection with each other. All kinds of insights automatically emerged in Xiaoyi's mind. And his body gained for more attributes, which were the template attributes of the two women. Auspicious attribute, curse attribute, devouring attribute, creative attribute. After a period of time, he quickly mastered these four attributes as if his body already possessed them, and was able to use the innate skills of the four attributes as skillfully as waving his own arms. Power of blessing, bless all things in the world, making their luck soar in a short period of time. Power of the curse, curse all things in the world, causing their luck to drop sharply in a short period of time and their bad luck to increase. Black hole devouring, summon a black hole, transform into a black hole. Analysis of everything. Analyze everything and get to the essence. Swallow and feed back. The black hole devours everything, absorbs energy, mental power, soul power, ki, blood, power of rules, etc. and feeds back to itself, keeping itself in peak condition at all times. Ultimate suction, the suction and pulling force that nothing in the world can escape. Manifestation. As long as something exists or has existed in the world, and its structure and function are understood, it can be manifested out of thin air. Xiaoyi was very satisfied. The innate skills of the four attributes were all very practical. The ability to bless can help you and your family get things done smoothly and achieve twice the result with half the effort. The ability to curse can make the enemy sick. The black hole ability can transform into a juicer, squeezing out all the useful things in the world and nourishing itself. The ability to manifest, to create out of thin air, to create infinitely. Xiaoyi approached the two brides, kissed them on the pretty face one after another, and said solemnly, from now on, you will be my beast mothers, Xiaoyi. The two girls nodded and were very happy, especially Yixir, whose little mouth was almost split to her ears from laughing. She was so happy. Behind Ziran and Yixir, Yunxi and Huangfushi angling gritted their teeth, their beautiful eyes almost spitting fire. When they see other women signing contracts with the men they like face to face, just like getting a marriage certificate in person, they feel very uncomfortable, sour and bitter, as if they had eaten citric acid. The two of them held up their skirts the whole time, acting as tools. The person you love is getting married, but the bride is not you, and you have to hold up her skirt the whole time. It's a very sad experience. The host said, the contract is concluded. The bride and groom enter the bridal chamber. Xiaoyi held the hands of the two girls, walked down the red carpet, and disappeared into the depths of the peach forest in the sight of everyone. Yunxi and Yixir lifted their skirts and escorted the three of them to the bridal chamber. Oh my god. The contract has really been concluded. The pure goddess is getting married. My youth is over. This groom is a god. It's a blessing to have two wives. Can the groom handle it at night? Below the stage, the guests were talking about it and were amazed. The host concluded, please move to the banquet hall and have your feast. Yitai and Yungbing also stood up and greeted both parties. Chengbing, she said viciously, I will eat a lot and use the food to make up for my complicated feelings. Nan Gongxiao agreed very much and said fiercely, yes, treat the food as Xiaoyi and bite him to death. Yu Ya pursed her lower lip, and sad tears flowed from her mouth. Mu Qingzu looked down and could no longer see her toes. On the other side, on the third floor of Villa No. 3 in the No. 1 Lakeview Villa area of Kunpeng College, Villa number 3 was empty and was used by Yunbing as her wedding house. At the bedroom door, Yunxi and Huangfushi angling put down their skirts. They have done their best by lifting their skirts and escorting people to the door of the bridal chamber. Wang Fu Xiangling gnashed her teeth and said, I'll just send you here, I won't send you to bed, I want to have a feast. Yun Shi said nothing, but a cold face, and left with Wang Fu Xiangling. Ziran watched the two people leave, her beautiful eyes sparkling with light. She saw something from them. When Yiziar thought about what was going to happen next, her face became shy and she lowered her head, not daring to look at Xiaoyi. Xiaoyi rubbed his hands and said with a chuckle, Ziran, Ziar, come in quickly. Ziran snorted and said, You and Ziar go in, I'll keep watch for you in the living room. She is not able to serve Xiaoyi together with other women. Xiaoyi nodded, pulled Yiziar, and went into the master bedroom. The door was not closed, but generously opened. He said, Sister Ziaran, you can come in any time when you figure it out. Xiaoran's face darkened and he said, Dream on, it'll be my turn tomorrow. Xiaoyi, it's up to you, I won't be angry if you sneak in the middle of the night. Ziran's pretty face turned red. Her thoughts were actually exposed. Hurry up and go in, and stop showing off. She kicked off her shoes and closed the door with one of her feet. Inside, Xiaoyi held Yiziar's red face and said, A night of spring is worth 1,000 gold, we can't waste a minute or a second. I'm going to start. Yiziar's voice was as soft as a mosquito's. In the second half of the night, Xiaoyi, who was sleeping, felt a soft octopus entangled with him. I opened my eyes dazed lie and saw Ziran moving by herself and heard her sweet voice. Ziar finally fell asleep. The next day, Xiaoyi and Yiziar dressed neatly and walked out of the living room, only to find Ziran sleeping on the sofa with a tired look on her face. Yiziar felt guilty and said, Let's carry Sister Ziran into the bedroom. She felt that Ziran was so great that he gave her such an important moment. Xiaoyi nodded and walked forward, but Ziran woke up at this time. Well, is it daybreak? Yes, Sister Ziran, thank you, please go inside and sleep. This sofa is not comfortable to sleep on. Ziran smiled and said, No need to sleep, I slept all night yesterday and I am very energetic. Yiziar was very grateful. She hugged Ziran's arm affectionately and whispered, Sister Ziran, Xiaoyi belongs to you today. Ziran chuckled, Xiaoyi belongs to everyone, and it's yours too. Yiziar nodded repeatedly, feeling guilty but also very grateful. Xiaoyi only felt pain in his waist. Buzz buzz buzz. Ziran took out an ancient token engraved with the word Z. After turning on the token, a message appeared on the virtual screen. Ziran, you didn't even inform anyone of your marriage. And didn't even invite your parents to attend the wedding. What a shame. Today we're here to see you and your son-in-law. The wife of the head of the hidden Saint Clan Z family is staying. Ziran's mind went blank and he became a little panicked. Xiaoyi, my father and mother are coming to the secular world to see us today. What should we do? What if they find out that I'm not your only beast girl and they want to break us up? Chapter 406, The Patriarch of the Holy Clan. Ziran's parents have arrived. Xiaoyi patted her shoulder and said, Don't be so anxious. What realm are your parents in? Ziran recalled, When I awakened the template, they were in the perfect state of the Saint realm now. 1500 years have passed, and they should still be in the perfect state of the Saint realm. Of course, it is also possible to go a step further and reach the early stage of the quasi-emperor realm. Yiziar's pretty face rose. She was very surprised. Sister Ziran's parents were actually in the perfect Saint realm. Then what about Ziran's grandparents and ancestors? You have to know that her Yi family is the city lord's mansion in Jinling City. Her ancestor is only in the Saint realm, and her parents are supreme and perfect. Xiaoyi nodded. Let me ask you, if your parents want to forcibly separate us, which side will you stand on? Ziran fell into deep thought. After a while, her pretty face became firm and she said resolutely, I will stand by your side. In the beginning, I came to the secular world not on my own initiative, but was driven out. If they come to visit me this time and their attitude is too strong, I don't mind having a falling out with them. Xiaoyi was very pleased and touched that Ziran could actually do this for him. Then what level is your Z family's ancestors' realm? Ziran shook his head and said blankly, I don't know. I have never seen the ancestor after I awakened the template at the age of 18. I came to the secular world and never went back. The only communication is occasional contact through text messages. Xiaoyi speculated, your parents' realm is the perfect saint realm, and the ancestors' realm is at least the quasi-emperor realm. Then what kind of emperor realm do you, the hidden saint clan and the hidden emperor clan have? Ziran said firmly, there is no emperor realm. A realm where our hidden saint clan and hidden emperor clan are located is the core realm of Blue Star, which is also the realm of rules. It is a realm where the origin of rules exists, but the origin of rules of Blue Star is incomplete and imperfect. The Emperor realm is also known as the rule level. One needs to master a rule, that is a law, in order to advance. At present, no matter whether it is the hidden Emperor clan or the hidden Saint clan, there is no Emperor realm. Blue Star has never produced an Emperor realm. Xiaoyi frowned. This was the reason why there was no Emperor on Blue Star. So your ancestor's highest realm is the perfect quasi-emperor realm, and maybe even less than the perfect quasi-emperor realm. Ziran nodded, right? Xiao Yi smiled, then don't worry too much, we will get ready and wait for your parents to arrive. The other side. It is 6 o'clock in the morning. Cheng Bingxi, Nan Gong Saya, Oyu Yamu and King Zhu got up early and headed towards the No. 1 Lakeview Ville area. We are going back to Mangyuan Base City today. I wonder if Xiao Yi can go with us. That guy has so many girls around him and he just got married, so it's highly unlikely that he will go back with you. Mangyuan Base City, Xiao Yi's home. I want to go take a look. I want to go, too. Were gorgeous beast girls walking in a row on the road were like a beautiful landscape, attracting the attention of all the boys passing by. At this time, on the road ahead, a graceful couple in ancient robes with black and gold patterns walked over. The aura of their realm is completely restrained, but when viewed from other perspectives, one can see the aura of superiors in both of them, and a noble aura can be seen in their every move. The man is full of vigor and the woman still has charm. Hearing the words, Xiao Yi, the couple in black and gold ancient robes stopped and looked at each other. Xiao Yi? Isn't that the name of Xiao Zi's husband? Yes, the Xiao Zi's husband that the guard mentioned yesterday is called Xiao Yi. Go up and ask where Xiao Yi lives. They exchanged information with their eyes. As Cheng Bingxi, Nan Gong Xiao and the other two were walking, they were stopped by a couple who looked very imposing. Hello, may I ask which way to go to find Xiao Yi? Asked the high-spirited middle-aged man with a fist clasped. Xiao Yi? Cheng Bingxi and Nan Gong Xiao looked at the couple and were surprised to find that the appearance of this middle-aged couple was similar to Ziran. They all have two eyes, a nose and a mouth. Are you Sister Ziran's parents? Nan Gong Xiao asked with her beautiful eyes lighting up. The charming lady smiled and said, yes, we are Xiao Zi's parents. We are here to visit her today. You don't know Xiao Yi's address, can you show us the way? Nan Gong Xiao responded without even thinking. Sure. We just happened to be going to look for Xiao Yi, let's go together, it's on the way. The beautiful woman hugged the middle-aged man's arm and said with a smile, thank you. Just like that, the four beast girls and a couple walked together and headed towards the No. 1 Lakeview Villa district. On the way, the noble and beautiful woman who still had her charm asked for information about Xiao Yi from time to time. Young comrade. I heard that Xiao Yi has extraordinary talent and has reached the Grand Master level, is this true? Said the noble and beautiful woman. Nan Gong Xiao chuckled, thinking that these were Ziran's parents, family members, and would know all of Xiao Yi's information sooner or later, so she did not hide it and said frankly with pride. Auntie, you underestimate Xiao Yi, he is now at the great venerable level. Sister Ziran, you won't suffer any loss by marrying Xiao Yi. Xiao Yi is only 18 years old now, and in less than a year, he has cultivated to the great venerable realm. Hiss, the couple looked at each other, gasped, and saw the shock in each other's eyes. In 1 year, he cultivated to the great venerable realm. This talent is unique in the world. Xiao Yi is a man of amazing talent. Yesterday, they heard the guards report that he was at the great venerable level at the age of less than 50. They did not believe it, but now, they have to believe it. Because the two of them also sensed the aura of the great venerable realm from Cheng Bingxi, Nan Gong Xiao and Mu King Zhu. Judging from the appearance of the three girls and the clothes they wear, they should be students of Kunpeng University, and their age should not exceed 25 years old. Are you Xiao Yi's relatives, sisters? The noble and beautiful woman asked tentatively. Nan Gong Xiao smiled and shook her ponytails, saying, no, we are also Xiao Yi's beast girls and his contractors. Sister Bingxi, Sister Liuya, King Zhu and I are all Xiao Yi's beast mothers. Sister Ziran is Xiao Yi's sixth beast girl. Question marks popped up in the heads of the middle-aged couple. They looked at each other with disbelief in their eyes. Their daughter Ziran, the saint of the hidden holy clan Z family, actually shared a husband with other women, and it was not just one or two beast mothers, but 6 beast mothers? The middle-aged man's face darkened. His eyes became dim, and he said in a voice transmission, is this reasonable? Is this reasonable? My purple family saint daughter is actually a mistress, not a mistress, but a mistress. If this gets out, the face of my hidden saint clan will be completely disgraced. Not only that, the talents of a beastmaster who can contract multiple beast girls will be divided equally, and he is destined not to go too far in the future, which greatly reduces the upper limit. Even though he is upgrading quickly now, he will not be able to advance even a little bit when he reaches the supreme realm or the saint realm, because his talents are exhausted. And it's the end. A hint of anxiety appeared on the middle-aged beautiful woman's elegant and graceful face, and she said in a voice transmission, what should we do? Ziran has signed a contract with him, which is equivalent to being tied to death. Terminating the contract will cause irreversible damage to the bodies of both parties. This is a dead end. We can't let them be together, and we can't let them cancel the contract. Alas, my daughter has such a miserable life. She failed to awaken and almost exploded to death. Her body is not adapted to the world of rules, so we had no choice but to let her go to the secular world down. This decision may be wrong. Chapter 407 Zidao, I accept you as my son-in-law. Buzz buzz buzz. A middle-aged man in the black and gold ancient robe took out the ancient token and used his divine sense to receive the information. Name, Xiaoyi. Identity, student. Adopted by Sunshine Welfare House in Mangyuan Bay City since childhood. Attended Mangyuan Third High School and now studies at Kunpeng College. Realm, Great Venerable Rel, Level 2. Network. Close relationship with Kunpeng Queens, close relationship with Magic City Base City Lord Mansion, deep relationship with Jinling City Lord Mansion, friendly relationship with the leader of the Supreme Alliance. Spiritual weapon. Quasi-Emperor Realm Perfect Bronze Palace. Attributes, Space Attribute, Phantom Attribute, Thunder Attribute. Multiple contractors. Yun Bing, Ziran, Sheng Bingshi, Nan Gong Siyao. Liu Yamu, Kingzu, Yishir. Qualification, SS Top Level Doubtful. This is the information network organization of the Hidden Holy Clan, which investigated and found out the public information about Xiaoyi. After checking the information with his divine sense, the middle-aged man in the black and gold ancient robe looked gloomy again and became irritated. My daughter married such a thing? Cancel the contract even if Xiaozi's body will suffer irreversible damage. The contract must be terminated. We must stay away from this kind of thing, he said in a voice transmission. The graceful and beautiful woman glared at him. How dare you? After Xiaozi's body was damaged, it is estimated that his realm has stopped at the Saint Realm, not to mention receiving the inheritance of the origin of rules. The man in the black and gold ancient robe snorted coldly and said in a voice transmission, my daughter, Zidao, is not allowed to marry a piece of trash with no future. He took out the aptitude test treasure from his storage ring. But this guy's qualifications are questionable. Let's test his qualifications first before making any plans. The couple communicated secretly. The Yuya could read people's faces, and when she saw Ngong Sayo's words made their faces unhappy, she felt a pang in her heart and thought to herself that something was wrong. Ngong Sayo smiled and said with great pride, Uncle and Aunt, it is Sister Ziran's honor to marry Xiaoyi. You will feel honored and proud of this. It won't be long before She spoke without any psychological defense. And suddenly Yuya raised her hand to cover Ngong Sayo's cherry lips, blocking her mouth, and whispered. Stop talking. Shut up, you are causing trouble for Xiaoyi, you know that. Ngong Sayo was confused. Causing trouble? How could she cause trouble? Seeing that the situation was not good, Cheng Bingshi secretly took out her communicator and sent a message to Xiaoyi. Xiaoya, Ziran's parents are here. They will be at your wedding room in 10 minutes. They know that you have contracted multiple beast girls, and their faces have turned dark. Ngong Sayo pried Liuya's hands apart and muttered, I won't say anything more. Liuya leaned over to her ear and whispered, your words may bring trouble to Xiaoyi. Be careful that Xiaoyi will blame you after he finds out. Ngong Sayo's neck shrank. What should I do then? I wanted to be a good wife and mother, a considerate and gentle wife. But now this is terrible. At this time, everyone had arrived at the gate of the No. 1 Lakeview Villa district and met the gatekeeper. On the other side, in the wedding room of Villa number 3. Xiaoyi checked the message sent by Cheng Bingshi and the corner of his mouth twitched. Sister Ziran. Your parents are coming soon. Ziran panicked and said in a flustered manner, then let's quickly prepare some tea, water, and fruits. Xiaoyi thought about it, took out the Saint Realm Enlightenment tea can, took out 2 leaves from it to make tea, and said, ZR, you should talk less later, just watch. ZR nodded and said obediently, okay. Power of blessing, increase good luck. She raised her hand and used the blessing skill on Xiaoyi, Ziran and herself. As soon as the 3 of them went downstairs, they heard knock on the door. You're here so soon? Ziran and Xiaoyi opened the door, and instantly, the scene outside came into view. There are 4 gorgeous beast girls, and a graceful couple in ancient black and gold robes. A man has an extraordinary aura, and the woman still has charmed. Their every move is natural and elegant, revealing their nobility. Even though Ziran was a little flustered, she was not the leader of the Supreme Alliance for nothing. She immediately calmed down, a faint smile appeared on her pretty face, and she called out, Dad and Mom. The man in the black and gold ancient robe and the beautiful woman nodded and replied with a smile, Xiaozi. We haven't seen each other for so many years. You really didn't disappoint us. Ziran smiled and introduced, this is Xiaoyi. My husband. We just signed the contract yesterday. Today is our first day of marriage. Xiaoyi has a slender figure, a pure and unworldly temperament, and is handsome and extraordinary. He smiled and said, Father-in-law and mother-in-law, please come in. The man in the black and gold ancient robe looked dark, snorted, walked in without saying hello, and sat down on the sofa. A beautiful middle-aged woman rolled her eyes and said with a smile, don't pay attention to him, he is just like that. He has been in a high position for so long that he has lost his manners. Xiao Yi is very handsome, no wonder Xiaozi fell for him, he is very good. The man in the black gold ancient robe used his divine sense to probe, plucked a strand of Xiao Yi's hair, and put it into the treasure for aptitude testing. His detection treasure is the most top-level detection treasure, and it can detect any level of qualifications. However, the test takes a few minutes, and the test results will not be available until a few minutes later. Ziran was a little embarrassed and greeted everyone. The successful young woman Nangong Saya oladoided eyes and hid behind Cheng Bingshi, feeling a little guilty. The beautiful middle-aged woman looked around the wedding room, nodded and smiled. This wedding room is nice, the decoration is very warm and festive. It may be small, but it has everything. After sitting down on the sofa, Xiao Yi took the initiative to pour tea for everyone. Father-in-law. Mother-in-law has some tea. He was calm and composed. The man in the ancient robe didn't even look at him. He looked at Ziran and said with a smile, Xiaozi, your realm has broken through the same realm. Your body will not be rejected by the rule realm. You can return to the family. Although the secular world is good and has less competition, as the saint of the Z family, you must always return to the family. Accept the inheritance, and let the younger generation of the Z family. Seeing Xiao Yi being looked down upon, Ziran was a little angry, his eyes wandering, and he said, let's talk about it later. I have no plans to return to the family for the time being. The beautiful middle-aged woman complained, Zidao, my daughter just got married, and she must be with her son-in-law. Why are you so anxious to say this? And she smiled and said, Xiaozi, Xiao Yi, when you have figured it out, come back to the family together. Zidao snorted, Xiaozi, just go back, I don't approve of this marriage. He took a sip of tea, a little surprised, and blamed. Xiaozi, Saint Realm Enlightenment tea is hard to obtain, and you're actually wasting it on something as trivial as chatting. Ziran's face darkened. This tea leaves belong to Xiao Yi. Zidao put down the tea and didn't even drink it. Oh. Seeing that the atmosphere was a bit awkward, the beautiful middle-aged woman tried to smooth things over. If they want to drink, they can drink. What are you saying to spoil the fun? Tea is for drinking. If they can treat you with Saint Realm Enlightenment tea, just drink it. You are so stingy that you don't even want to drink it at home. Zidao felt embarrassed and a little ashamed. Buzz. The detection treasure vibrated. Zidao swept his divine sense and saw the test results. Qualification level cannot be accurately located. More than 3,000 times the SSS level qualification. Zidao's eyes widened with shock in them. More than 3.0 times the SS level, mythical level, and not just an ordinary mythical level. He smiled. His gloomy face became smiling, his heart became excited. He looked at Xiao Yi with sharp eyes, picked up the teacup and drank it in one gulp, and said with a smile, okay, very good. Your name is Xiao Yi, right? From now on, you are my son-in-law of Zidao. I approve of your marriage. When will you return to the family to receive the inheritance? Come on, pour another glass for father-in-law. This stuff tastes great. I usually can't bear to drink it. These are Xiaozi's sisters, right? Let's drink together. And then we can go back to the Z family rule realm together. The middle-aged beautiful woman was stunned. Are you crazy? Ziran and Xiao Yi were stunned. It was Sichuan Opera's face changing. The attitude changed so quickly. Chapter 408 Zidao, good son-in-law. It is Xiaozi's blessing to marry you. Is the sun rising from the west? Just now he looked reluctant and said that he did not approve of their marriage, but now he calls Xiao Yi a good son-in-law. Zidao continued to speak tirelessly. Xiaozi, you have a good eye. You can find such a brilliant person. Such an excellent person is unique in the world. A beastmaster with mythical qualifications is still more than 3,000 times more than an SSS level 1. Just like SSS level and SS level, the general SSS level is only 100 times that of SS level, and at most no more than 1,000 times. However, Xiao Yi's qualifications are also outstanding among the mythical level. What's more, the mythical level has never appeared in either the secular world or the rule realm. In today's rule realm, there are no templates or beastmasters with mythical level qualifications. Having discovered a legendary figure in the secular world, who is also his son-in-law, of course he wants to win him over. As for this legendary son of fortune, Zidao was not stupid enough to reject such a person. Good son-in-law, do you have any wine? Take it out. We are in a good mood today. Let's drink together and not go home until we are drunk. Zidao laughed. The middle-aged beautiful woman looked at him with a strange expression and said in a voice transmission, what's wrong with you? Didn't you ask them to cancel the contract? Zidao said to him, what contract do you want to cancel? It's Xiaozi's blessing to have found such an outstanding genius like Xiao Yi. A couple is living a good life. Do you have to be a villain and break them up? The middle-aged beautiful woman was embarrassed when her words were publicly said. She glared and said, who said that we should break them up? I didn't say that. Ziran was overjoyed when she heard this. And her voice became even more intimate, saying, Dad and Mom, do you really recognize Xiaoyi? Xiaoyi was still a little confused and pricked up his ears to listen. Zidao smiled and said in a very approachable manner, of course, my word is my bond. Xiaoyi, your aptitude is at the mythical level, right? Even if you contract multiple beast girls, and their qualifications are divided equally, they are still mythical level, so I have no concerns and agree that you and Xiaozi can be together. Oh Ziran. Xiaoyi, and many other beast girls present suddenly realized. Sadio's attitude changed so quickly. It turns out this is the reason. Mythical god. The beautiful middle-aged woman was surprised. She looked at Xiaoyi carefully and found that he was more and more pleasing to the eyes. He liked him more and more and laughed. You have a promising future, Xiaozi, your choice is right. At the same time, the burden in her heart was lifted. If Xiaoyi's aptitude is not good enough, she has to separate the two of them. As this would limit Ziran's future realm, separating the two of them is also not good, as this would cause damage to Ziran's body and limit her future realm. She is caught in a dilemma. But now, everything has been solved. She smiled and said, Xiaozi. Xiaoyi, you two should live well in the future. No one will come to interfere and separate you. The Shangguan family, a hidden imperial clan, had a seizure not long ago and unilaterally dissolved their marriage with Xiaozi. We were still angry at the time, but now it seems like this is a good thing. Zidao snorted coldly. The imperial family? In ancient times, they were indeed the imperial family. Now, their strength is on par with our Z family, 50-50. I really gave them face by unilaterally dissolving the marriage. Did they think there was someone in their family who was half a step away from becoming an emperor? From the moment they dissolved their marriage, my Z family and the Shangguan family have been at odds, and we will not have any more marriages in the future. After hearing this, Ziran's beautiful eyes became brighter and brighter, very bright and sunny, which showed how happy her mood was. Xiaoyi felt very comfortable after being recognized and acknowledged. Now that the rift has been resolved, he is not a stingy person, nor is he a petty person, so he naturally treats his father-in-law with sincerity. Father-in-law, this is the treasure of the store that I bought at the Maid Tavern. It tastes very good and has a strong aftertaste. He took 2 wine glasses, sat on the sofa next to Zidao, and poured 2 glasses of wine for them. Zidao put one hand on Xiaoyi's shoulders and took the wine glass with the other hand and drank it in one gulp. Well, good wine. The grade of the materials used in brewing it is a bit low, but this craftsmanship is very rare. If the grade of the materials used in brewing it is improved, the wine brewed will definitely be the best in the world. His eyes lit up and he said with great appreciation, sometime, come to our Z family, and I'll take out the treasured ginseng king wine. You will definitely like it. Xiaoyi replied, I will go if I have the chance. The beautiful middle-aged woman greeted Cheng Bingxi, Nengong Sayao and other girls and told Ziran, Xiaozi, you should interact more with your sisters in the future to enhance your relationship. After you marry Xiaoyi, you will be a family. Don't take advantage of your high realm to monopolize Xiaoyi. Xiaoyi doesn't belong to you alone, but to everyone. Ziran was embarrassed when she heard this. Mom, what are you talking about? When did I monopolize Xiaoyi? Izir said with a smile, Auntie, Sister Ziran is very generous. She gave Xiaoyi to me last night and slept on the sofa all night. Today Xiaoyi is hers. Oh, the beautiful middle-aged woman was very surprised and looked at Ziran. She was very experienced and could tell at a glance that Ziran was no longer a virgin. He must have eaten it secretly. Xiaozi, you need to be moderate and don't indulge too much. She thought about it and decided that after she returned, she would find some kidney-nourishing treasures and send them to Xiaoyi. The main reason is that Xiaoyi has too many beast girls. If he indulges in lust, it will seriously affect his training in combat. Of course these beast girls are fine, the one in trouble is Xiaoyi. After all, he is the only man, and no one else can help with this kind of thing. Suddenly, buzz! Sadio's ancient token vibrated, and he took it out and used his divine sense to receive information. After checking the information, his face changed drastically and he stood up immediately. The beautiful middle-aged woman asked, what's wrong? Zidao's face darkened, and he said angrily, Shangguan family, what a Shangguan family, what a Shangguan family. They actually set their sights on our Z family's territory and secretly planned to seize our Z family's foundation and the origin of rule. Are they trying to start a Saint clan war? A middle-aged beautiful woman's face changed. The origin of the rules is the absolute foundation for the hidden holy clan. It is the basis of the clan and no one is allowed to peek at it. Xiaozi, Xiaoyi, and all the beast girls, we have to go back now. We will visit you again next time, Zidao said with an apologetic look on his face. The beautiful middle-aged woman also stood up and said, Xiaozi, Xiaoyi, and all the beast ladies, you can come to the Z family rule realm at any time. We welcome you at any time. Ziran also realized the seriousness of the matter and said, then you should go back quickly. You can come back later. Xiaoyi nodded. Father-in-law and mother-in-law, have a safe journey. The couple in ancient robes disappeared in a flash. I almost forgot. I didn't give you a gift. Zidao appeared again with some embarrassment, put two storage rings on the table, and said, Xiao Yi, here are some cultivation resources and some protective treasures. After thinking for a while, he took out a storage ring, placed it on the table, and said, there are 5 holy treasures in here. For you beast ladies. After saying this, he disappeared again, and this time he was really gone. Nangong Xiao put her hands on her hips and laughed. I told you, Xiao Yi is such an outstanding man. It's an honor for Sister Zhiran to marry him. Ew rolled her eyes. On the other side, in Villa No. 1. Huang Fu Xiangling and Yun Shi were drinking alone. The two of them were drunk and spoke out their inner thoughts. Chapter 409. Yun Shi was moved. Sister Yun Shi. You know, when Master proposed marriage, I thought she was proposing marriage to Xiao Yi for me. I was so happy at that time. A white-haired girl Huang Fu Xiangling was drunk, lying on the table, and kept talking about her suffering. Yun Shi was at a higher level and had drunk a lot of wine. But was only slightly drunk. He asked in surprise, you like Xiao Yi? A white-haired girl admitted it immediately, thinking that there was nothing to hide, and nodded, yes, I just like Xiao Yi. I was showing off to Zier at the time, but what happened? Master proposed marriage for her own sake. Zier listened to me and persuaded her father to propose marriage. And it was successful. At the end of the day, I became the clown. Yun Shi supported her fair chin with one hand. Her pretty face slightly reddened, and said in surprise, I didn't expect such a dramatic thing to happen. Uchi. She covered her mouth and smiled, a little tipsy, and said, when they got married, you were still lifting their skirts. The white-haired girl said angrily, Sister Yun Shi, you are also lifting your skirt. Yun Shi was choking on her words, the smile on her pretty face froze, and she said awkwardly, what's wrong with me lifting the hem of my skirt for my best friend's wedding? The white-haired girl lay on the table and said dissatisfied lie, Sister Yun Shi, your behavior has already betrayed your heart. Yun Shi's pupils shrank and she thought to herself, oh no, could it be that her emotions were too obvious and Huang Fu Xiangling noticed it? What did you betray me about? She asked. The white-haired girl continued, I can see that you are jealous of my master. You are jealous that she got married earlier than you, right? You two are about the same age, and you are both geniuses of the same generation, but my master got married earlier than you and found the man of his dreams earlier than you. Yun Shi's mouth twitched. That, is it? She thought that the white-haired girl could see her feelings for Xiao Yi. Oh, yes, Yun Shi echoed. The white-haired girl was very proud and laughed. Perhaps because she drank too much, she was in a daze and said anything she wanted to say. Sister Yun Shi, you will find the man of your dreams. Yun Shi asked in surprise, what about you? Have you forgotten Xiao Yi and fallen in love with another man? Huang Fu Xiangling gnashed her teeth and said, no, why should I forget him? I can't forget him. I will never forget him in this life. Since Master has married Xiao Yi, it is impossible for me to marry Xiao Yi again, but just because I don't marry him doesn't mean I can't be with him. I will secretly take Xiao Yi and become his underground lover. I don't need a formal relationship. Yun Shi was stunned, her beautiful eyes widened as big as eggs, so fierce. Huang Fu Xiangling chuckled, it's all for our own happiness, so what's wrong with being a little fierce? Yun Shi gave a thumbs up and said, I admire your courage, but I don't recommend you do this. It will make your master feel disappointed. The reason why she didn't reveal a single bit of her inner feelings to Xiao Yi was all for Yun Bing. She didn't want Yun Bing to be disappointed, thus creating a rift and estrangement between the two sisters. Huang Fu Xiangling shook her head in disdain. Master, she did that. Isn't she afraid that I will be disappointed with her? It's mutual. Yun Shi's mouth twitched. Anyway, she would not disturb the relationship between Yun Bing and Xiao Yi, and would not interfere and steal someone else's love. But what Bima said made her feel a little moved. The other side. After seeing Ziran's parents off, Nengong Saya was showing off. There is only one man in the world who is as handsome and outstanding as my husband. If Xiao Yi wasn't everyone's, I would have locked him up in the room, made him stay with me every day, and not allowed him to see other women. She was quite proud of it, but as she spoke, the topic went off track. Xiao Yi raised his hand to cover her mouth and complained. Sayo, you can't have such a strange attribute. You better reflect on yourself. Nangong Sayo opened her rough hands, stuck out her tongue, and said playfully, I was just kidding. Xiao Yi looked around and asked in surprise, you got up so early just to bring Ziran's parents here? The Queen Changbing. She shook her head and said, the four of us plan to go to Mengyuan Bay City to visit Sayo and me at our parents' home. I heard from my dad that the wilderness-based city has changed a lot. It has been upgraded from a low-level base city to a high-level base city. Jumping to levels was such a big change as people from the wilderness-based city. Of course we have to go back and take a look. Xiao Yi nodded. It's good to take a look. Changbing. She asked with anticipation in her eyes. Will you come with us? Come back with us and take a look. Xiao Yi thought for a while and said, I promised Ziran and Yunxi that I would upgrade their template levels. Maybe I have to go back after this is over. Cheng Bingxi felt a little disappointed, and Nan Gong Xiao stared at her with her beautiful eyes. Well, we'll go back to my parents' house by ourselves. Xiao Yi, you don't even go back to your own home. Forget it, let's go. Cheng Bingxi crushed a teleportation prop and a portal appeared. She walked in with Nan Gong Xiao, Liu Yamyu and King Zhu. Before walking in, he glared at Xiao Yi with a look of dissatisfaction in his eyes. Xiao Yi scratched his head and said, after this matter is over, I will go back to visit. It's not that I won't go back, I'm just too busy to have time. Besides, Sister Ziran and I went back yesterday and upgraded their parents' qualifications to SSS level. Ziran covered her mouth and smiled. They are complaining that you didn't go back with them. It doesn't make sense to go back to your parents' home alone. Usually, couples go together to visit. And she said excitedly, Xiao Yi, can my template really be upgraded? Upgraded to the legendary mythical level? Xiao Yi was very sure, yes. But we need to gather enough resources to upgrade. Give me your hand, I'll check what resources you need to upgrade your template. Ziran put her little hand in front of Xiao Yi. And Xiao Yi took the opportunity to grab her white and tender little hand and rubbed and kneaded it gently. Template adjuster is exploring. SSS level devouring Taodai Emperor template upgradable. Attribute, devour creation. Check the upgrade conditions, 50 crystals of the rule fragments of the creation type. 50 crystals of the rule fragments of the devouring type, 50 crystals of the rule fragments of the creation type. After checking the information, Xiao Yi nodded. The upgrade conditions were similar to what he expected. Ziran felt a little itchy and said, why do I feel like you are taking advantage of me and playing with my hands? Stop grabbing my palms if you continue. I won't be able to hold back. Xiao Yi was stunned. Then he increased the strength of his grip on the palm of his hand and said with a smile, it's okay. Don't bear it, we are already married anyway. Your upgrade conditions require 50 good fortune type, 50 creation type, and 50 devouring type, a total of 150 rule fragment crystals. With these crystals, I can have a 100 success rate and upgrade your 10th level. Ziran clamped her legs together, her beautiful eyes were full of tenderness, and she said, I can easily get the fortune making and devouring types. But the creation types are not available in the Magic City and the Imperial City Base City. I have to go to the Hanghouse City Base City. It just so happens that I can also go and meet the Queen of Hanghouse. Well, I can't help it. Ziran immediately carried Xiao Yi into the bedroom and no one knew what she did. Chapter 410 Contrast Goddess Ziran, Upgraded Template. Xiao Yi shouted, Sister Ziran, wait a minute, it's still early in the morning. Don't do that. Ziran chuckled. It's normal to exercise early in the morning. Ezir's pretty face froze. She didn't expect Ziran to be so fierce that he couldn't help himself so early in the morning. In her opinion, the most beautiful woman in the capital, the pure goddess Ziran, should be a woman who is pure and innocent and not interested in men, otherwise she would not have slept on the sofa last night. But now, Sister Ziran, without any concealment, forcibly carried Xiao Yi on her shoulders and brought him into the bedroom, saying that she couldn't help it. But it be that such ferocious words and such fierce behavior are the power of love that make a goddess like Ziran so impatient? Next, Ezir waited and waited for 2 hours. Her pretty face turned red. She was not the heroine, but she blushed with shame. 2 hours later, Ziran, radiant, rosy-faced and full of energy, and Xiao Yi, looking tired, walked out. Ziran laughed and said, Xiao Yi, you still have to thank me. If it weren't for my help, you wouldn't even be able to break my passive defense. Not to mention spending the wedding night with me. When the embarrassing incident was brought up, Xiao Yi's face darkened. Thank you, is that enough? Ziran smiled and said, no need to thank me. Just compensate me a few more times. Hey, Zr, why is your face so red? It's as red as a ripe apple, and it's about to drip with water. Zr cried out, covered her face with her hands, and said, it's nothing, Sister Ziran, Xiao Yi belongs to you today. Do whatever you want, don't worry about me. You gave me your most precious moments yesterday. Today I will give Xiao Yi to you for the whole day. Xiao Yi leaned close to Ziran's ear, blew a breath, and whispered, don't think I don't know, you sneaked into the room in the second half of last night. I was too tired at the time, so I didn't make a sound or move. But I know exactly what you did. Ziran was stunned, her pretty face turned red, and she said, so what, you are my husband? Xiao Yi was speechless after getting married. You changed from a pure goddess to a goddess of pure desire, right? The contrast was so great that he could hardly bear it. The main reason is that the kidneys can't bear it. Okay, let's go find Xiao Shi. Her template also needs to be upgraded. Ziran saw him rubbing his waist, chuckled, and said. Xiao Yi nodded and agreed to let Yun Shi upgrade her template. After giving Ezir a few words of advice, Xia nodded obediently and said that she would wait here for Xiao Yi to come back. Xiao Yi and Xia ran left and headed towards Villa No, one which was a few hundred meters away. When the two arrived outside Villa No, they heard cursing coming from inside the villa. Master is so mean, he actually stole my disciple's man. When I become stronger, I will tie her up with a rope and hang her up to beat her. It was obviously me who liked Xiao Yi first, but she got there first, catching me off guard and leaving me with no time to react. Otherwise, I will definitely take down Xiao Yi before Master. Hearing the foul cursing, Jiran and Xiao Yi recognized that it was Huangfu Xiangling's voice. Jiran's pretty face was filled with anger. Okay, Xiangling actually wanted to hang me up and beat me. I think she is itching for trouble. Xiao Yi was stunned. He didn't expect that Huangfu Xiangling actually liked him. He only knew that Biamao had a good impression of him. But it was still a long way from liking him, but the reality was so bizarre that Biamao actually liked him. Xiao, let's listen to what this traitor has to say. Ziran waved her hand, hiding the figures and breath of the two people, and quietly walked into the yard, walked into the villa, and came to the living room, behind Huangfu Xiangling. Huangfu Xiangling was lying on the table drunkenly, her beautiful eyes full of resentment. And she kept complaining. Sister Yunxi, what do you think? Should Master be beaten? Yunxi's eyes focused and looked at the position behind Biama. She sensed that there was someone there. Suddenly she received a voice transmission from Ziran. Xiaoxi. It's me, Ziran. Don't make a sound. I want to hear what this traitor is up to. Yunxi was stunned and felt a little bit reluctant. After all, Huangfu Xiangling was pouring out her heart and telling her about her sufferings. She felt a sense of sympathy towards this white-haired man, as if they were both people in the same boat. Seeing Yunxi didn't reply, Biema was just expressing his inner resentment. He said viciously, yes, hang up Master and beat her, especially her buttocks, strip her clothes off, and whip her hard. Flog her for 3 days and 3 nights to let her know that you can't bang your apprentice's man. Beat her until she surrenders. With a click, her head tilted and she fell asleep on the table. Ziran and Xiao Yi show up. Your disciple is a rebellious person. Xiao Yi sighed. Ziran's face was full of complicated expressions, but more of it was anger. It's fine if she just says a few words, but if she really does something outrageous, I'll punish her. Yunxi waved her hand. Her pretty face slightly red. It's just a lie after drinking. It's not worth taking seriously. Why are you here if you're not taking a honeymoon after your marriage? Do you want to see me, an old maid, making fun of me? Ziran shook her head. Of course not. What's the point of a honeymoon? In the Beast Girl era, we should focus on training and fighting. We are here to upgrade your template. Yunxi's beautiful eyes lit up, and she stood up in an instant. Her cold personality became excited. And she said, a mythical template? The kind that is favored and loved by the world? Ziran smiled and said, yes. Yunxi was confused again. Xiao Yi, you only told me that if I want to upgrade the template, I can only upgrade it if I marry your woman, but I didn't marry you, nor did I sign a contract with you. Xiao Yi felt a little guilty. Well, there are not so many restrictions. I can upgrade the template for anyone. But if the relationship is not in place, how can I upgrade her? You are Sister Yunbing's twin sister. Sister Yunbing is my beast girl. I will upgrade your template for you. I am willing to do so. Start the template adjuster and enable the template viewing function. SSS level space Kunpeng template upgradable. Template defect. Crystallization error of rule fragments absorbed during awakening. Absorption error type. ISAT rebutrule fragments. Solution: extract the ISAT rebutrule fragment crystals and integrate them into the space type fragment crystals. The template contains rule fragments for creation type, for space type, and to ice type. Physical defects. Solution: check the upgrade conditions: 50 creation type, 50 space type, 50 light type. Xiao Yi was a little surprised. Yunxi and Yunbing were both SSS level Kunpeng templates, but Yunbing's attributes after the upgrade were space attributes and dark attributes. Yunxi's attributes were space attributes and light attributes. Light and darkness are two opposite attributes. You need 50 creation type, 50 space type, and 50 light type rule fragment crystals, and I can help you upgrade the template. Yunxi nodded and said excitedly, this is easy. Xiao Yi, can't you extract it from the monsters? There are many groups of light monsters in the monster forest, the training base of the Magic City Academy. Ziran slapped his thigh and said, then we'll upgrade Xiaoxi's template first. After Xiaoxi's template is upgraded, we'll go to the Hanghouse base city and collect 50 creative rule fragment crystals to upgrade my template. Xiao Yi smiled faintly and said, no problem. I have long wanted to meet the Queen of Hanghouse that you all mentioned. Chapter 411 Yunxi. Nonsense, I like Xiao Yi? Let's go. As he said that, Xiao Yi put his arm around Ziran's shoulders and walked outside. But Ziran stopped and said with a smile, go to the toilet. Xiao Yi felt it for a moment and said, no need. Ziran smiled and said, "You need to go to the bathroom." Then, she pushed Xiao Yi into the bathroom, came out and closed the door. Xiao Yi was confused and puzzled. He didn't need to go to the toilet at all. "But guy, I was forced to go to the toilet. When I saw the toilet, I seemed to have the urge to pee. So I whistled." In the living room, Yunxi laughed out loud. "It's Yiran's actions. Ziran, after getting married, you become so humorous." Ziran shook his head, stared at Yunxi, and said, "Xiaoxi, I have something to ask you. It's not convenient for Xiao Yi to be present." "Yunxi, what's the matter?" "Xiaoxi, do you like Xiao Yi?" Ziran's eyes were shining as he stared carefully at the subtle changes in her expression. Yunxi's pupils shrank, and the smile on her cold and pretty face froze. "No, you're overthinking it. He, as Xiaobing's husband, how can I like him?" Said something against her will, and looked away guiltily. Ziran said, "Look at me." Yunxi looked away. "Hey, what's so good about you? Your figure is not as good as mine. Are you jealous that my figure is better than yours, so you want to laugh at me?" Ziran's pretty and innocent face turned dark. Looking at his own figure and Yunxi's figure, there is simply a world of difference, the small which meets the big which. She is almost like a flat airport. At Yunxi, both in front and back, is very tight, holding up the bloated white robe. With this explosive figure, she can wear the bloated white robe like a Qianzam, showing off her body curves perfectly. I'm not laughing at you. Why are you laughing at me?" Ziran said, gritting his teeth. Her template has been repaired. But her narcissistic characteristics are still there, only the degree of narcissism has been reduced a lot, and she still cares about her figure. Yunxi curled the corners of his mouth and looked at her quietly. "Oh," Ziran said, speechless. "Lie, when we got married, your reactions and emotions were very similar to Huang Fu Xiangling's. It seemed like you wanted to hit me. How could I not think that you were jealous that I married Xiao Yi?" Little stream, love should be spoken out loud. Express your love sincerely anyway. I have no objection if you marry Xiao Yi. Yunxi's beautiful eyes suddenly widened, and her cold and pretty face froze. "Should we say love out loud?" "No, it can't. Xiao Yi is Xiaobing's husband. She cannot interfere. How could twin sisters marry the same man? If you tell others about this, people will laugh at you." "No, I don't have any feelings for Xiao Yi. Don't talk nonsense." Yunxi glared at him with her beautiful eyes and said fiercely, "You'd better not mention this in front of Xiaobing. She will hate me. She is the only blood relative I have left in this world. I cannot create a rift between us." Ziran was stunned. She didn't expect that Yunxi cared so much about Yunbing's feelings. Isn't this meticulous care? The love between the closest family members. She had never experienced it before, but after listening to it, she felt it was very great. Well, just like Xiaoxi's figure, very great and very good. After taking a look, Heiran stretched out her little fish from her rosy little mouth and licked her lips. "Don't worry, I won't tell you until the facts are verified," she promised. During this trip to the training base, she planned to find an opportunity to verify whether Xiaoxi liked Xiao Yi. Words may lie, but facts will not lie. If you like something, you like it. If you don't like something, you don't like it. There is an essential difference between them. I'll give you a chance to be alone and see how you react. Huh? At this time, Xiao Yi came out wearing a belt, looking very happy, and said with a smile, "Sister Ziran, I'm done with the toilet. I'm leaving now. Sister Yunxi, let's go together and upgrade your template. You have to contribute." Then he put his arm around Ziran's shoulders again as if he was putting his arm around his brother's shoulders, and walked out with a swagger. The training base was very close, and after walking for 20 minutes, the man and two women arrived at the training base. The three of them reached a high altitude and looked down to investigate the monster. Ziran and Yunxi, both of them were powerful saints. Their spiritual thoughts swept out, instantly covering the entire 150,000 square kilometers of the Warcraft forest training base. There is no need for a map at all. Magical beasts of various attributes appear in the mind. It can detect more accurately and detailed than super radar whether the monsters are in a tree hole, underground, or in lush grass, defecating, mating, or fighting. You can see it clearly. "Xiao Yi, can you really extract the rule fragment crystals from the monster?" "I can obtain a fragment crystal from the chaotic space in 3 days." Ziran was a little unconvinced. Xiao Yi responded, "Don't worry, your husband has many abilities." The three of them came to the depths of the training base. Within the range of the Grandmaster level monsters, there were relatively few students here, so it was more suitable for taking action. Landing on a swamp, looking at the densely packed light-type monsters in front of him, the mutated moths, Ziran smiled and said, "Leave these to me. What should I do?" Yunxi recalled the scene of Xiao Yi extracting the space fragment crystals and said, "Just kill them." Ziran flashed out and rushed towards a group of glowing mutated moths. She glared with her beautiful eyes and exuded overwhelming pressure. The group of mutated moth monsters, which were as big as human heads, fell down with a rustling sound. Plop, he fell to the ground, deader than dead. Xiao Yi's foot accidentally stepped into a mud puddle, dirtying his shoes and pants and splashing wet mud all over his body. Who is hurting me? Xiao Yi looked around and felt a force forcing him to step into the mud pit. Pull hard. Xiao Yi was shocked. It seemed as if his foot was stuck in a mud pit and he couldn't pull it out at all. Xiao Yi, what's wrong with you? Yun Shi asked, puzzled. Lie. Xiao Yi was a little embarrassed. This mud pit has a strong suction force. My legs are stuck in it and I can't get out. You are already at the great venerable level. And you say you can't pull it out? Yun Shi's cold and pretty face looked like, do you think I will believe it? Ziran killed the monsters slowly and said, oh, I found that there are more light monsters ahead. I'll go check it out. Xiao Shi. Help Xiao Yi and get him up. But the Ziran left behind a pile of mutated moth corpses and headed towards the depths of the monster forest. Yun Shi's mouth twitched, and she stretched out her little hand to Xiao Yi and said, I'll pull you up. Xiao Yi's old face turned red. He grabbed Yun Shi's soft, boneless, white and tender little hand and pulled hard. Yun Shi felt a force pushing her from behind, pushing her down. She staggered and fell into the mud, and fell into Xiao Yi's arms. Xiao Yi was confused. Sister Yun Shi, you were also killed? Did you figure out who was behind this? Yun Shi felt the broad chest, the 37-degree body temperature, and the masculine scent, and her pretty face immediately blushed. No, I didn't notice. Her heart was pounding. Xiao Yi didn't think too much about it. He hugged Yun Shi and said with a vigilant look, someone is trying to play a trick on us. Yun Shi pressed his entire body against Xiao Yi, squeezing the landmines so hard that they were deformed. It feels so comfortable. Is this the feeling of being hugged by the man you love? I really want to hug you for a while longer. Hey, that force has disappeared. We can get out of the mud pit. Xiao Yi said in surprise. I sprained my ankle. It hurts a lot. Let me take it easy. Don't go out yet. Yun Shi's pretty face flushed. She said with some guilt. Chapter 412. It's confirmed. Xiao Shi liked Xiao Yi. Ziran was several thousand meters away, secretly observing Yun Shi's reaction. Had I pushed her hard and end up pushing the person into his arms? This temptation seems to have failed. Ziran turned and headed towards the depths of the monster forest. Hey, that's not right. She turned around and went back, secretly observing Yun Shi's expression. As a result, I saw Yun Shi's shy and rosy face. Very normal. It is normal to blush out of shyness when being hugged by the opposite sex. Could it be that the man Xiao Shi likes is someone else? Xiao Yi frowned. Xiao Shi really has no feelings for Xiao Yi. She looked at Yun Shi's expression carefully, and the next second, she found the bright spot. Xiao Shi was held in Xiao Yi's arms, her pretty face flushed and her eyes blurred. The expression is normal. But the eyes are wrong. Blurred eyes? He seemed to be enjoying it, as if he was very comfortable being held in his arms, and his eyes unconsciously revealed a dazed look. Ziran herself had experienced this before, but it was not with her eyes. When she was in a very comfortable situation, she would unconsciously let out a shy and delicate sound. This blurred look and that shy voice have almost the same meaning. This is a sure thing. Xiao Shi. If you don't like Xiao Yi, you definitely wouldn't show that kind of look when you're hugged like this. It's like he's about to climax. That look is so foul. Ziran curled the corner of her mouth and planned to go back and try it again to make sure there was no mistake. At the flash of white light, she dodged and came to a place not far from Xiao Yi and Yun Shi, pointing at a large flat stone and saying, "Put Xiao Shi here and see how serious the injury is." "Okay, Sister." Yun Shi sprained her ankle. Xiao Yi picked up Yun Shi in a princess hug. He stepped his feet into the mud pit, walked out of it step by step, came to a huge rock, and put Yun Shi on it. "Are you all right?" he asked. "It's just a small problem. I can calm down on my own." Yun Shi's heart was pounding the moment she was put down. She felt a sense of loss. Ziran was right next to them, so she couldn't force Xiao Yi to continue holding her. Xiao Yi breathed a sigh of relief and said meaningfully, "I don't know which little naughty girl is playing tricks on us in secret. If I knew, I would definitely kick her hard at night." Ziran turned her face away, but was actually seen through. After hearing what Xiao Yi said, she was not afraid, but instead felt excited. Yun Shi glanced at Ziran and said with a smile, "It's probably someone who is jealous of my good figure and wants to secretly play a prank on me to get revenge." Ziran was furious, her innocent face darkened, and she said angrily, "Damn it, Xiao Shi, you actually mocked me with this. My figure will return to normal. Don't be too proud." Yun Shi smiled inferently on her cool and elegant face and shrugged her shoulders, not caring at all. Ziran became even angrier, and immediately hugged Xiao Yi's arm tightly, shaking him and saying, "Xiao Yi, you promised me before that you would restore my figure. Starting from today, I'm already a contract with you, so you shouldn't have so many concerns. You can help me get back in shape." Yun Shi thought of something and felt a little gloating. Xiao Yi couldn't feel anything in his arms as Ziran held him like this. There was nothing he could do about it, it was a vast plain. But when he thought about Ziran wanting to drink his blood, he got goose install over his body. Forget it. Let it be the Great Plains it's better than drinking your own blood. Well, Sister Ziran. I think your figure is still good now, you don't need to recover, right? Isn't it better to keep your original appearance? He asked tentatively. Ziran's innocent face showed a look of grievance, and she said, no. I must recover. My figure is better than Xiao Shi's. Xiao Yi was helpless, he had already agreed to it before. So it was difficult to refuse now, so he said, okay, start getting back in shape today. Ziran came closer, pouted her little lips and gave Xiao Yi a kiss. Xiao Yi? Thank you. Yunshi also smiled and said, Ziran, don't worry. Xiao Yi's method is very practical. As long as you overcome the psychological barriers, your figure will be able to return to its peak state. Ziran nodded rapidly. Yes, I will. Then Ziran, dressed in purple, sat on a large flat rock, picked up Yunshi's jade feet, and placed them on her thighs. She lifted up the white robe, revealing Yunshi's smooth and long legs, and then took off her shoes, revealing her rosy white feet and small, delicate toes. Ziran, what are you doing? Yunshi exclaimed and hurriedly covered her white robe to prevent it from being lifted too high to avoid exposing her beauty. Ziran smiled and said, you sprained your ankle, right? Let me check to see if it's serious. Rub it and apply some medicine. No need. Yunshi said hurriedly. What sprained ankle? It was just an excuse she made to get Xiao Yi to hold her. There was no such thing as a sprained ankle. Xiao Yi and Ziran looked at the two crystal clear jade feet and saw nothing unusual. Xiao Yi felt strange when one sprains his ankle. The wound would usually become red, swollen or black, and it would be very painful. However, there was no redness, swelling or blackening at all on Yunshi's jade feet. Ziran raised the corner of her mouth, revealing a wicked smile and said, Xiao Shi, are you lying? You didn't sprain your ankle at all? This Yunshi's pretty face turned red and her eyes avoided. Ziran continued, I understand. You have an internal injury, right? It's a joint injury at your ankle. The skin looks white and tender, but the joint inside is sprained. Yes. Yunshi nodded and replied, it's just that my joints are twisted and my ankle is sprained. Phew, I was so scared. I almost got exposed. Yunshi looked at Ziran with gratitude. Ziran asked, is it the left foot or the right foot? I'll rub it for you. No need for that, I'm at least a great saint with a strong recovery ability in just a short while. Yunshi said hurriedly. Ziran interrupted and said with a wicked smile, okay. Forget it, I was planning to let Xiao Yi massage you. He knows how to massage, so a joint sprain like this is a piece of cake for him. Xiao Yi also nodded and said, yes. He didn't touch Yunshi directly just now because Ziran was present. He and Yunshi were not in a contractual relationship. As the saying goes, men and women should not touch each other, so it was inappropriate to touch her directly. It's not completely healed yet. It still hurts. Yunshi immediately changed her tone. It's my right foot, my right ankle is sprained. It should be a very happy thing to have Xiao Yi rub your ankles. Moreover, she had legitimate reasons and was not being unreasonable. Xiao Yi squatted down, moved closer to the pair of jade feet, sniffed, and actually smelled the fragrance. He put his hands on it and felt it was cold and smooth. You can feel that this skin is very tender. Yunshi felt a comfortable feeling in her ankles, and tried hard not to let any strange expression appear on her face, but a flash of excitement flashed in the depths of her eyes. Ziran stared at Yunshi, looking at him carefully, and caught the excitement in Yunshi's eyes. She came to the conclusion that, yes, the man Yunshi liked was Xiao Yi. It's time to talk to Xiaobing. Xiao Shi's psychological barrier is probably caused by Xiaobing. Chapter 413 Yunshi, protecting you forever. Ziran doesn't mind Yunshi marrying Xiao Yi and signing a contract with Xiao Yi. We are all good sisters. Let's marry Xiao Yi together and be good sisters for life. However, Xiao Shi seemed to care about Xiaobing very much and didn't want Xiaobing to get hurt, so she kept her feelings hidden and didn't dare to show it. Since Xiao Shi has her own difficulties, she, as her good friend and sister, must help Xiao Shi overcome the obstacles. Go talk to Xiaobing and see what she thinks. Let Xiao Shi and Xiao Yi be truly together. After massaging for 2 minutes, Xiao Yi raised his overly handsome face and asked warmly, Sister Yunshi, does it still hurt? It still hurts. Yunshi was happy inside. Xiao Yi, can you press it for a while longer? Xiao Yi nodded and continued to manipulate him, using all his skills. After a while, Ziran said, Xiaoshi, do you have a man you like? Yunshi was stunned and shook her head. No? Ziran raised her lips and said with a wicked smile, so do you plan to be a virgin for the rest of your life? Yunshi looked a little confused, looked at Xiao Yi, nodded and said, yes, it's good to be a single dog for life. Xiao Yi said, Sister Yunshi, do you want me to help you find some good men? Yunshi's beautiful eyes darkened. No need. For my entire life, I will never like men who only think with their lower body. I don't like those kinds of people. Her tone was firm. Okay then. Xiao Yi said. After pressing for another 2 minutes, Yunqi felt that it was almost enough and said with a smile, it's okay. Xiao Yi, it doesn't hurt anymore. Xiao Yi nodded, picked up the shoes next to him and put them on her himself. He reached out again and lifted up Yunqi's bulky white robe. But he knew that Yunqi was only wearing a bulky white robe with nothing underneath. Yunqi was very happy. With a smile on her pretty face, she said, let's continue to kill the monsters. By the way, Xiao Yi, you haven't obtained the rule fragment crystals from those monsters you just killed. Xiao Yi slapped his head and said, oops, I almost forgot if you didn't tell me. He ran over happily, looked at the mutant moths scattered on the ground, counted them, and found that there were about 100 of them. Most of them were at the Grand Master level, a few were at the Grand Master level, and a few were at the ordinary level. Start the template adjuster and enable the rule fragment crystal extraction function. Choose the type of crystallization of rule fragments. Light, wood, and creation. Light system. Xiao Yi issued an order. The supreme power has arrived. The mutant moth that had just died soon began to emit a foul and rotten odor. It became dry and then turned into light spots and dissipated into the air. Grandmaster level light type monster. Successfully extracted 120 light type rule fragment crystals. Grandmaster level light type monster successfully extracted 60 light type rule fragment crystals. Ordinary light element magical beast successfully extracted 20 light element rule fragment crystals. All of them are placed in the system space. Ziran looked at this scene. Her beautiful eyes sparkling with a gleam, her pretty and innocent face full of shock, her rosy little mouth opened so wide that an egg could fit in it. After marrying Xiao Yi, she discovered that Xiao Yi was more mysterious than she had imagined, and had many secrets that she was completely unaware of. This person can not only solve the template problem, but also obtain rule fragments from Warcraft so easily and upgrade the template level. These are all very shocking abilities. If this were to be made public, it would probably shock the world and draw the enthusiasm of countless people. Yunqi has a cold personality and I have seen her before. Her expression is relatively calm. Xiao Yi nodded with satisfaction. He obtained a total of 200 light fragment crystals. He moved the 2 fragment crystals from the system space into his trouser pocket. And the pocket became bulging, as if something big and thick was hidden in it. He reached his hand into his trouser pocket, turned around and smiled at Ziran and Yunqi. Sister Ziran, Sister Yunqi, I'm going to show you a big treasure. Ziran and Yunqi looked at the standing trouser pockets, and their pretty faces blushed as they thought of something. Bah, I don't want to see your big baby. That's right. Just give your thing to Ziran. Why can't you show it to me? I'm not your wife. Although they said so, the 2 girls' eyes were fixed on the bulging trouser pockets. Ziran swallowed. Yunqi's pretty face was flushed and her beautiful eyes were full of curiosity. Xiao Yi shrugged, took out 2 rule fragment crystals, and spread out his hands. In an instant, 2 crystal-shaped crystals emitting rich light rule power appeared in the eyes of the 2 women. Ziran was surprised. Is this the light rule fragment you just extracted? Yunqi's beautiful eyes darkened, and she was a little disappointed. Even she herself didn't know what she was expecting. Xiao Yi nodded and said with a smile, the light rule fragments have been gathered. Let's go into the bronze hall and extract the space rule fragments to upgrade Sister Yunqi's template. He waved his hand, and a blue light gate appeared in front of the 3 people. 1 man and 2 women stepped into the gate of light. On the 9th floor of the Bronze Palace, in the Holy Spirit secret realm, 3 figures appeared. The space-type monster tribe. The great Monkey King leader and the elders came running over happily. Sir, the special medicine you gave me is very effective. In the past half-month, more than 200 female monkeys in our tribe have become pregnant in just a few months. Our space monkey group can add more than 200 new monkeys. Xiao Yi nodded and said, find 50 monkeys. This time the Monkey King did not waste any time and immediately gathered 50 old, weak, sick and disabled space monkeys. Xiao Yi smiled and said, you are very tactful. Then, he killed these old, weak, sick and disabled space monkeys and extracted 148 space rule fragment crystals. 10 minutes later, the 3 arrived at the 10th floor of the Bronze Palace. Sister Yunqi, the upgrade resources have been gathered. You are now in the Saint Realm. If you want to upgrade the template and retain the first level of the Saint Realm, you will need 200 Supreme Realm Crystal Cores. When Yunqi heard this, he was stunned. I only have 10 Supreme Crystal Cores. In the past, she had a cold personality and didn't like going out. She often stayed in the villa to practice. It was already very good for her to have 10 Supreme Crystal Cores. Ziran waved his hand. I don't have that many crystal cores on me. Yunqi was a little nervous. Without so many crystal cores, can my template be upgraded? Xiao Yi smiled and said, you can upgrade, but your realm will be reduced to the Supreme Realm. But it's okay. I have it. Ziran was stunned. Where did you get so many crystal cores? Xiao Yi took out a storage ring and said with a smile. Didn't your father leave me a storage ring before he left? In this ring, there are 350 Supreme Realm Crystal Cores and 20 Rule Fragment Crystals. The Z family is indeed a hidden holy family. Your father is very generous. Ziran raised her swan neck, and said with pride on her pretty face. Of course, our hidden Z family has accumulated hundreds of thousands of years. These crystal cores are nothing to us. Xiao Yi took out 200 Supreme Crystal Cores and said. Sister Yunqi, don't worry, I'll pay for these 200 Supreme Crystal Cores. You are our protective umbrella. The higher your realm, the more secure we will be. Investing resources in you is equivalent to investing in myself. Yunqi was somewhat touched and said gratefully. Xiao Yi, thank you. From now on, if anyone wants to harm you, they must step over my dead body. I can't give myself to you, but I can protect you forever. Her words were very meaningful. And Ziran listened thoughtfully. Xiao Yi didn't think too much about it and shrugged. No need to be so sentimental, I will upgrade the template for you now. Chapter 414 Upgrade Template. Xiao Yi was not worried that he did not have enough resources for cultivation. Ziran and Yunqi were both powerful saints as long as he found a secret realm of high-level monsters. It would be easy to kill the supreme monsters and obtain the crystal cores. Furthermore, he doesn't need to practice by himself. Yunbing already has the cultivation resources for the supreme realm. If she continues to practice and make breakthroughs, he, Xiao Yi, will get feedback and continue to upgrade. If Yunbing breaks through to the saint realm, he will also break through to the supreme realm at least, and continue to break through at the supreme level. 50 pieces of creation type, 50 pieces of space type, and 50 pieces of light type rule fragments were taken out from the system space. Open the template adjuster and repair the template function. At that time, the 2 extra rule fragment crystals in Yunqi's body were extracted. Xiao Yi controlled the template adjuster again, and put into space like regular fragment crystals. Template repairing. SSS level space Kunpeng template. For creation type and 6 space type. What is this? Yunqi felt a vast and profound power penetrating her whole body and invading every aspect of her. Don't resist, I'm repairing the template for you. I'm going to fix the template problem first, and then I'll upgrade the template. Xiao Yi gave guidance. Yunqi completely trusted Xiao Yi and immediately let go of all his thoughts, allowing that vast and profound power to transform his entire body. The template is related to everything in the body, from genes to limbs and torso. Transformed by the mysterious power, she felt her body more comfortable than ever before and couldn't help but let out a shy moan. This is a transformation that is more comfortable than a massage. Ziran's beautiful eyes were filled with curiosity as she watched quietly from the side. She held the 2 extracted ice rule fragments in her small hands and thought to herself, could it be that Xiaobing's personality is so cold because of these 2 ice rule fragments that don't match her body? A human awakening template can detect the template level and template type, but cannot solve the template problem. It's like humans can detect mutated cancer but cannot solve it. 10 minutes later, Yunqi's pretty face turned red. She stopped moaning, fell to the ground, looked at her hands, and said in surprise, I'm fine? Template repair completed. SSS level space Kunpeng template. Attribute, space attribute. Xiao Yi nodded and said with a smile, Sister Yunqi, you don't have to worry about it in the future. The higher your realm, the numb and stiff your emotional nerves will be. You will no longer have the trouble of not having emotions. Yunqi was delighted from the bottom of her heart. Her still cool and pretty face was full of joy and happiness. She opened her arms and wanted to hug Xiao Yi to share her inner joy. But after thinking about it, he put down his hands, stood there, and said, I wanted you to give me a massage. But now I don't need you to do that. What a pity. Ziran glanced at Yunqi's still hot body, and a trace of envy and jealousy rose in her heart. She said, sorry. Why did you solve the template problem and not become a flat-chested girl, while I became so tight that I couldn't even tell whether I was looking from the front to the back with my head covered? Xiao Yi smiled. Everyone's template problems are different, so we can't generalize them. If there is nothing wrong with your template, your body shape will remain flat and you will never experience what it's like to be in good shape. Ziran's pretty face darkened. So, I still want to celebrate. Is there something wrong with my template? Xiao Yi was stunned, indeed. Ziran glared at him fiercely with a dark face. Stop talking, Xiao. She laughed at me, and you, as my husband, also laughed at me. Be careful, or I'll make you sleep on the floor tonight. Xiao Yi shrugged and said, sleep on the floor if you want. Just don't get out of bed and bother me late at night. Ziran choked, her eyes widened in disbelief that he actually knew what happened that night. Yunqi watched the 2 of them verbally arguing with some envy. Unfortunately, she will never be able to experience this kind of flirting in her life. Xiao Yi, let's get started and start upgrading the template, she said. Ziran snorted. I'll deal with you tonight. Xiao Yi's smile froze, and he changed the subject angrily, saying, Sister Yunxi, it may take 2 or 3 days to upgrade, so you have to be mentally prepared. Yunxi nodded, indicating that it was okay. Template adjuster. Enable the template upgrade function. Upgrade target, SS level space Kunpeng template. Upgrade conditions, 50 good fortune type, 50 space type, 50 light system rule fragment crystals. Upgrade? Xiao Yi issued an order to upgrade. Seeing that he was doing serious work, Ziran closed her mouth and stopped talking. The supreme and mysterious force of order descended, enveloping Yunxi and the rule fragment monster crystal core. Yunxi automatically floated in the air. Under the influence of the supreme power, all the fragments of rules were activated, bursting out with a strong and intense force of rules, the power of space rules and the power of light rules. Then, one after another, fragments of rules shot into Yunxi's body, turning into the purest power of rules, and under the influence of the supreme power, merged into her body. A light system of the creation space came in groups, one after another, continuously merging into Yunxi's delicate body. Xiao Yi pulled Ziran 1,000 meters away. Jiran was a little shocked when he saw this scene and said, Xiao Yi, is there really no problem, with so many rule fragments integrated into the body? The power of the rules exploded in the body. What if Xiaoxi can't bear it? His body will be blown up. The cultivation resources of the Holy Realm are fragments of rules. A piece of rule fragment with the same attributes, considering the absorption speed and the body's consumption speed, will take 3 to 4 years to absorb. But before his eyes, in an instant, 3 were integrated into Yunxi's body. In the next instant, 3 more were integrated into his body. Still 3 of different types, 3 followed by 3, and before a minute had passed, more than 20 were integrated into his body. If it were anyone else, their body would explode in an instant, their foundation would be destroyed, and even their soul would be severely damaged. Xiao Yi pinched her soft and bolus little hand and smiled calmly. It's okay, this is the process for upgrading templates. I have already upgraded the templates for my 5 beast girls. They are all upgraded this way, there is no danger. Xiaobing, Qingbing Shi and the other 5 beast girls. Ziran finally felt relieved looking at the upgrading screen. He was still shocked. Time passes by every second. Yunxi fell into enlightenment. Countless difficulties in cultivating talents and skills in the past were solved at this moment, just like the sky appearing after the clouds had been cleared away, and all the obscure things became clear and bright. Not only that, there are also new insights and new skills that are automatically deduced and mastered in the mind. Space shift, space storm, space turbulence, space explosion, alien space, creating a small world. Factor of light, holy purification, the world and the soul. Light elementalization. A time sky, gamma rays. All kinds of innate skills are as easy to use as the swing of an arm, as if they are born with it, and they are automatically comprehended to a very deep level. At this time, all 150 fragments of 3 types of rules were integrated into Yunxi's body. The first stage of template upgrade is completed, and the state retention function is enabled. Chapter 415 Ziran, Xiaobing, I have something to talk to you about. Yunxi's realm dropped rapidly. From Saint Realm, Supreme Realm, Great Venerable Realm, Venerable Realm, Venerable Realm, Grand Master Realm, Grand Master Realm, Mortal Realm. Finally it was lowered to the first level of the mortal class. Yunxi, who was originally filled with joy, felt the changes in herself and was completely stunned and became panicked. My realm is gone. Should I start practicing again? A realm barrier has also appeared, 10 times stronger than before. Although for me now, this kind of barrier can be easily removed. No matter who it is, if one suddenly changes from a top saint in the secular world to a mortal who has just entered the first stage of cultivation, his emotions will change drastically. In the distance, Ziran was also stunned. What's going on? She became anxious. What should I do? Xiao Yi smiled, not feeling the slightest bit flustered. Ziran glared at him. You're still laughing. Xiao Yi hugged her slender waist, pinched the softness of her waist, and said with a smile, it's okay. After the template is upgraded, it is equivalent to having a brand new body. It is reasonable that the realm needs to be rebuilt. Ziran was stunned, so that's how it is, but it will take a long time to cultivate to the Saint Realm again. It took me 1500 years to cultivate to the Saint Realm, and Xiaoxi took about the same amount of time. Even if the template is upgraded to the mythical level, it will take hundreds of years. Xiao Yi smiled and said, don't worry, my ability to upgrade the template has improved, and I can retain my realm. Otherwise, what are those crystal cores for? Keep the realm? Ziran was a little confused. His realm had almost dropped to 0. How could he maintain it? Xiao Yi said, retaining the realm is equivalent to recultivating it, but with my ability, it only takes 2 or 3 days. But this ability is limited to upgrading templates. Ziran was skeptical. It was not that she did not trust Xiao Yi, but this matter was too unbelievable and shocking. But out of trust in Xiao Yi, she quickly calmed down. He sent a voice message to the somewhat flustered Yunshi. Sister Yunshi, put your heart at ease. Your realm will recover soon. The panicked Yunshi calmed down in an instant, and the panic on her pretty face disappeared without a trace, returning to her cool expression. She trusted Xiaoyi 100. Xiaoyi had said that her realm would be restored, so it would definitely be restored. Yunshi patted his chest, causing the landmine to swing like a swing, and said with a smile. Before the upgrade, Xiaoyi said that I could retain my realm. Why should I panic? Your realm suddenly dropped. Are you confused? Suddenly a ball of thick and pure energy entered her body, making her feel warm. These are the crystal cores? I saw that the crystal cores placed around her included not only the supreme crystal core, but also the crystal cores of the Grand Master Realm, the Grand Master Realm, the Venerable Realm, and the Grand Venerable Realm. Under the influence of the supreme power, these crystal cores were transformed into the purest and most easily absorbed energy liquid and Horji liquid, an energy liquid without a trace of impurities. After these pure energy liquids entered Yunshi's body, they were quickly absorbed and integrated into his body under the influence of that power. It was as if the realm barrier had completely disappeared, and all the cells in the body turned into black holes, absorbing the energy liquid madly as if they were not satisfied. Yunshi's realm also instantly improved from the first level of the mortal realm to the second level of the mortal realm. 10 minutes later, his realm was promoted to the Grand Master level. A completely new spatial conception and a new light conception emerged on her body. This level of artistic conception is at least 50 times denser than my previous Grand Master level artistic conception, and probably more than that. Yunshi was very surprised. Her heart was extremely excited, and the smile in her beautiful eyes was extremely strong when she reached the Grand Master realm. Those Grand Master crystal cores also completely melted into pure energy liquid. A large mass of hot energy liquid rushed into her body like a flood. Yunshi widened her eyes. This feeling was very strange and she had never experienced it before. All the cells in her body were still madly absorbing the pure energy liquid. If she had absorbed so much energy liquid at once when she was at the Grand Master level, she would definitely have damaged her body, suffered indigestion, and even suffocated. But at this time, under that vast power, the absorption and consumption capacity of the whole body cells, which already had mythical qualifications, was once again improved to a higher level. They absorbed the energy liquid very comfortably without feeling tired, and the realm barriers became like thin paper, which could be broken at the touch of a finger. When one reaches the Grand Master level, what is improved is the quantity and quality of the power of artistic conception. Almost every 10 minutes, his realm would be improved by one level. After an hour and a half, his realm reached the 10th level of Grand Master. With this recovery speed, I will be able to recover to the Holy Realm in just a few days, Yunshi concluded. Ziran was stunned as she watched her realm soaring like a rocket. Her beautiful eyes were wide open and round, and her rosy little mouth was open enough for a goose egg to fit in. This just shocked me. Preserving the realm. So this is the way to preserve the realm. She was the saint of a hidden holy clan. No one had ever seen or heard of this before. She could advance to a higher level of Grand Master level in 10 minutes. Xiaoyi smiled and said, "Don't you trust your husband's ability? We just need to wait quietly, Sister Yun. She's realm will soon be restored to the saint's realm, a holy land of mythical template." Ziran opened his mouth and said, "A mythical saint realm would probably be able to kill an SSS level saint realm like me in seconds, right?" Xiaoyi replied, "That's about right. I'll slap you to death." Alas. It's a pity that the creative monsters are only found in Hangout Space City nationwide. There are probably not many monsters with such rare attributes in Hangout Space City. Ziran felt a little melancholy. Xiaoyi smiled, rubbed her flat butt, and comforted her. "It's okay, it's just 50 rule fragments. And only 25 Grandmaster level creation type magic beasts, or 17 venerable level creation type magic beasts are needed. Too many magic beasts are not needed. Don't worry. Even if there is none, can't you create one yourself? It may take a long time to create life, or magical beasts, which is several times longer than creating inanimate objects, but as long as these magical beasts have existed in the world and the rules of the world allow them to exist, you can create them." "Yes." Ziran smiled, "I can create it myself. And let's go to Hangout Space City first after all. In addition to obtaining the rule fragments, I also want to visit my former good sister, the Queen of Hangouts. You come too?" Ziran looked at Yunshi and felt relieved. "I have to go out for a while to talk to Xiaobing about something. You stay here. If anything happens to Xiaoxi, notify us in time." After getting Xiaoyi's permission, she left the Bronze Palace through the blue light gate. Xiaoyi looked at Yunshi, his eyes were attracted and he swallowed. Yunshi's figure is really amazing. She wears the bulky white robe as if it were a thick down jacket turned into a cheongsam, which perfectly shows off her devilish figure with a protruding chest and a curved back. Don't look at anything inappropriate. Don't look at anything inappropriate. Xiao Yi recited these words to King Xin, and his eyes became clear. He no longer stared at a certain part of her. You can't look at this. This is Xiaobing's sister, not my wife. Not my beast girl. And seen this kind of disrespectful behavior for a long time, Sister Yun, she will also be angry. On the other side, Ziran arrived at Villa No. 2, next to the wedding room, which is the villa of Vice President Yunbing. She jumped in through the window and found Yunbing in the underground training room. Xiaobing, there is something very important and urgent that I need to talk to you about. Chapter 416 Yunbing, I agree to this marriage. Pursuit reading. Yunbing is currently practicing, and her current realm is the 3rd level of the Supreme Realm. Among the 4 sisters, Yunxi and Ziran have both broken through the Saint Realm. Not to mention the Queen of Hanghouse, who has the best aptitude in the highest realm among the 4 sisters. She must be in the Saint Realm, or maybe even more. Yunbing's realm is only the 3rd level of the Supreme Realm, which is too low. She is very eager to upgrade and break through. With more than 200 Supreme Realm crystal cores in her arms, she no longer has to worry about resources for cultivation right now. What she needs to do most is to practice and upgrade. Ziran. What's the matter? Yunbing was happily absorbing the Supreme Crystal Core quickly. He opened his eyes and asked doubtfully. Ziran apologized. I'm sorry, I really have something urgent to do, so I disturbed your practice. Yunxi waved her hands. No need to apologize. When I was taking a shit, you suddenly came in and took me away. I didn't blame you. This is nothing. If you have something to say, please say it. Iran's pretty face was embarrassed. Shit, I forgot about it a long time ago. I've discovered a very serious and urgent matter, and I need to see your attitude. Yunbing stopped practicing and said solemnly, did something happen to Xiao Yi? Ziran shook her head. It's not Xiao Yi. It's Xiao Shi. Yunbing heaved a sigh of relief. It's good that it's not Xiao Yi. My sister is a great saint. No one can harm her. Just tell me, what happened to my sister? Ziran asked tentatively. Xiao Shi fell in love with a man, did you know? Ziran is certain that Yunxi likes Xiao Yi, and loves her deeply and secretly. He even said that he would protect Xiao Yi for the rest of his life. Yunbing was very surprised and smiled. That's great, my sister. That cold-hearted girl has finally come to her senses. I'm married, but she, an elder, is still single. How can that be right? Who is that person? I will propose marriage myself. Ziran moved her rosy lips, seeming to be hesitant to speak. This person is Xiao Yi. Seeing Yunbing had no idea what was going on, she didn't know what to say. After all, this matter was too explosive. If something goes wrong, it might lead to estrangement, conflict between Yunbing and Yunxi. Yunbing was a little anxious. Just tell me, who is that person? My sister is finally tempted. No matter who it is, I agree to this marriage. Among the 4 sisters, Shi and Ziran are both married, but Yunxi, as the elder, is still single, so of course she is anxious. Ziran thought for a moment and said, that man is far away, yet close at hand, appearing in our lives every day. Yunbing frowned, thought about it, and found it strange. A man Shi and Ziran interacted with the most was Xiao Yan. Weekdays, there was only one man they interacted with. Subconsciously, Yunbing didn't think that Yunxi would like Xiao Yi, so she didn't think of this man as Xiao Yi at first. You are talking nonsense. Apart from Xiao Yi, we don't usually come into contact with other men. I occasionally meet some men, but we are just nodding acquaintances. We don't meet every day. Hearing this, Ziran's face was full of complexity. When she first realized that the man Xiao Shi liked was Xiao Yi, she didn't believe it, but after a series of tests, she believed this fact. Think about it again. Anyone can be that man, just like me back then. Same as you? Yunbing frowned and said angrily, how dare you say that? You kissed and kissed Xiao Yi behind my back under the pretext of letting Xiao Yi be your guinea pig. It really pissed me off. If you like Xiao Yi, just tell me directly. Xiao Yi already has so many beast girls, it wouldn't be impossible for him to have one more of you. But you were so secretive and sneaky, watching action art movies with him behind my back. You know how furious I was when I saw you guys watching a porn movie together. Ziran's innocent and pretty face turned embarrassed again. And she said with a guilty conscience, it's all in the past, why are you bringing that up? Yunbing snorted. It's only because this woman is you that I didn't kill her. Just be thankful. Ziran suddenly said in a firm tone, Xiao Shi. The same goes. Yunbing was stunned. My sister is the same. Just as sneaky? He Xiao. At this point, Yunbing's beautiful eyes widened. And she suddenly realized, you mean to say that the person Yunxi likes is Xiao Yi? She is still secretly having an affair with Xiao Yi behind my back, and even having sex with him? She is my sister, how could she do this? Yunbing was furious. Why do all of you only care about your own business and do bad things behind my back? If you like it, just tell me directly, don't be sneaky. Ziran smiled. Xiao Shi didn't do anything sneaky, and she didn't even dare to reveal her inner feelings. She kept it in her heart, and even felt guilty when she came into contact with Xiaoyi. Do you know why? Yan Bingqi's expression froze and became complicated. Is it because of me? Ziran snapped his fingers. Right? She didn't have an affair with Xiaoyi, let alone sneak around. If I hadn't paid attention to some of her details, we wouldn't have discovered it in our lifetime. Because of your existence, she plans to be single for the rest of her life. She said she will never look for a man or sign a contract. I plan to silently contribute behind the scenes and protect everyone for the rest of my life. Don't blame her. If you want to blame someone, blame Xiaoyi for being too outstanding and charming. He is the most unique person in the world. Yan Bing felt very complicated, both touched and heartbroken. She remained silent, not knowing what to do. Ziran watched quietly. Yan Bing digested it for 10 minutes before saying, "What do you think we should do about this?" Ziran had a blank expression on her face, but a bright color flashed in her beautiful eyes. She said, "I think we should keep Xiaoxi away from Xiaoyi and never contact him for the rest of her life. Let her live out her life alone. She is cold and used to being alone anyway." Yan Bing was furious. "You're talking nonsense. My sister won't die alone. Since she likes Xiaoyi, then let her like him if she is willing to marry Xiaoyi. I agree to the marriage. So what if my sister is a cold-hearted person? I have never disliked her." Ziran smiled. "Don't be angry first, I was just testing you just now. I also think that lovers will eventually get married. If Xiaoyi doesn't reject Xiaoxi, I won't mind if the two of them are together. We all swore before that the 4 sisters would marry the same man and be good sisters for life. Now, this oath is still valid." Yan Bing snorted. "I will go find my sister in person and explain my attitude to her. Tell her not to keep it in her heart and express it loudly if she likes it. But if we want to get married, it depends on Xiaoyi's opinion. I can't force Xiaoyi for the sake of my sister's happiness, right?" Ziran frowned. "I can't tell whether Xiaoyi likes Xiaoqi or not. If Xiaoyi doesn't like it, there's nothing I can do." Yan Bing said with a disdainful smile. "Xiaoyi, this LS, probably has had ideas about Yunxi for a long time. Where are they now? Let's go find them immediately. Upgrading the template in the Bronze Hall will be completed soon," Ziran said with a smile. "Just wait for them to come out." Chapter 417 Template Upgrade completed. Yunxi returns to the Holy Realm. What Xiaoxi cares about most in this matter is your attitude. You need to give her psychological counseling, and let her open her heart and let it flow out naturally. If she holds it back for too long, she'll get hurt," Ziran warned. Yan Bing rolled her eyes. "I know, stop being so nagging." Having interrupted his practice, Yan Bing simply continued his practice. Later the two returned to the living room and waited for Xiaoyi to come back. The 10th floor of the Bronze Palace. Yunxi's recovery speed was very fast. And with the continuous supply of crystal core energy, his realm continued to rise. After the Grand Master realm is the Grand Master realm, and the Grand Master realm also cultivates the power of artistic conception. The transition from Grand Master level to Grand Master level was almost a natural process without any hindrance. Soon, he reached the peak of the Grand Master realm. The power of artistic conception in her body has reached its peak state and has become materialized. The artistic conception of space is so mysterious that it can already influence and cause fluctuations in the surrounding space. Light-based artistic conception can change the light state. At the sound, Yunxi stepped into the realm of Venerable. Xiaoyi stared at her from a distance, and felt that Yunxi was more and more cool and charming. An old man once said it well, "Looking at a beautiful woman will make you feel happy both physically and mentally." This is exactly what Xiaoyi is in at this moment. He is very happy both physically and mentally. Yunxi could feel a burning gaze resting on her. This was Xiaoyi's attention. She felt a little excited inside because she was noticed by the man she liked. He is looking at me, so happy. Will this light-based artistic conception affect vision? Yunxi completely restrained the light-related artistic conception within his body so as not to affect Xiaoyi's viewing. Having reached the Venerable realm, her realm is still continuously improving. The realm of the Venerable is the realm of artistic conception, which is transformed from artistic conception into realm. The realm of artistic conception that she controls is the realm of space and the realm of space and the realm of light. When she uses her innate skills within her domain, the effects will be amplified. When others are within her domain, the use of their innate skills will be restricted, resulting in a weakening of the effects of their innate skills and their combat effectiveness. Maximize the efficiency of the realm retention function. Xiaoyi issued an order to the template adjuster. The supreme power of order descended again, a mysterious power that was more than 10 times greater than before, descending upon Yunxi and the crystal cores of the monsters around him. In an instant, the crystal cores of the monsters at the Venerable and Great Venerable realms melted into a huge amount of pure energy liquid and at the same time escaped into Yunxi's body. Yunxi's beautiful and cold eyes suddenly widened, and she felt like her body was about to. "I feel so suffocated." This feeling lasted only for a moment. Under the influence of the supreme power, The mythical cells throughout her body released an unprecedented crazy suction force, wantonly absorbing these pure energy liquids. It is refined at the millisecond level and transformed into one's own foundation and realm within milliseconds. The effect is more than 100 times better than before. In just 1 minute, the realm was elevated. The first level of the venerable realm. The second level of the venerable realm. The third level of the venerable realm. Until the 10th level of the venerable realm. It only took 6 minutes. This speed, even the mythical template can't catch up with it, right? Yunxi was shocked, and became more curious about Xiaoyi, and fell even more deeply in love with him. But the joyful sound of a realm breakthrough rang out. She broke through to the great venerable realm. The foundation is solid and not superficial, it's more solid than my own practice. Yunxi said in surprise. Next, every 10 minutes, her realm would break through one level. The first level of the great venerable realm. An hour and a half passed, and her realm had reached the 10th level of great perfection in the great venerable realm, and she was only one step away from the supreme realm. In the supreme realm, one cultivates Dalian energy. Dalian energy is derived from the power of law. It is more advanced than simple energy, is equivalent to an advanced version of energy. Around his body, 200 supreme level crystal cores transformed into pure energy liquid in an instant. When a huge ball of supreme energy liquid entered her body, Yunxi groaned. Her pretty face turned red. Oh, no, my body is going to break down and get broken. I really want a vent. I really want to let it go. This feeling only lasted for milliseconds under the influence of the supreme power. Her feeling of suffocation disappeared in an instant. With a sound, the realm barrier was broken, and the realm was raised to the first level of the supreme realm. Next, every hour, her supreme realm would rise one level. 10 hours passed, and Yunxi's realm reached the 10th level of the supreme realm. Xiaoyi looked at it with great satisfaction, nodded from time to time, and said, very good, I'm about to break through to the saint realm. Sister Yunxi looks really pretty when she blushes. I don't know which bastard she will marry in the future. If that bastard treats her badly, I will beat him to death and make his face look like a pig. Even his father won't be able to recognize him. After the supreme realm, there is a transitional stage, the quasi-saint realm. Specifically speaking, this is not a realm. The quasi-saint is a body of condensed attributes, transformed from a normal human body into a body of attributes. Yunxi is of the space and light type, transforming into a space body or a light attribute body, or both. Condensing a body of attributes does not depend on aptitude. Some people can condense a body of attributes in an instant, while some people can condense a body of attributes for 100 years and will not make any progress. Meili Epiphany. Under the influence of the supreme power, Yunxi directly entered a deep state of advanced enlightenment. She plans to condense a space body. Under the influence of the power of the supreme order, all the cells in the body were transformed into a body of space attributes in almost the span of a breath. Not only that, a body of light attributes was also condensed in the span of a breath. The two attributes blend with each other and can be transformed at any time. Yunxi opened her eyes and asked in surprise, is this the end? She had just entered a state of enlightenment, her mind was clear, and she could sense the passage of time in the outside world. Of the flick of her eyes, the attribute body was successfully condensed. The quasi-saint realm is fully accomplished. Yunxi looked at her own white hands, feeling somewhat unbelievable. Reservation realm resources are insufficient, please replenish resources. Information from the template adjuster came to Xiaoyi's mind. He slapped his head and said, the cultivation resources of the holy realm are rule fragments, I almost forgot. He took out 10 pieces of space rule fragments and 10 pieces of light rule fragments from the system space, and threw them towards Yunxi. Plop, 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 with a few sounds, 20 crystals drew a curved parabola in the sky and landed on Yunxi's perky butt. I hit it, a smile appeared on Xiaoyi's face. Yunxi's delicate body trembled again, and again she glanced at Xiaoyi a few times, and saw his excited expression. Xiaoyi likes to spank me? If he likes it, let him do it as long as Xiaoyi is happy, it won't cost me anything anyway. Yunxi's pretty face turned red, and she took note of Xiaoyi's strange attribute in her heart. Under the influence of the supreme power, the 20 rule fragment crystals instantly turned into rule power and escaped into Yunxi's body. That bursting feeling came back. 10 hours later, Yunxi's realm broke through to the holy realm and remained at the first level of the holy realm. Template upgrade completed, realm retention completed. The template adjuster sent a message that the supreme power was taken back. Yunxi was very surprised to have returned to the first level of the saint realm. She dodged and pounced on Xiaoyi. Squeezing the landmines out of shape, she said with delight, Xiaoyi, I have broken through the saint realm. Thank you. Xiaoyi was at a loss, not knowing where to put his hands. He smiled awkwardly and said, the template has been upgraded, let us go out. Oh, Yunxi fell to the ground. Her pretty face looking a little lost. The chance to be alone with Xiaoyi was gone. The two passed through the blue light gate and left the bronze palace. Chapter 418. Yun Bing expressed his attitude. Yunxi was overjoyed. After leaving the bronze palace, Xiaoyi and Yunxi received a message from Yun Bing. Come over to my place. I have something to discuss with you. You two must be present. Is it about going to Hanghouse Base City? Xiaoyi guessed. A trace of panic emerged in Yunxi's cold heart. Could it be that the fact that she just hugged Xiaoyi was discovered? As Xiao Bing's sister, she hugged Xiao Bing's husband so intimately, pressing her whole body against him. But it be that Xiao Bing was here to cause trouble for her? Xiao Yi, you go back by yourself. I will first get familiar with the new template in power. Yunxi wanted to escape. Xiao Yi held Yunxi's soft and bolus little hand, and felt the wetness on his palm. He was a little surprised that Sister Yunxi's hands were sweating. Wait until we finish discussing this matter before getting familiar with the template. You are not allowed to leave, Sister Yunxi, he said in a serious tone. Owing to the base city of Hanghouse is very important as it concerns Ziran's template upgrade. Being grabbed by the rough big hand, Yunxi's heart was moved. Her pretty face turned red and she said, okay? She wanted to leave secretly. The two held hands and returned to the vice president's villa No. 2, where they met Yun Bing and Ziran. Yun Bing and Ziran were both surprised when they saw the two holding hands. They said in surprise, You guys, what are you doing? You guys are together? Yunxi hastily retracted her hand, her palms were soaked, and she shook her head violently, saying, it's not what you think. Xiaoyi disagreed and said, Sister Yunxi wanted to sneak away. So I pulled her over to prevent her from running away. Yunxi turned her pretty face away feeling somewhat guilty. Yun Bing and Ziran were a little disappointed that they were not together. They were happy for nothing. The attitudes of the two of them at this moment were the same. They all hoped that Yunxi can express her inner feelings naturally, confess her feelings, and be together. If you like Xiaoyi, then just like him, there's nothing to hide. The two women looked at each other and walked away. Yun Bing took Yunxi into a bedroom, and Ziran took Xiaoyi into another bedroom. On Ziran's side, Xiaoyi looked confused and looked her up and down. What are you doing? Are you not satisfied with your sexual desire? Do you want to take a dip now? Ziran widened her beautiful eyes, twitched her lips and said, You are the one who is unsatisfied. Am I that kind of person? Xiaoyi looked at her for a few seconds, and finally nodded seriously, Yes. I'm talking to you about serious business. Stop talking about nonsense. Ziran rolled her eyes and said speechlessly. Xiaoyi's expression straightened up. Is it about the Hanghouse Base City? Ziran shook her head, No. And she stared at Xiaoyi closely, paying attention to the changes in his expression and eyes, and said, What do you think of the creek? Xiaoyi was stunned, scratched his head and said, Sister Yunxi has done me a favors. He is our umbrella of protection and our strong backing. Under her protection, I feel very safe. Ziran's mouth twitched. That's not what I'm asking. What I want to ask is, how do you feel about Xiaoxi? Xiaoyi was confused, feeling. Sister Yunxi, you have a great figure. Much better than you. It's so exciting just to look at you. Ziran's pretty face darkened, and she wanted to kick Xiaoyi away, complaining, Why are you comparing me with her? Let me ask you again, do you have any thoughts about Xiaoxi in that regard? That aspect? Could it be that Ziran is testing me? Xiaoyi swallowed his saliva, shook his head quickly, and said, No, absolutely not. My feelings towards Sister Yunxi are very pure. I feel that she is my elder and benefactor, without any other mixed emotions. Ziran was stunned. You don't feel anything at all? Xiaoyi thought she was testing him and trying to reason to cause trouble for him, so he immediately said firmly, No, alas. Ziran sighed deeply, with a hint of disappointment on her pretty face, and said helplessly, What? A forced melon is not sweet. Xiaoyi frowned. Ziran's reaction didn't seem right. It didn't seem like she was looking for a reason to cause trouble for him. Sister Ziran, just tell me clearly, what is your purpose in asking these questions? Ziran was a little depressed. She rubbed her delicate and beautiful eyebrows and said, I want to ask about your attitude towards Xiaoxi, and then bring you two together and sign a contract. Fuck. Xiaoyi was stunned and asked in shock, Are you serious? Ziran rolled her eyes, looking pure and lustful. She opened her rosy little mouth and said, Yes, why would I lie to you? Xiaoxi has liked you for a long time. Forget it, since you don't like her, then there's no need to force a match between them. A forced melon is not sweet. Wait, Xiaoyi raised his hand, his old face flushed, and said, In fact, I have been coveting Sister Yunxi for a long time and wanted to marry her, but because of her status, I didn't make a move. An iceberg goddess like Yunxi, who is beautiful and has a great figure, and is also a powerful saint, who wouldn't want to marry her? The ice goddess Yunxi is the goddess of all the boys in the college, and also is Xiaoyi's goddess. Furthermore, Xiaoyi thought that he had upgraded Yunxi's template to the mythical level. If Yunxi fell for another man in the future, he would be jealous. It would be better for him to fall for her than for another man. Ziran was stunned and asked in surprise, "You really have feelings for Xiaoxi, do you like her?" Xiaoyi nodded, "That's right, I like Sister Yunxi. I like her devilish figure, her cool personality, and her strong strength. This should be love, right?" Ziran said with a hint of dissatisfaction in her sly delight, "If you like it, just say it directly. Why are you beating around the bush?" "Really? Okay, let's go out. Xiaobing should be done with the talk soon." The two returned to the living room. There was no one there, and the Yunbing sisters had not yet come out of the bedroom. In the bedroom, the beautiful ladies with hot bodies were sitting by the bed. Yunxi felt a little guilty and didn't dare to look Yunbing in the eye, hesitating. "Xiaobing, what do you want from me?" Yunbing was somewhat speechless. She stared at Yunxi with her beautiful eyes, as clear as autumn water, and said, "Sister, have you done anything wrong? You dare not even look at me." Yunxi felt even more guilty. No. Yunbing went straight to the point, put his hands on Yunxi's shoulders, and said seriously, "Sister, you must answer the questions I ask later seriously and don't lie. This concerns your lifelong happiness." Yunxi was startled. "You ask? Sister, do you have a man you like?" Yunbing asked. Yunxi hesitated for a few seconds and said, "Yes, there is." Yunbing got straight to the point and said, "It's Xiaoyi, right?" "This?" Yunxi panicked and stammered, "I." Yunbing pinched Yunxi's cold and pretty face speechless lie and said, "If you like me, just admit it, I won't eat you. Ziran has already seen that you like Xiaoyi. If it weren't for her, I would have been kept in the dark by you for my entire life. Let me tell you, if you like someone, just say it out loud. There's no need to hide it. There's nothing to be ashamed of." Yunxi was anxious. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I couldn't control myself and fell in love with you without realizing it. Don't worry, I will try my best to stay away from Xiaoyi and not get involved with him." Yunbing was somewhat touched and a little distressed and said, "No, if you like her, go after her as long as it's not sneaky. I won't be angry. I don't mind if you sign a contract with Xiaoyi." Yunxi was confused. Yunbing smiled, "You heard me right, I don't mind you being with Xiaoyi." Yunxi finally stopped dodging and stared at Yunbing, very surprised, and asked, "Are you serious?" Yunbing touched Yunxi's hair and nodded. "Really?" Yunxi was overjoyed, her pretty face lit up with smiles, and she was secretly delighted and said gratefully, "Xiaobing, thank you." Chapter 419. Yunbing, bite your lips and show us. After getting Yunbing's permission, she no longer had to suppress her inner emotions and contact with Xiaoyi, nor did she have to feel guilty or uneasy. Yunbing was infected by the joy and said with a smile, "Yunxi, you want to have sex with Xiaoyi and sign a contract with him? Rolling sheets?" Yunxi's cool and pretty face was flushed, as red as a ripe apple. She is shy. "I do." Yunxi lowered his head, but his tone was firm. She even swallowed and licked her lips, thinking of some scene. "But what if Xiaoyi doesn't like me? I didn't get the feeling from Xiaoyi that he liked me." Yunxi said worriedly. As the goddess of all the students in the college, she felt inferior to herself for the first time. "Worried that I'm not the type Xiaoyi likes?" Yunbing snorted. "It's his blessing that you like him. He has to like him even if he doesn't like it or not. It's settled. Ziran and I will find a way to help you break through the relationship." Yunxi was stunned. How could he be so strong? Then, Yunbing and Yunxi walked out of the bedroom and came to the living room. Ziran and Yunbing looked at each other and exchanged glances. Does Xiaoyi like Yunxi? Yes? Did Yunxi open up her heart? After getting the result, they both laughed at the same time. The two girls pulled Xiaoyi and Yunxi together, letting them sit next to each other on the sofa, and said with a smile, "Xiaoyi, don't you have anything to say? Xiaoxi, I leave it to you." Xiaoyi's old face turned red, and he said, "Sister Yunxi, I understand your feelings, and I won't let you down." Yunxi's nervousness instantly dissipated, and she was delighted. She placed her fair and tender little hand on Xiaoyi's rough big hand, held it tightly, and said with a blush on her pretty face, After finishing speaking, the two fell silent, holding hands and not knowing what to say. The main thing was that there were two pairs of eyes staring at them closely, and they couldn't let go. Ziran complained. "Is that all you said? At least give us a kiss?" Yunbing echoed, "Come on, bite your lips and show us." This, Xiaoyi and Yunxi were both stunned, looking at each other hesitantly. The two of them just knew each other's feelings, and they were kissing in public. Yunxi is extremely shy. Even the coldest woman out there has her feminine side. Ziran urged, "Xiaoyi, as a man, you should take the initiative. Bite your tongue, come on." Yunbing gave psychological counseling. "Yunxi, don't feel any psychological burden. I have already made my attitude clear. I won't be angry." Xiaoyi looked at Yunxi's rosy cherry lips, swallowed, made up his mind, and moved his face closer. Wave. Feeling the soft and cool touch, Xiaoyi tasted the ice goddess's mouth. "Very wonderful, very cool. Wonderful." This is the iceberg goddess of all the boys in the college, the #1 goddess of Kunpeng College, and he kissed her. Not only the touch of his lips, but also the sense of superiority and satisfaction in his heart were extremely satisfying. The kiss ended immediately. Yunxi lowered her head and blushed. Not daring to look at anyone, she felt embarrassed and shy doing this in front of Ziran and Yunbing. That's it? Zaran's mouth twitched. Yunbing was also dissatisfied and said, we haven't seen enough, let's do it again, at least give it a fish kiss. Even biting your lips makes you so embarrassed. How long will it take for you to have sex and sign a contract? Xiao Yi was stunned. Are they in such a hurry to get it done in one step? Yunxi's palms were sweating again. Ziran touched her fair and delicate chin and thought, no, I must let you do something to enhance your feelings for each other and your relationship. Yunbing also wanted them to be together as soon as possible and break through their relationship. He slapped his thigh and said, you two are dilly-dallying because we're watching, right? Xiao Yi and Yunxi nodded in unison. Yunbing snapped his fingers and said with a smile, then you can go watch a movie. I heard that watching a movie can quickly enhance the relationship. Ziran's pretty face was embarrassed, and she said incredulously, Xiaobing, do you want them to watch an action art movie? Yunbing slapped her on the head, her pretty face darkened, and she said, what are you thinking about? I'm not that dirty. I'm talking about a normal love movie. Ziran rubbed his head in pain and said, oh, then just watch. She took out her other tablet computer and operated it for a few times, then looked up and smiled, okay, I booked a movie theater. You guys can go watch a movie later. There's no one else in the entire cinema, you two can do whatever you want. The Beast Girl Cinema is located at No. 3 Entertainment Street in the Magic City. Yunbing urged, go ahead. Just like that. Xiao Yi and Yunxi held hands and were pushed out of the villa by the two women. Watching the two people walking away, Ziran said with emotion, I never thought that I would become a matchmaker one day. What is a romantic movie like? I want to watch it too. Yunbing pursed her lips in anger. And let's watch it together. It's such a big cinema. We can sit in the front row to watch the movie. Xiao Yi and my sister can just sit in the back so as not to hinder them. At this time, a graceful white-haired girl hurriedly ran into the villa and said, Master, my address book is broken. Can you lend me your address book? I want to check something. Ziran gave her his new tablet and said with a smile, Xiangling. What are you doing? Why are you in such a hurry? Thank you, Master. Wangfu Xiangling said this and ran away. Lee. She ran to the side of the road and squatted down. She was so happy. Since Master doesn't follow the moral code of martial arts, don't blame me for being ruthless. I'll use your identity to create a space for Xiao Yi and I to be alone. By then, Xiao Yi and I will have done what we did. It will be too late for you to regret or blame me. The white-haired girl smiled wickedly. Then she opened her new tablet and immediately saw a movie theater. Is this the cinema that Master just bought? This is it? After operating for a while, a white-haired girl found Xiao Yi's contact number and edited it. Xiao Yi, come to the Beast Mother Cinema. I want to watch a movie with you. Soon she received a reply from Xiao Yi. Sister Ziran, I'm on my way to the cinema if you want to watch it together. Come on over. God is really helping me. Huangfu Xiangling was very happy and replied excitedly. I'll be there right away. After turning off the tablet, she headed straight for the Beast Girl Cinema. She was extremely excited. The scene of watching a movie with Xiao Yi appeared in her mind, and she ignored many things. Half an hour later, the white-haired girl came to a movie theater and sat in the center of the first row. She waited and waited, but Xiao Yi didn't come, but Ziran and Yunbing came instead. She was stunned. Master, Sister Yunbing, why are you here? Ziran was also a little surprised. You want to watch a movie too? Then let's watch it together. Yunbing and Ziran sat on both sides, with Huangfu Xiangling sitting in the middle seat. Huangfu Xiangling was anxious. You all are here, how can I watch a movie with Xiao Yi? At this time, in the corner of the last row, Xiao Yi and Yunxi sat down next to each other. The light in the cinema was very dim. Yunxi's pretty face suddenly turned red, and she felt a rough big hand touching her thigh. Chapter 420. The relationship progresses rapidly. Xiao Yi likes to touch my legs, I'm so happy. In the dim light, Yunxi pulled up her white robe, revealing a pair of long, white and tender legs. Xiao Yi's face turned red. He took his hand away and said, sorry, I touched the wrong place. I'm looking for popcorn. The popcorn is here. If you want to touch it, go ahead and touch it. I don't mind. Yunxi blushed and said in a cool and pleasant voice. Xiao Yi was delighted, his lips curled up, and he felt angry inside. Although Yunxi and Yunbing look exactly the same, they give people completely different feelings. One is passionate and unrestrained. The other is cold as ice. Ziran in front of him chuckled and whispered, they got the hang of it so quickly. Judging from this trend, they will soon be able to improve their relationship and eliminate some of the unfamiliarity with each other. Yunbing snorted, Xiao Yi is really an ISB, a light control. The white-haired girl was in the middle, and after hearing this, her delicate little face was filled with confusion. What? What do you mean by getting started? What about leg control? Is Xiao Yi here? Ziran pointed behind him and said. It's in the corner of the last row, where the light is the darkest. This movie is specially prepared for the two of them, so that they can quickly improve their relationship. Huang Fu Xiangling was startled. She looked back and saw Xiao Yi and Yunqi in the corner. Ziran scolded. Don't disturb them, okay? Don't keep your eyes on them for too long. Huang Fu Xiangling turned her gaze back and stared blankly at the opening scene of the movie on the big screen in front of her. She was stunned and asked incredulously, Isn't Xiao Yi's sister Yun Bing's husband? Why is he involved with sister Yunqi? Yun Bing smiled and said. Lovers will eventually marry. Huang Fu Xiangling smiled bitterly. IBAMO. Have become a clown again? Yesterday she was drinking alone with Yunqi, confessing her inner distress to Yunqi, and even said that she wanted to take Xiao Yi down by force. As a result, she ended up losing more than she gained, and was caught in the middle by her master Yun Bing and her master. On the contrary, Yunqi, the listener yesterday, was involved with Xiao Yi. Why am I so miserable? Every time I thought I was the heroine, I ended up being a supporting role and a witness to love. Could it be that I, BMA, will never be able to eat my own food for the rest of my life? I've eaten Master's feast, I may have to eat Sister Yunqi's feast in the future. I'm the only one who didn't prepare the feast. I really like banquets, but I don't want to eat a banquet like this. The bitterness at the corners of her mouth was about to overflow. It was so bitter and astringent. The treasure was right in front of her, but she didn't get any of it. The love movie begins. At the beginning, the male and female protagonists are college students. The female protagonist is attacked by a ferocious beast on the way to school. Then the male protagonist appears and saves the female protagonist at the critical moment. In the dust before the heroine fell into coma, she only saw a blurry handsome face, college student clothes, and the hero's hands. Remember one feature. The boy who saved her was very handsome, and his ring finger was longer than his middle finger. When the heroine woke up in the hospital, the hero was gone. I want to find him and thank him in person. The heroine is the daughter of the school director and a wealthy lady. She posted a missing person notice on campus. A very handsome boy, his ring finger is longer than his middle finger. This missing person notice sparked heated discussions among boys in the school. Oh my god! Heon Jin Xiao wants to fall in love. The ring finger is longer than the middle finger. The school will definitely be very happy in the future. How about I cut off my middle finger? So that my ring finger will be longer than my middle finger, and then I can go find the school. In front of the big screen, Yun Bing and Ziran were a little surprised. If they remembered correctly, Xiao Yi's ring finger was longer than his middle finger. If two fingers are put together, they are long and thick. The two girls looked at each other, swallowed their saliva, their beautiful eyes sparkled, and their minds became distracted. The white-haired girl looked confused. It's just that the ring finger is longer than the middle finger. What's wrong? Ziran smiled and said. You are still young, you don't understand. Yun Bing echoed, when you meet this kind of person, you will understand. Huang Fu Xiangling opened the tablet, typed in the question, click search, and after learning the answer, she silently put away the tablet, her pretty face flushed. So that's the principle. Behind, Yunqi grabbed Xiao Yi's rough hand with her small hand, looked at it in front of her eyes, and said in surprise, Xiao Yi, you are just like the male protagonist in the movie. Your ring finger is so long, even longer than your middle finger. How did you do that? Xiao Yi scratched his head. It's natural. Oh, Yunqi separated his fingers, held his middle finger and ring finger and looked at them in front of her with curiosity. There's nothing good to watch, let's watch a movie. Xiao Yi put his hand away, secretly placed his hand on Yunqi's shoulders, and then gently hugged her. Yunqi put her head on Xiao Yi's shoulder. The familiar and pleasant smell came from the tip of her nose, feeling Xiao Yi's strong and mature masculine scent, which made her heart pound like a deer, and her heart was pounding. Movie scene. The heroine searched for a month but couldn't find the hero. When she was about to give up and wanted to go to the martial arts training ground to vent her inner dissatisfaction, she saw the male protagonist cleaning alone. What puzzled her was that in such a large martial arts training ground, why was he the only one cleaning, mopping the floor, and wiping the equipment? At this time, a fierce-looking class teacher appeared in front of the male protagonist and scolded. Lin Yi, you are late for class and slept in. If you are late a few more times, your credits will be deducted and you will be fired. The academy in the Beast Girl era is not the academy in peacetime. The rules of the academy must be followed. Hey, why is your ring finger longer than your middle finger? A heroine found the hero, held his hand and looked at him blankly. The class teacher immediately smiled and said, Miss, the martial arts training ground is still being cleaned. Please come back later. All the class teachers know about the school director's only daughter. Then the heroine spoke for the hero and saved him. And the hero developed a liking for the heroine. The two officially began to contact each other. Since it was a romantic movie, the two quickly started a sweet relationship. Wow, I want to date Xiaoyi too. Wang Fu Xiangling's eyes widened, and a deep envy rose in her heart. Ziran was deeply touched and felt that she was very similar to the plot in the movie. Xiaoyi was very similar to the male protagonist and saved her life again. If it weren't for Xiaoyi, she might have exploded and died long ago. Yunbing suddenly said in surprise, "Damn, Xiaoyi and Yunqi kissed each other so soon?" Ziran and Huangfu Xiangling were startled. They glanced back secretly a few times, their pupils shrank. Really? In a dim corner. The people were hugging each other, kissing each other in ecstasy. Xiaoyi could feel Yunqi's awkwardness and her lack of experience. 2 minutes later, Yunqi felt her whole body go limp and she collapsed on Xiao. Yet here was still some moisture on the corners of her rosy mouth, which belonged to someone unknown. She licked her lips, feeling weak all over, and said, "Xiaoyi, do you have any weapons with you? Keep it under my legs." Xiaoyi looked down and said awkwardly, "Sorry, I'll put it away right away." Yunqi suddenly thought of something, her pretty face turned red, and she said, "Come to my villa tonight." At the end of the movie, the hero and heroine made their relationship public, signed a contract, and became fighting partners and a couple. Ziran and Yunbing carried BMO away, and gave Xiaoyi a look that meant you understand. Xiaoyi scratched his head and thought to himself, "Am I being arranged? Sister Yunqi, let's go to your villa," he said. Yunqi blushed slightly, "Yeah." Chapter 421 Entering the Bridal Chamber. At night, 10 o'clock. Ziran and Yunbing were in Villa No. Duan did not wait for Xiaoyi to come back. Realizing something, their eyes lit up and they raised their hands to high-five. Xiaoxi finally got what she wanted. That's great. After this night, Yunqi is also Xiaoyi's beast mother. Xiaoyi hasn't come back so late. He must have done something bad with Yunqi. As for what bad thing it was, they both knew it very well. Xiaoyi was having an affair with another woman. Yunxi and Bing did not feel angry or jealous, but rather felt very happy. It seemed like I had made up for the guilt I felt towards Yunqi. And I felt at peace. Ziran asked curiously at this time, "Xiaobing, do you know what method Xiao used to make Xiaoxi have such a good figure?" Yunbing recalled and said, "It seems that by using certain medicinal herbs and combining them with full body massage to activate the human body's potential, the body will gradually get better. This is what happened to Xiaoyi's fourth beast girl, Mu Qingzhu. At the beginning, I went to Jinling City to find a medical expert and found the method." Ziran's beautiful eyes lit up. Dazzlingly bright, "Is it effective?" Yunbing's mind flashed with the changes in Mu Qingzhu's figure over the past few days. She nodded firmly and said, "The effect is very good. Once upon a time, Mu Qingzhu's figure was even bustier than an airport. I heard that even Xiaoyi disliked her figure. Now, I guess Xiaoyi is in love with it. You've seen Qingzhu's figure, it's incredible. Even though she's not as good as me, she's still pretty good looking. If you look down you can't even see her toes. The front is very top and the back is very upturned. As the saying goes, if you look down and can't see your toes, that's the most beautiful thing in the world." Ziran was so happy when she heard that. She felt titchy and looked at her flat body. A sense of urgency arose in her heart. Did Xiaoyi ever dislike Mu Qingzhu's poor figure? Will he dislike my figure? Yunbing chuckled, "Maybe, who knows?" Ziran felt more urgent and said, "No, I need to get back in shape." The other side. In the Dean's Villa No. 1, not far from Villa No. 2. Xiaoyi and Yunqi returned here hand in hand. Xiaoyi stared at Yunqi eagerly and said, "Sister Yunqi, I'm going to take a shower first." Yunqi pulled him into the room and said with a smile, "No need to wash. Wait for me, I'm going to take a shower." After half an hour of waiting, Yunqi came out wearing a bath towel, her hair still wet, revealing her delicate collarbone and white arms, and a pair of long, white, tender legs exposed to the air. Her cool and pretty face was now flushed and her eyes were shy. "Xiaoyi, you will be responsible for me, right?" Xiaoyi nodded without thinking, "Of course. From the moment I knew your feelings for me, I would not let you go." Yunqi's pretty face brightened visibly. "Then do you like me?" Xiaoyi looked at Yunqi's front that was about to jump out, swallowed his saliva, and said eagerly, "I like it." Yunqi snorted, "Do you like my figure or me as a person? If I lose my figure in the future, you won't like me anymore?" Xiaoyi wiped the saliva from the corner of his mouth, and said with a smile, "How is it possible, my iceberg goddess Dean? I like you as a person. Including your heart, your cold personality, your good figure, and your white and tender feet. To sum it up, I like everything about you. Don't let your imagination run wild. We are a family from now on. A real family. If I treat you badly, I will slap myself a few times. Besides, Sister Yunbing will not let me go, and Sister Ziran will not let me go either." Yunxi was very happy to hear Xiao Yu's confession-like words, and a happy smile appeared on her cold and pretty face. She raised her hand and pulled the towel, which fell to the ground, revealing her devilish figure. Gudong. Xiao Yi stared straight ahead and swallowed hard. Well, Sister Yunxi, we haven't signed the contract yet. Are you really willing to give it to me? Yunxi said, it's okay, I have other ways. She did a backflip and jumped behind Xiao Yi, picked him up and rushed into the bedroom. After a series of operations, Xiao Yi was surprised to find that she was so good at playing. Early the next morning, Ziran and Yunbing came to Villano, one to find out what was going on. As a result, I saw the people having breakfast in the living room. The two of them looked full of energy and didn't look like they had been busy all night. Ziran said disappointed lie, you guys didn't do anything? Yunbing looked at Xiao Yi with suspicion. Are you not going to be able to do it? Xiao Yi glared. Don't you know whether I can do it or not? Yesterday, although Yunxi did not clear his name, he did so in other ways. Yunxi's pretty face flushed and she said, what are you talking about? Xiao Yi and I haven't signed the contract yet. So we will definitely not really enter the bridal chamber. Well, it seemed like yesterday was almost like entering the bridal chamber. Ziran and Yunbing nodded thoughtfully, as if they understood something. Yunbing immediately pressed Xiao Yi and said, Xiao Yi, when will you marry Yunxi and sign the contract? Xiao Yi said, when I finish the next thing, I will give Sister Yunxi a grand wedding and then sign the contract. Sister Ziran and I are going to Hanghouse Base City to find resources for upgrading the template. With a loud bang, Xiao Yi's realm suddenly broke through. His aura increased more than tenfold, and the time and reincarnation energies in his body were abundant. Grand Master, Level 2. Everyone was shocked. It's only been 3 days since you broke through to the Great Venerable Realm so fast. Mythical level templates can't be that fast, right? Xiao Yi said frankly. King Zhu is a mythical time template that can use time acceleration on itself after breaking through to the Great Venerable Realm. Our time acceleration has increased from 3 times to more than 6 times. 3 days for King Zhu is 20 days for others. She has been practicing all the time. It is normal for a mythical template to break through to the Great Venerable Realm in 20 days. Ziran, Yunxi and Yunbing nodded, with a hint of envy on their pretty faces. Space is king, time is emperor. This sentence is not just talk, it can be reflected in many aspects. It can speed up time, pause time, and even reverse time. In terms of training and fighting, it's like he's cheating, very abnormal. It won't be long before King Zhu's realm will catch up with us. The higher the realm, the more powerful the time-related innate skills will be by then. King Zhu might be able to practice for 100 years for one day in the outside world. Ziran and Yunbing looked at each other, and a sense of urgency arose in their hearts. As Xiao Yi's beast girls, there is also competition among them, and none of them wants to fall behind other beast girls. Xiao Yi looked at himself and smiled. Go ahead and compete. The more you compete, the more I benefit. The higher your realm is and the faster you cultivate, the more feedback I can get and I can level up as well. Xiao Yi, then you and Ziran should go to Hanghouse together today. I want to stay in Kunpeng Academy to practice. When you come back, I will definitely upgrade to the Saint Realm. The charming and beautiful Queen Yunbing walked away with a huff. She was sure because she had in her arms a box of Supreme Realm Enlightenment Tea that Xiao Yi had given her before. But the mythical template and the Enlightenment Tea, if she can't upgrade quickly, she might as well just die by hitting her head against tofu. Chapter 422. The Queen of Hanghouse, please read on. Xiao Yi pointed to the buns and soy milk on the table and said, Sister Ziran, let's eat together. Ziran shook her head. No, I'll just watch you eat. Xiao Yi smiled and said, and I want to eat imported breakfast. Yunxi said in a cold voice, how can we import steamed buns? Do we have to go abroad to buy them for breakfast? Our dragon country is vast and rich in resources, with plenty of delicious food. Just eat what you have. Xiao Yi raised his index finger and shook it. No, this import is not that import. Ziran was also hearing this for the first time and was very surprised. She said Kokathis lie. Hey Xiao Yi, what imported breakfast is it? Just tell us directly, we can't guess it. Xiao Yi moved closer to the two girls and whispered a few words to them. Swish, swish, the two girls widened their beautiful eyes as pure as autumn water, and a hint of blush appeared on their pretty faces. So this is the import. Xiao Yi, you really know how to have fun. Ziran and Yunxi said angrily. The two girls looked at each other, threw the buns into their rosy little mouths, and moved toward Xiao Yi with the buns in their mouths. Imported breakfast is here. Xiao Yi, I am satisfied with you. This? Xiao Yi looked at the two beautiful faces that were getting closer and closer, and felt a little at a loss. One by one, I can't eat them all at once. But Ziran and Yunxi did not stop approaching and rushed forward all of a sudden. Xiao Yi was quick-eyed and quick-handed. He first took a bite of Ziran's imported bun, then took a bite of Yunxi's imported bun, and then he hugged the two limp girls in his arms. Smells good, so good. Holding Ziran in his left hand and Yunxi in his right hand, Xiaoyi ate very comfortably. This imported breakfast is different. It's much better than ordinary breakfasts. It tastes so good. Ziran rolled her eyes. You bit my mouth, it hurts. Yunxi was still a little uncomfortable as she had never been so close to Xiaoyi. Her pretty face flushed and she ate the half-bitten bun. Xiaoyi lay lazily on the sofa and said lazily, I'm thirsty. Ziran's eyes widened. Do we have to drink imported soy milk? She and Yunxi looked at each other and said, Xiaoxi. Do come this time. Come on, see you're on it. It's too embarrassing to feed her soy milk to. Yunxi responded. Seeing the two women pushing each other back and forth, Xiaoyi simply took the initiative and said with a sneer, since you two don't take the initiative, I'll do it. After taking a sip of soy milk, he rushed towards Ziran. Slightly sweet on the palate. 2 seconds later, he rushed towards Yunxi again. It tastes sweet. Ziran and Yunxi took a big gulp of the drink and swallowed it down with a gulp. Xiaoyi smiled and said, Is it sweet? The two of them were delighted, their beautiful eyes lit up. And they exclaimed in surprise, Sweet? Even sweeter. Xiaoyi nodded in satisfaction. Although soy milk was sweet, it only tasted sweet in the mouth, not as sweet as the feeling in the heart. Ziran smacked her lips. Her innocent face lit up with a smile, I want more. Yunxi hesitated for a moment, unable to contain her inner joy, and said, I want one too. Xiaoyi lay lazily on the sofa, spread his hands, opened his mouth and said, I don't want to move, you guys can do whatever you want. Ziran and Yunxi looked at each other and answered first. I'll do it. I'll go first. The two girls couldn't wait and picked up the soy milk on the table and poured it into their mouths. Then, Xiaoyi drank the imported drinks from the two women. After drinking enough food, Yunxi said reluctantly, Xiaoyi. Ziran, how long will it take you to get to Hangout Space City? She had just been with Xiaoyi yesterday, and they were going to be separated today. And she felt deeply reluctant to leave. Ziran nodded his finger, thought for a moment, and said, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 days, maybe 1 or 2 months. I need to gather enough resources to upgrade my template. And I also need to kill the monsters and obtain the Supreme Crystal Core. 200 Supreme Crystal Cores may take several days. Plus I'm going to meet the Queen of Hanghouse, chat with her, go shopping, and have some fun for a few days. All together, it might take half a month or a month. Xiaoyi pinched Yunxi's beautiful and cold face and said with a smile, you can also go together. You all said that the Queen of Hanghouse is your good sister. Let's go meet her together. Yunxi shook her head and said, I have to protect your beast girl and stay in Kunpeng Academy. Xiaobing can't take care of so many things when she is practicing. Ziran is also in the same realm. Your safety will be guaranteed if you stay with her. Xiaoyi was somewhat touched. He did not expect that Yunxi had thought so much and taken the initiative to take on the responsibility of protecting everyone. With a wife like this, what more could a husband ask for? He immediately made a promise and said, after I come back, I will hold a wedding with you, formally sign a contract, and become real husband and wife. Yunxi nodded her little head. Yeah, I'll wait for you. At this time, a graceful white-haired girl rushed in from the door, with her hands on her waist, and snorted. Xiaoyi, you married to beast girls at your last wedding. Why don't you marry to beast girls at your next wedding as well? Yunxi burst out laughing. How can there be so many beast girls? Xiaoyi felt that Huangfu Xiangling was very humorous and asked with a smile. Where is the other beast girl? The white-haired girl suddenly lowered her head, a hint of shame rising on her pretty face. It's far away in the sky, but it's right in front of me. Xiaoyi was stunned. You want to marry me too? The white-haired girl nodded firmly. Yes. Before she could finish her words, Ziran grabbed her by the neck and threw her out of the villa. Ziran snorted. You little brat, go play somewhere else and don't dream too much. How can a disciple and a master marry the same person? The beautiful white-haired girl rubbed her sore but with some resentment and snorted. Master, you are too selfish, I hate you. After saying that, she ran away with red eyes. Xiaoyi and Yunxi were silent. Ziran shrugged nonchalantly and said with a smile, it's okay. You're just a kid, your emotions come and go quickly. Okay Xiaoyi, it's time for us to set off. She pulled open a space crack, entered it with Xiaoyi, and began to cross the void, heading towards the coordinates of Hangout Space City. The other side, Hangout Space City, outside the towering steel city walls. The city gate opened, and teams of contracted warriors emitting a bloody smell walked into the city, following a majestic look and a beautiful empress whose every move could cause waves in heaven and earth. On both sides of the city streets, there are crowded people, all of whom are residents of Hangout Space City. With reverence on their faces, they shouted loudly, Welcome to the Empress, who has returned triumphantly. Empress, you are our god. Only our Empress can kill the Saint Realm Beast King with one move. Listening to the voices of support and shouts from both sides of the broad road, A smile appeared on the majestic face of the beautiful queen who was leading tens of thousands of contractors, and the cloak behind her fluttered in the wind. She was wearing silver armor and a silver helmet. He was 1.75 meters tall, with a slender figure, well-proportioned curves and a beautiful face. Chapter 423. The three sisters are all Xiaoyi's beast girls. The empress was shocked. Half an hour later, in the empress's bedroom, Wu Qingcheng sat tall and straight on the first seat, looking at the quiet and deserted hall, her sword-like brows tightly furrowed on her pretty face. Her name is Gu Qingcheng. She is the lord of Hanghouse Bay City and also the female war god of Hanghouse Bay City. She is called the Queen of Hanghouse by all the residents and soldiers of Hanghouse. Sir, are you really my future self? Her serious and pleasant voice rang out in the hall. A pleasant voice that was less majestic and more pleasant responded in her mind. Of course, I told you a long time ago that I am Gu Qingcheng from 100 years in the future. I separated a piece of my soul and used the treasure to travel through time to come to you. I spent 3 days and 3 nights to kill the Saint Realm Beast King you killed, but with my guidance, you took advantage of its weakness and rushed into its lair and killed it instantly. Doesn't this prove it? Gu Qingcheng's sword-like brows relaxed slightly, and said, No. This still cannot prove that you are my future self. The pleasant voice in my mind was not in a hurry at all, and said slowly and methodically, 1,000 years ago, you fell off a cliff alone and injured. You encountered an opportunity by chance, and with the help of the opportunity, you were promoted to the supreme realm. After returning, you killed your enemies and became the lord of Hanghouse City. 700 years ago, you broke through the Saint Realm and led your soldiers to sweep across the Demon Mountain Range. Clearing out all the powerful monsters, you alone discovered a pool of enlightenment essence 10,000 meters underground in the Demon Mountain Range. Since then, you have cultivated at an amazing speed, with almost no bottlenecks. 100 years ago, you broke through to the perfect Saint Realm, and your realm has stagnated since then. For 100 years, your realm has not made any progress at all, as if it was stuck no matter what methods and treasures you have tried. Nothing can help. A hint of shock appeared on Gu Qingcheng's calm face, and she said in surprise, These are secrets that I have never revealed or told anyone. Could it be that you are really my future self? A pleasant voice in my mind jumped for joy and said with a smile, What else? Not only do I know this, I also know that because of Ziran, you developed a habit of secretly watching action art movies. You also bought those electronic toys, but you dared not use them. You have been a virgin until now. When you were a kid, you secretly watched Xiaoxi poop. You snatched her tissues, leaving her with nothing to wipe with, and Xiaoxi blamed you for wanting to steal her poop. You stole Ziran's panties and put them on yourself, causing Ziran to look for them. She thought a man had stolen them, and that made her hate men for a long time. When you were little, you developed the habit of sleeping naked. And you sleep and rest with Xiaobing every day. The dignity on Gu Qingcheng's pretty face disappeared in an instant, replaced by deep embarrassment, and she felt a little embarrassed. Stop, don't say anything more. I believe it, I believe it, I believe it. She looked a little embarrassed. She was the only one who knew these things. And the only one who could know this information was probably her future self. A huge city lord's palace fell into complete silence. Deep in the spiritual sea of Gu Qingcheng's mind, in a center emitting a soft light, there floated a very transparent and beautiful figure that seemed like it would disappear at any time. She looked exactly like Gu Qingcheng, but her temperament was much more mature, with her hair tied up, making her look like a woman. She thought to herself, according to the time, my husband and Ziran should come to Hanghouse in the next few days. At this point in time, I was very stubborn and didn't follow my own way. It was hard for me to listen to other people's opinions, which caused a lot of estrangement and conflicts between my husband and me. I was always unpopular. It took a lot of effort to get him to spend a night with me. I begged and pleaded. I came here to change those bad habits of mine at this point in time. It's better not to let my husband hate me. She rubbed her eyebrows, looking very worried. In the outside world, Gu Qingcheng was silent for a long time, and finally accepted the fact that the weak soul in his sea of spirituality was his future self. Her beautiful face showed her former dignity again, and she said, Oh Gu, since you are my future self, you must know why my realm has been stagnant, right? In the future, have I made a breakthrough? Explain. Lao Gu's pleasant voice sounded. Are you asking me, or ordering me? Gu Qingcheng said, Of course I'm asking you. You are me and I am you. I have no right to order you around. Lao Gu smiled. You have made a breakthrough. Your realm will be broken through within these few months, and your defects will be solved. I can't reveal any more information. Gu Qingcheng was overjoyed and stood up immediately. Great, that's great. Her realm had stagnated for more than 100 years and was almost becoming a demon in her heart. With her qualifications and talents, even if she didn't contract as a beastmaster, her realm would not be stagnant at the perfect Saint Realm. Report, a soldier came in from outside, knelt on one knee and clasped his fists, saying, Empress, there is a woman who claims to be your best sister and wants to see you by the way. She said her name is Ziran. Good sister Ziran? Gu Qingcheng's heart was startled. And he ordered, led the way. Yes, please follow me. Empress, the soldier in iron and leather armor stood up, his face solemn, and walked out to lead the way. In a luxurious inn on Hanghouse Street, Ziran and Xiaoyi ate snacks unique to Hanghouse Base City and drank the Hong Pao tea. This snack is delicious, and this tea has a very special taste. It's just a little expensive. This plate and this pot actually require a great venerable crystal core. Xiaoyi smiled and said, you rich woman think it's too expensive. The Goblin King's kidney is much more expensive than this. Ziran smiled. It's different, the kidney is for my happiness. At this time, the shopkeeper suddenly ran out, and all the residents in the inn hall ran out of the inn, saying in unison, greetings to the Empress. The Empress has come to the demon inn. Our inn will surely be prosperous. I've met the Empress. She's so handsome and cool. The Empress is the most wise and people-loving city lord I have ever met. These voices, without exception, are full of deep respect and support. Ziran and Xiaoyi looked up and were shocked to see a majestic and beautiful lady in silver armor walking in. She approached them, and every move she made revealed a natural sense of oppression. Gu Qingcheng. Is this the queen of Hang House? Gu Qingcheng stepped on her combat boots, making a thump-thump-thump sound. After approaching, a smile appeared on her beautiful face and she said, it's me. Boss. Please give us a private room. The shopkeeper came running in and led the three of them into the best private room at Tianmo, and it was located on the top floor of the inn, and had floor-to-ceiling windows with a cool breeze blowing from outside. One could see the scenery of half of the city of Hanghouse from here. He personally prepared the best snacks and tea in the inn, then left the box and said with a smile, everyone, enjoy your meal and drink. Call me anytime if you need anything. Ziran and Xiaoyi sat side by side, looking at the queen of Hanghouse who was sitting across the table. Qingcheng, you can do it. Becoming the city lord in wearing armor is very impressive and handsome. Gu Qingcheng smiled dignifiedly and said, I'm used to it. I don't wear this armor just to show off. Ziran, you have met your delight and become more beautiful. Who is this? She looked at Xiaoyi with confusion. Xiaoyi ate the snacks carelessly, biting them with a crunch, and said in a muffled voice, my name is Xiaoyi. Gu Qingcheng frowned. Ziran took Xiaoyi's arm, rested her head on his shoulder, and said with a smile, this is my husband Xiaoyi. Gu Qingcheng was stunned. You are married? Ziran smiled and said, yes. Not only am I married, Xiao Bing is also married, and Xiao Shi is also about to hold a wedding. The husbands of our three sisters are all Xiaoyi. Gu Qingcheng's pretty face froze, and she said in shock, after 1,000 years, you two actually married the same man. Her eyes became deep and she looked at Xiaoyi scrutinizing lie, as if she wanted to see through Xiaoyi. Chapter 424. Empress, am I also his beast mother? Being looked at by that judgmental gaze, Xiaoyi felt a strong sense of oppression coming towards him, and his whole body sank, as if he was carrying a burden of tens of millions of pounds. This woman is very strong. She looks very pretty, very beautiful, but she is a tigress, and I cannot touch her eyebrows at all. Xiaoyi narrowed his eyes and his breathing became heavy. He could hardly bear the oppressive feeling from the powerful saints. Ziran sensed Xiaoyi's embarrassment and complained, Gu Qingcheng, what are you doing? This is the husband we have signed a contract with, and you cannot be presumptuous. Gu Qingcheng shook her head, no. Once a contract is signed, it can still be terminated. I think I still consider you as good sisters who are more than blood relatives, so I have to think about you. You, raise your head and look at me. Xiaoyi's face turned cold, and a dangerous aura was released in his eyes. He said, Ziran, I hate your sister. You guys chat. I'll go out for a walk. He resisted the feeling of oppression, turned around and walked out of the box. He had a very bad, terrible impression of Gu Qingcheng. This person insists on doing what he wants and doesn't even listen to Ziran's opinions. How could you use the aura of the Holy Realm to oppress someone when you see your sister's husband, if he didn't have some background? I'm afraid that pressure would make him stumble and fall to the ground and smell it. Gu Qingcheng was humiliated, her brows furrowed, her eyes fixed on his departing figure, and she said, Ziran, this guy is so boring. Do you really like him? You haven't been threatened, have you? If you were threatened and had to marry him, just blink and die. Gu Qingcheng will make the decision for you. Even if a quasi-emperor at the peak level comes, I can handle it. Seeing her husband run away in anger, Ziran's pretty face darkened and she scolded, Gu Qingcheng, you crazy woman, do you know how to respect others? I don't care whether you are doing this for my own good or for Xiaobing and the others, you shouldn't treat Xiaoyi like this. We all really like him, no one has ever forced us, and no one has the ability to force us. You know, we were the ones who were able to sign a contract with him. Xiaobing, me, and Xiao Shi were all chasing after him. After saying that, Ziran ran out angrily. You stay by yourself. I'm going to find Xiaoyi. Gu Qingcheng. Her face froze. And the movement of drinking tea in her hand froze, with a look of surprise on her pretty face. In the hearts of good sisters, this man is much more important than me. A good sister. She noticed this and felt a dull pain in her heart and became uneasy. Over the years, she has been alone. Practicing hard, fighting off the beast type for the Hanghouse-based city, and clearing the surrounding monster mountains. No one can confide in her and become her close friend. Now, she is alone and hasn't had anyone to confide in for a long time. Hey, Gu Qingcheng. I just closed my eyes for a while, and you caused such a big conflict for me? You really deserve to die. A pleasant and mature voice sounded in her mind. But the tone was very angry and a little bit defensive. Gu Qingcheng? Why are you blaming me too? Aren't you me? You should have experienced it before. Do you want to blame yourself? Hearing this, the voice in my mind was a little bit broken and said, yes, I am scolding myself, and even more so. Scolding you. I think you are stupid enough to be the city lord. You treat your good sister's husband with your empress's tricks to oppress others. Did you get kicked in the head by a donkey? Fortunately, I used the treasure and came back, and I know how to save it. Otherwise, you will just have to wait for an empty room and become a nagging wife in the future. Gu Qingcheng. Several question marks popped up in her head. Pointing at herself in disbelief, she said incredulously, I, Gu Qingcheng, am the #1 prodigy on Blue Star, a great and powerful person who has reached the perfect level of the saint realm, with breasts and a butt, and I am also the most beautiful woman in Hanghouse. I will stay in an empty room and be a complaining woman. She felt like her brain was spinning. After a long silence, she said with a disdainful smile, I don't believe it. A number of men who admire me, the queen of Hanghouse, can be lined up from Hanghouse to Shanghai. If I really find a man, I'm afraid that man would want to be with me every day, and would not want to leave me even a step. Gu Qingcheng's pretty face darkened in the spiritual sea, and she asked, so do you like those men? Gu Qingcheng choked on her words and her face froze again. After a few seconds, he uttered a few words. I don't like it. So Gu Qingcheng sneered, that's it, the man you married is much better than you. If it weren't for some things, he wouldn't look down on you. Let me tell you, Ziran, Xiaoxi and Xiaobing are not the only ones chasing after him. You, Gu Qingcheng, were also chasing after him. Gu Qingcheng opened her mouth, and her concepts and cognition were strongly impacted, like a huge wave, hitting her fiercely. After a long while, she managed to utter, is there really a man better than me in this world? The soul Gu Qingcheng cursed. Nonsense, you really take yourself seriously. Compared with the myriad races in the universe, you are nothing now. Once you have seen all the races in the universe, you will know how outstanding he is. It's you now who has made me stay alone in an empty room, full of resentment like a crazy woman all day long. I hate you now. Gu Qingcheng's mouth twitched. Even old Gu hates her? Gu Qingcheng said, I can feel the resentment in your heart. So, in the future, I will really become a crazy woman full of resentment. Gu Qingcheng's face turned red, and he felt that he couldn't save face. Anyway, you should find a way to save it, otherwise you will have to go through the same old path all over again. By the way, your future husband is also Xiaoyi. You are just like Ziran, Xiaoxi and Xiaobing, you are all Xiaoyi's beast mother. How could she say that she was a crazy woman in front of her younger self? And let Xiaogu think that she was a crazy woman, so she simply changed the subject and diverted Xiaogu's attention. With a clang, the teacup in Gu Qingcheng's hand fell to the ground, and the tea splashed all over the floor. She stood there in a daze, completely stunned. I, Gu Qingcheng, am also Xiaoyi's beast girl? Gu Qingcheng, the spirit, looked at Xiaogu's silly look and muttered inwardly, am I revealing too much information? What if I forcefully change too many things that are happening now? And what happens in the future? Or get it, I can't reveal any more information. I just need to restrain my strong and self-willed personality a little bit so that Xiaoyi won't hate me so much. After thinking it over, Gu Qingcheng's soul had a clearer idea of what he should do, so he said, don't just stand there. Xiaoyi, you don't want your best sisters to hate you, do you? Don't worry about whether Xiaoyi is your future husband or not. Right now, you should think of a way to save your impression in Ziran's heart and save the hard-earned sisterhood. Remember two things first. Don't be so aggressive in your attitude second. Listen to your good sister's opinions, just do these two things well. Gu Qingcheng felt very annoyed and took off her armor, revealing a slim light robe underneath. After a long silence, she stood up and said, if you ask me, I don't want to lose my good sister Ziran. After picking up the armor on the ground, she placed a top gray crystal core of a great venerable on the table and hurriedly left the demon in. Chapter 425 Ziran, Gu Qingcheng, we don't want to see you. Ziran hurriedly ran out of the inn. With an anxious look on her pretty and pure face, she rushed into the bustling crowd on the street, looking left and right, but there was no sign of Xiaoyi. It's over. Xiaoyi must be angry. Fortunately, the power of the contract can sense the current location of the contractor. After sensing it, Ziran hurriedly ran in a certain direction forward. At this time, in front of a shadow play stall, Xiao Yi was squatting on the side of the road, eating melon seeds and watching the shadow show behind the crowd with great interest. The stall owner was controlling a female warrior in armor to fight against a ferocious and huge tiger. The shadows of the battle between the man and the tiger appeared on the screen. The tiger was majestic, ferocious and tall. The armored female war god slapped it to death with lightning speed. Good. Great. Wonderful. Yes, the Empress has extraordinary skills and amazing talent. She killed the Beast King in one move. It perfectly restores the essence of that battle. The residents watching cheered loudly. The corner of Xiao Yi's mouth twitched. In such a brief battle, the shadow play first highlighted the tiger's power, and then the armored female war god killed it instantly with one move. What's so exciting about it? Anyway, he couldn't see what was so exciting about it. But the audience residents surrounding the stall all had fanatical eyes and were extremely excited, and they said good from the bottom of their hearts. Xiao Yi said with emotion, "The Empress may have some problems as a person, but she has done a very good job in winning people's hearts. This one is difficult to get along with. Too strong." He only dared to mutter this in a low voice, otherwise if these fanatical people heard him, he would probably be beaten. Suddenly, a fragrant breeze blew from the side, and a graceful figure squatted beside him. She grabbed a handful of melon seeds with her small hands and started watching the short shadow show on the screen of the shadow placed all that cycled every 2 minutes. "Xiao Yi, so you are here. It's Ziran." A man and a woman were squatting on the side of the road. Xiao Yi was stunned. "You came out so soon. Don't you want to reminisce with the Queen of Hanghouse City?" Ziran said indignantly. "What the hell are you talking about? She knows that you are my husband, but she still treats you like that. She has no manners at all. She doesn't give me face, so I won't give her face." The two watched the shadow play again. After the shadow play was over, the crowd of residents who had gathered around cheered again. Xiao Yi said with emotion, "You are a good sister, and you have a very high status in the hearts of the people." Ziran glanced at these people and said, "I guess these people are all Gu King Cheng's fanatical fans. If she doesn't apologize to you, I never want to see her again." Xiao Yi was stunned. "She's your good sister. Why did you make such a rash decision?" Ziran snorted. "So what if she's just a good sister? In my heart, she's nothing compared to one of your leg hairs." Xiao Yi smiled and said, "The Queen of Hanghouse is so high up, I don't think it's possible for her to apologize to me." Ziran said distaffingly, "I think she has been the city lord for too long and has lost her manners. If she still considers me her good sister, she has to apologize whether she wants to or not." Xiao Yi felt a little touched. Did Ziran hold such a high position in his heart? After squatting on the side of the road for a while, the two men got up and went about their business. The two asked around and found out that the Secretary of Hanghouse Space City was open to residents. Xiao Yi and Ziran asked along the way and arrived in front of a magnificent hall. Hanghouse Secret Place. Entering the main hall, there were long queues at each service window. On the big screen above, secret places are marked one by one. Secret Realm No. 1. A magical beast. Secret realm with 5 elements attributes. Secret Realm No. 2. A magical beast. Secret realm with wind, thunder and lightning attributes. Secret Realm No. 3. A secret realm of Warcraft with light and dark attributes. Secret Realm No. 4. Magical beast. Secret realm with phantom attributes. Ziran had sharp eyes and moved his gaze all the way down to find Secret Realm No. 20. A secret realm with special attributes. It was also specifically stated that one needed 100,000 merit points to enter. Merit points? Merit points that can only be obtained by killing monsters. This is a bit difficult. Do we still have to kill monsters to gain merit points? She looked embarrassed and felt a little troubled. Xiao Yi smiled and said, "I have a way." He came to the entrance of the hall, where there were 2 rows of people maintaining order. There was a man who was obviously the leader of the team. He stuffed a venerable realm crystal core into the leader and said with a smile, "Hello, sir. We are from out of town and would like to explore the secret realm of Hanghouse. Can you please help us? We want to enter the secret realm No. 20. The captain of the order's eyes lit up, and he put away the venerable realm crystal core, saying, "Secret realm No. 20 is not possible. You can enter the first 10 secret realms. The first 10 secret realms do not require merit points. You just want to cut in line." He rubbed his fingers together and hinted, "As long as this is in place, I'll lead you to cut in line." Xiao Yi took out a great venerable top-grade crystal core and stuffed it into his hand, saying, "We just want to enter secret realm No. 20. Please give us some convenience." "Sir." The captain of the order looked a little embarrassed, but he took the crystal core swiftly and said, "You guys come with me." Xiao Yi and the other person followed him and entered the back of the secret hall, where they saw a muscular man who looked strong and powerful. The captain of order whispered a few words into the muscular man's ear and left. A smile appeared on the muscular man's face. I am the deacon of the secret realm hall, you can call me Deacon Tang. Xiao Yi took out another great venerable top-grade crystal core, placed it on the table, and said, Deacon Tang, we want to enter secret realm no, 20. The muscular man's face darkened and he said bluntly, not enough. Xiao Yi's mouth twitched, and he took out a disposable defensive item of the supreme realm and placed it on the table. The muscular man's face changed, and he immediately laughed and said, isn't it just secret realm no, 20? Secret realms are open to everyone. Seeing his expression, Ziran was speechless and asked, Deacon Tang, are there any magical beasts with creative attributes in secret realm no, 20? The muscular man rubbed his fingers together and said with a smile, it's a bit difficult for me to reveal the information of the special secret realm. Xiao Yi directly took out a lower-grade crystal core of the supreme realm, placed it on the table, and said, these are all given to Deacon Tang. Deacon Tang, please help us solve our doubts. Deacon Tang smiled broadly, and with a wave of his hand he collected the 2 crystal cores and a prop on the table, and said enthusiastically, my lords, secret realms 20 to 30 are all special secret realms. The creative monsters that the 2 adults need exist in the special secret realm no. 25, please follow me. He led the way enthusiastically. When he reached the door, his face suddenly changed. He hurriedly returned the crystal core and props to Xiao Yi and said expressionlessly, sorry, special secret realms require merit points to enter. You need to obtain merit points first. Xiao Yi's face was full of question marks. She was so enthusiastic just now. Why did he regret it now? When a lady in a white robe with bright eyes, white teeth and an upright figure came in from the door, Xiao Yi understood. Accepting bribes violates the rules of the base city and undermines the fairness of the residents of the secret realm. You should take off your deacon robe and resign from your position, she said without any doubt. Yes, thank you, Her Majesty, for your magnanimity. The muscular Deacon Tang left with a look of fear on his face. It was Gu Qingcheng after the muscular man left. Her majestic expression softened a bit. She looked at Ziran and Xiao Yi and said with a smile, just tell me what you want. No need to go through so much trouble if you want to enter a secret realm. Ziran turned away and snorted, what are you doing here? We don't want to see you. The smile on Gu Qingcheng's pretty face froze, as if her throat was strangled and her words were choked. Chapter 426 Empress, will I become a little fangler? Gu Qingcheng showed a bitter look on her face. Feeling very uncomfortable, she said, Ziran, don't you even want to see your good sisters? Ziran snorted coldly, do you still consider me your good sister? Gu Qingcheng said firmly, of course. No matter how long we are separated, whether it is 1,000 years or 10,000 years, the 4 of us will be good sisters for life. Ziran rolled her eyes. Since you treat me as a good sister, you have to accept that Xiao Yi is my husband. When will you apologize to Xiao Yi? I will pay attention to you again. Gu Qingcheng felt very uncomfortable at this moment. She deeply realized that the man next to her meant much more to Ziran in her heart than her good sister. But who is she? She is Gu Qingcheng, the queen of Hanghouse. And she is asked to apologize to a man. How is it possible? Xiao Yi leaned against the door, whistling, looking away, looking very leisurely. Gu Qingcheng was a little annoyed and said, be quiet. Xiao Yi shrugged, walked out alone, and whistled in the hall. Gu Qingcheng. Well, I didn't mean to chase him away. Seeing Ziran's darkened face, her usually calm heart began to show a trace of panic. Ziran said with a dark face, what's wrong with someone whistling? Does it bother you? I think you've been the empress for too long and have become too overbearing and too strong. Gu Qingcheng's face froze and she opened her mouth, not knowing what to say. At this moment, the voice of Gu Qingcheng sounded in her mind. My husband was really handsome when he was young. Even whistling was so handsome. He is worthy of being my Gu Qingcheng's husband. Xiao Gu, hurry up and chase him out. I want to see my husband when he was young. Gu Qingcheng. Oh my god, in the future, I will become that man's little fangler. Could such a loving and coquettish stone really come out of Gu Qingcheng's mouth? Once again, she felt her cognition being violently slapped. Old Gu. Shut up, Gu Qingcheng said in her spiritual sea. I, the queen of Hanghouse, would never speak like that. It's too embarrassing. When you speak, I speak. I don't allow you to speak in such a coquettish tone. Remember that. The soul of Gu Qingcheng rolled his eyes and said inferently, why are you embarrassed? You will change in the future and speak like this. Gu Qingcheng's mouth twitched, and her thoughts were very complicated. I shook my head to clear away these distracting thoughts. She took out a purple token from her bosom, placed it in Ziran's hand, and said, this is the highest authority token of the secret realm hall. Let's show this token to any secret realm you want to go to. Ziran's face lit up. She put the token away. Her attitude improved a little. Her tone became gentler, and she said, I still say the same thing. Xiao Yi is my husband. You made him angry. You must apologize to him. If you still think of me as your good sister who wears the same pants as you. After saying that, Ziran passed by Gu Qingcheng and came to Xiaoyi with a fragrant breeze. She hugged Xiaoyi's arm affectionately and said with a smile, "Xiaoyi, let's go into Secret Realm No. 25 and kill the creative monsters to obtain resources." Gu Qingcheng had a complicated expression on her face as she watched the two of them quietly not far away. Gu Qingcheng, the soul of the soul, snorted jealously, "Ziran, this slut, looks like a pure goddess, but her seductive methods are endless, and she has bewitched Xiaoyi at this moment. Xiao Gu, learn this. It will be useful in the future." Gu Qingcheng's face turned dark and the corners of his mouth kept twitching. She is the queen of Hanghouse, how can she learn these tricks to seduce men? No. The soul Gu Qingcheng was anxious and snorted, "Xiao Gu, you will regret it." Gu Qingcheng sneered, "I, the queen of Hanghouse, will regret it?" In the hall, Xiaoyi and Ziran went directly to the captain of the order team and showed him the purple token. "This is the Empress's token, take us to the special secret realm No. 25. The captain of the order suddenly changed his attitude and became very respectful. His face was solemn and he said, "My lords, please follow me." In this way, the two followed the captain of order and came directly to the teleportation entrance of Secret Realm No. 25. "My lords, you can enter the special secret realm from here. You can stay here as long as you want and obtain any resources in the secret realm. There are no restrictions. Do you want me to send a team of great venerable S to assist you?" Ziran waved her hand, "No need, just do what you are supposed to do." After saying that, the two held hands and entered the teleportation array. After the teleportation array was activated, their figures disappeared. The captain of the order had cold sweat on his forehead and took a deep breath. He felt that the great venerable crystal core in his arms was a hot potato and wanted to throw it away immediately. Suddenly he turned his head and was startled, almost frightened out of his wits. She knelt on one knee, clasped his fists, and said, "Meet the Empress." Gu Qingcheng waved her hand and said, "You can leave now." Yes, the captain of order went out with trembling legs. If he was caught accepting bribes, he would be dead. Gu Qingcheng looked at the empty teleportation array and felt bitter in her heart, thinking of the intimate ways Ziran hugged Xiaoyi. She felt a little sour in her heart again. A man is actually trying to snatch the place in Ziran's heart from me. I don't believe that our sisterhood, which is closer than that of close relatives, will be crushed by a man. After hearing this, Shenhun Gu Qingcheng's expression became complicated. At this point in time, she would be jealous of the sisterhood. But in the future, she would be jealous of Xiaoyi. At that time, he wished he could stick with Xiaoyi every day and compete with Ziran and other beast girls for the chance to be alone with Xiaoyi. Gu Qingcheng walked forward, stepped into the teleportation array, and entered the special secret realm No. 25. Xiaoyi and Ziran appeared in a gray sky and earth. Looking down from an altitude of 10,000 meters, you can vaguely see huge mountain ranges located everywhere in the small world. Both of them possess creative attributes and can sense creative energy. There is a strong creative energy on the smallest mountain. I guess most of the creative monsters in this secret realm are gathered on that mountain. Xiaoyi came to the conclusion. In this secret realm, there are also 5 element attribute beasts, and light and dark attribute beasts. Ziran's holy realm divine consciousness swept out, reflecting the situation of most of the small world into his mind. There are probably thousands of creative monsters on that small mountain range. Xiaoyi, we must have enough resources. The two crossed the void and came to the small mountain range. Why don't we catch them all and keep some in captivity? Xiaoyi said after thinking for a while as he looked at the creative monsters crawling on the ground, flying in the sky, and burrowing in the ground. The resources used in the Holy Land are fragments of rules. A holy realm with creative attributes must absorb the power of rules from the crystallization of creative rule fragments. Ziran's beautiful eyes lit up, she clapped her hands and said, "Okay." Then her powerful holy power pushed out, pressing all the creative monsters to crawl on the ground, unable to move. She captured the monsters one by one and imprisoned them in the open space in front of her. 1. 260 The creative monsters gathered together and were trapped in front of the two people. Chapter 427 Future Empress, I will control the body. Xiaoyi smacked his lips and said in surprise, "So fast?" Ziran proudly raised her fair swan neck, held her head high, and said with a grin, "Yes, how about it, Xiaoyi? Wouldn't it be very happy to be my husband?" Xiaoyi looked at the creative monsters and Ziran's flat and delicate body, nodded, and then shook his head. "Ziran?" She looked down and saw the back of her feet. Ziran was a little annoyed and snorted, "Xiaoyi, you despise me." But she clearly remembered what Yun Bing told her, that when Mu Qingzu had a poor figure, Xiaoyi despised Mu Qingzu. This is probably what Xiaoyi wanted to express just now. Xiaoyi put his hand through Ziran's slender waist, held her in his arms, and said with a smile, "No, why should I dislike you? I've seen you at your peak and your lowest point. I've been with you and experienced the ups and downs with you." Ziran wasn't going to listen and her pretty and innocent face was filled with anger. No, the look in his eyes just now meant that he disliked my flat body. There are no breasts and no butt. Not far away, Gu Qingcheng was standing in my drawer wearing a slim white robe, looking at the two of them. Suddenly her face was full of joy, and she smiled with the corners of her mouth raised. Ziran is angry as expected. Ziran doesn't love that man that much. In Ziran's heart, our sisterhood is definitely more important than our husband-wife relationship. Her eyes focused and she saw Ziran having her thigh touched. Damn it, he was taken advantage of, but Ziran didn't even hit him. Do you want me to teach that frivolous man a lesson? Gu Qingcheng, the soul of the soul, was anxious and immediately spoke out to stop her, saying, "At that time, I really was a fool because I was the empress. Didn't you see that it was that bitch Ziran who seduced my husband?" Thus now she pretended to be angry, trying to arouse her husband's sympathy. Look at Ziran's expression now, isn't it full of shyness, but amidst the shyness, there is a strong sense of excitement. Gu Qingcheng stared at it. Really? Ziran lowered her head at this time. Her innocent face was covered with shyness, but the joy in her beautiful eyes could not be concealed and revealed. Moreover, it was Ziran herself who lifted up her purple skirt, exposing her long, white, tender and long legs to Xiao Yi's sight. Gu Qingcheng was speechless for a moment. It seems maybe, it's really as you said. At this time, Gu Qingcheng was a little furious. This slut, no wonder Xiao Yi doted on her so much. Leaving me alone in the empty room for more than 10 years, it turns out that she is skilled in seduction. Xiao Gu, you better watch out and learn more about this bitch's seduction techniques. Your figure is much better than Ziran's now. If you use these seduction methods, you will definitely attract your husband's attention. If you wait a few months and Ziran recovers her figure, you won't have any advantage. Gu Qingcheng's face darkened and he angrily said, "Shut up. I, the queen of Hanghouse, will never learn such tactics used by lickers. I, Gu Qingcheng, would never hook up with a man." Shenchen. Gu Qingcheng was speechless. "I am doing this for your own good, and for your own good. You should change your stubborn ideas and learn to adapt. Forget it, there's no point in telling you so much. I'll regret it when your mentality changes. If you don't learn, I will learn it myself. Anyway, every once in a while, what I see and hear at this point in time will be transmitted back to 100 years later through the treasure. If I learn something, you will learn something 100 years later." Gu Qingcheng's face couldn't be any darker, and he almost broke down. She didn't learn, but Lao Gu did. Isn't this the same as her getting slapped in the face by herself? Then Gu Qingcheng asked incredulously, 100 years later, you are still alone in an empty room? Speaking of this spirit, Gu Qingcheng was completely furious. Yes. It's because of you now that my husband has a very bad impression of us, causing me to stay in an empty room every day and become a crazy woman full of resentment. Gu Qingcheng, you really deserve to die. Gu Qingcheng. If someone else cursed her for being damned, she would have slapped that person into a pulp. But the person cursing her, no, a wisp of soul, was her future self. She felt speechless after being scolded by herself. Shenhun. Gu Qingcheng said, "Okay, don't stand here. Go over and apologize quickly to save the sisterhood." Gu Qingcheng, "No. I am the queen of Hanghouse. The person who can accept my apology has not yet been born. You all say how outstanding the man next to Ziran is, but I don't see how outstanding he is. This man is just an old pervert. I guess he only thinks with his lower body." The soul. Gu Qingcheng was anxious. "If you don't go, I will. You can't let go of your face, let me do it. Your spirit and I are one. You release the restrictions and I will control your body. Is that okay?" He must not let the same mistake happen again. She, the future Gu Qingcheng, doesn't want to stay in an empty room anymore. She wanted to change Xiao Yi's stereotype of her. The treasure that can travel through time and space was obtained by her at a huge price in the future. The consumption of running such a treasure is also very high. She, the future Gu Qingcheng, must do everything possible to make Xiao Yi not hate her and pamper her. Gu Qingcheng. Gu Qingcheng opened her mouth, hesitating for a while before making a decision. 10 minutes. You can only take over physical control for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I will take control back. We have 3 rules. 1. We are just trying to save our sisterhood and not get close to that man. 2. You are not allowed to talk nonsense. Calling him husband ruins my image and makes me lose face. 3. Don't lift up your skirt and show off your long legs. Don't let that man take advantage of me. Gu Qingcheng was speechless. I promise you. Now you don't want him to take advantage of you when the time comes. Even if you want him to take advantage of you, he won't even look at you. Gu Qingcheng sneered. Anyway, you are not allowed to violate these 3 points. Okay. I'll let go of my soul, and you'll take over control of my body. The soul of Gu Qingcheng rubbed her hands. Her pretty face was extremely excited. And she said inwardly, "Husband, I Gu Qingcheng am back." The other side. Xiao Yi rubbed Ziran's long and tender legs with his rough hands and said with a smile, "Ziran. Pick out 50 old, weak, sick and disabled monsters so that I can get resources. As for the other creative monsters, we will keep them in captivity. Ziran felt itchy when being touched. She clamped her legs together, lowered her beautiful eyes, and said, okay. She swept out with her spiritual thoughts, searching carefully among the creative monsters huddled together in front of her. She found the old, weak, sick and disabled monsters one by one, then carried them out one by one and placed them on the open space behind her. 5 minutes later, 50 old, weak, sick and disabled creative monsters were selected and placed on the open space behind them. Ziran seemed to be asking for credit and said, Xiaoyi, I've chosen it. This matter is entirely up to me. It's all my effort. You have to reward me. Reward me well tonight. A crisp sound was heard, and Xiaoyi slapped her long legs hard, leaving a red palm print, and said, no problem. You said it. Ziran was beaten but had a smile on his face, looking very happy. Chapter 428. The future Empress apologizes. Not only will you reward me tonight, but you'll also have to help me get back in shape. You promise me to get back in shape. Ziran took the opportunity to add conditions. Xiaoyi smiled and said, okay. Okay, I'll do whatever you say. You are my beast mother after all. Ziran's innocent little face was full of smiles. She was very happy inside. She came over and kissed Xiaoyi, saying, thank you, husband. Ziran suddenly felt a resentful gaze staring at her. When she turned around, she saw that the queen of Hang House, Gu Qingcheng, had come to her side at some point and was looking at her with a look of resentment and hatred. What's that look? Ziran's mouth twitched. Gu Qingcheng, why are you here? Are you here to apologize to Xiaoyi? Not likely. With Gu Qingcheng's arrogance and personality at that moment, it was impossible for her to apologize to Xiaoyi. What? I can't come. Are you allowed to come here, at this time? The one who controlled the body was the future Gu Qingcheng. Facing Ziran's question, the future Gu Qingcheng responded with a hint of gunpowder. Ziran shrugged, thinking that it was because of her bad attitude towards her that made her angry, which was why the atmosphere was so tense. Future Gu Qingcheng looked at the present Ziran carefully. She was wearing a purple dress, which showed off her tall and slender figure. Her beautiful face looked like the face of every man's first love, very pure. This slut is too good at seducing men. She and other beast girls have seduced Xiaoyi away dozens of times, leaving me alone in the empty room. Xiaoyi's eyes wandered, looking elsewhere and whistling. Future Gu Qingcheng shifted her gaze, and the moment she saw Xiaoyi, it seemed as if Xiaoyi was the only one left in the world. A hint of tenderness emerged in her beautiful eyes that were full of majesty. She blurted out, husband, I. Before she could finish her words, the present Gu Qingcheng in her body hurriedly stopped her and communicated in her mind, saying, and I haven't even started dating yet, so why call me husband? Just call me by my name. Gu Qingcheng, who was controlling the future body, was in a trance for a moment, and responded in his mind, okay. Xiaoyi, who was whistling, was stunned. She called me husband? I must have heard it wrong. This person had a very bad attitude towards him. He probably wanted to kill him. How could he call him husband? Husband means husband. How could he call him husband? I must have heard it wrong. In the future, Gu Qingcheng's expression was complicated, and the look she gave Xiaoyi revealed deep longing, as well as a hint of dissatisfaction and resentment. Having experienced more than 100 years with Xiaoyi, and witnessed his rise, and seen him achieve supreme success and sweep across all races, coupled with some other experiences, she has come to love and hate him to the core. This man made her love and hate him. Seeing that the situation was not good, Ziran stood in front of Xiaoyi, staring at Gu Qingcheng with her beautiful eyes, and said unhappily, Qingcheng, what do you want to do? I'm here. Don't think about hurting Xiaoyi, unless you step over my dead body. Future Gu Qingcheng snorted and said, I never thought of hurting him. Ziran, you worry too much. Ziran immediately felt relieved and her eyes softened. Gu Qingcheng always kept her word. And since she said so, she would definitely not hurt Xiaoyi. So are you here to apologize to Xiaoyi? Ziran asked in surprise. Future Gu Qingcheng nodded, and all her aura was restrained. The strong sense of oppression completely disappeared, and her pretty face, which was full of majesty, was filled with smiles. Are you really here to apologize? Ziran found it incredible, so she moved aside and stopped standing between the two of them. If Gu Qingcheng could really put aside her pride, accept Xiaoyi, and live in harmony with him, Ziran would be very happy to see it. Ziran doesn't want to lose her good sister Gu Qingcheng. Ziran licked her lips and said with a smile, go ahead. Future Gu Qingcheng nodded and said in a soft and warm voice, thank you. She walked up to Xiaoyi, looked at the tall and handsome Xiaoyi, took a deep breath, and said almost eagerly and humbly, Xiaoyi, it was me. Gu Qingcheng, who was wrong before. I apologize to you. I hope you will be magnanimous and forgive me this time. From now on, I will treat you as the husband of a good sister, and we can live in harmony with each other. Xiaoyi. And you, Can you forgive me? The majesty on her pretty face completely disappeared in an instant, replaced by a nervous face and eyes full of pleading. Xiao Yi. Such words could actually come out of the mouth of the Queen of Hanghouse. Is the sun rising from the west? His eyes were focused on Gu Qingcheng's beautiful face. And when he saw the look full of desire, he was stunned. He actually saw tension and pleading on the face of the strong and domineering Queen of Hanghouse. Tension and pleading were actually shown on the face of the Queen of Hanghouse. He was stunned. Seeing that Xiao Yi didn't say anything, Gu Qingcheng became even more uneasy. A look of deep sorrow appeared on her pretty face, and her hands were nervously pinching the hem of her skirt. What if Xiao Yi doesn't forgive me? Will I have to stay in an empty room for the next 100 years? I am really damned at this point in time. The first impression is very important, but at this point in time, the first impression I gave to my husband was extremely bad. Extremely bad. Since Sister Qingcheng has apologized so sincerely, I, Xiao Yi, am not the kind of man who cares about every little thing. Sister Qingcheng is Sister Zieron's good sister. We may meet each other every day in the future. It is naturally better for us to live in harmony. After Xiao Yi was stunned for a while, a smile appeared on his handsome face with sharp edges like those carved by a knife, and he spoke in a gentle voice. After saying this, he immediately moved closer to Zieran and whispered, Sister Zieran, your good sister's attitude changes very quickly. You to have a really strong sisterhood. Zieran laughed and said, that's right, we are good sisters who can wear the same pants. And she frowned. But I feel like there's something wrong with Qingcheng. She's like a little woman, and her emotions towards you are not right. Beside him, future Gu Qingcheng smiled. The anxiety and restlessness in her heart faded away. She seemed to relax and felt more comfortable than ever before. Good. Great. As long as she changes Xiao Yi's first impression of her and makes Xiao Yi not hate her so much in the future, things will be much easier. Then, she won't have to stay in an empty room like a mad woman, full of resentment every day. Thinking that she might be favored by Xiao Yi every few days or every day, Gu Qingcheng's beautiful face smiled. And with a slurry, saliva dripped from the corners of her mouth. Lao Gu, you bastard. What did you say? Can you speak? I am the Queen of Hanghouse City, a little girl? In my mind, Gu Qingcheng was angry and furious. Your tone is still humble, like a prisoner begging that man. Old Gu, you are that man's beast mother, but I, Gu Qingcheng, have nothing to do with him now. Please pay attention to your tone and your demeanor. What you say and do now represent me, the Queen of Hanghouse. Also put away the dog-licking look on my face and wipe off the saliva, because a man is drooling. Lao Gu, you are really bad, she said without question. Future Gu Qingcheng slurped, stretched out a little fish from her mouth and licked her lips, and said silently in her mind, Xiao Gu, why are you complaining like that? What I just did was for the sake of our sexual happiness for the rest of our lives. What's wrong with being a little humble? Don't even mention saying a word. If you hadn't set the rules, I would kneel down and beg him. Or even be his maid. Anyway, he is my husband. I, Gu Qingcheng, only have him as my man. I am willing to do anything for him. At this moment, Gu Qingcheng's face turned black and he almost vomited blood. I, the Queen of Hanghouse, kneel down and beg him to be his maid. Chapter 429, The Empress' Curiosity Grows, and the Beginning of Her Fall. I, the Queen of Hanghouse, kneel down and beg him to be his maid? Impossible. Old Gu, you are really unreasonable. Have you ruined my future? In her mind, Gu Qingcheng asked in disbelief. Gu Qingcheng, who was controlling the future body, rolled his eyes and responded in his mind, you are the one who has been played badly. In the past 100 years, he has favored me less than a handful of times. It's because of you now that I don't even have the chance to be played with. I send him messages every month to express my need for his favor, and even prepare sexy uniforms, but he just ignores me and turns a blind eye. Do you know how painful it is for me? All of this is caused by you now. You really deserve to die, Gu Qingcheng. Fortunately, I borrowed a time-traveling treasure from my husband at a great cost, and now I am here, and can slightly change some current events. Otherwise I will be in pain for the rest of my life. Gu Qingcheng. In the future, she actually wants to be played badly. The future Gu Qingcheng actually became an unsatisfied woman. Without that man's favor. I feel very painful inside. The corners of her mouth twitched and she felt very speechless. No, that man looks ordinary. Just a little handsome, but he doesn't have any special features. Why do you like him? Gu Qingcheng was puzzled. Future Gu Qingcheng sneered, ordinary? In the future, he will aspire to be the supreme ruler. Sit on the supreme throne of the universe, and command all races in the universe, and you actually say that he is just ordinary. You are really ignorant. Don't think that you are the Queen of Hanghouse and you are very glorious, but in fact, you are just a frog in the well and an ignorant country bumpkin. Don't even mention your future self. Your current self is nothing in front of him. A frog in a well, a country bumpkin. Gu Qingcheng was simply speechless. She is the #1 prodigy of the older generation in Dragon Country. Her talent is unmatched and she is an extraordinary genius. I was actually called a worthless bumpkin by my future self, she said irritably. No evidence, no one knows if you are lying or not. I don't believe it, future Gu King Cheng said inferently. You will believe it. Okay, the apology is done, come back. Gu King Cheng immediately regained control of her body, and the soul of future Gu King Cheng returned to her spiritual sea. Future Gu King Cheng said dissatisfied lie, I still want to stay with my husband for a while. Why are you so anxious? The 10 minutes are not up yet. Gu King Cheng responded in her mind, your brain is broken. Unless it is an important matter, I will not let you control your body anymore so as to prevent you from doing something out of line or saying something out of line. The apology is complete. Ziran has forgiven me. Future Gu King Cheng's face darkened. Gu King Cheng regained control of her body, and her majesty naturally emanated from her aura became sharp. She ignored the words of Gu King Cheng in her mind, and instead looked at Ziran and Xiao Yi. She is now very curious about what is so outstanding about Xiao Yi that he can make her future self so excited. At this time, Xiao Yi put his arm around Ziran's shoulders, pointed at the 50-old, weak, sick and disabled creationite monsters behind him and said, kill them all, and keep their bodies intact. After I kill him, I can get the resources. Ziran smiled and said, okay. She just waved her hand and a powerful force swept out, breaking into energy blades that crushed down. A hiss, chai, chai, sound was heard. The old, weak, sick and disabled creative monsters were cut in half vertically by the sharp energy blades and died on the spot. Ziran asked for credit. Xiao Yi, are you satisfied? Xiao Yi pinched her butt and said with a smile, satisfied, very satisfied. Gu King Cheng, who was standing aside, looked at Xiao Yi's actions with contempt in her eyes. This man is an old pervert who lives off his wife and loves to take advantage of others. Excellent? Where is the excellence? She didn't notice at all. Ziran chuckled. When you reward me tonight, you must do your best to satisfy me. Xiao Yi replied, yes, I will definitely satisfy you. Ziran felt very happy, and the smile on her pretty and innocent face blossomed like a fresh flower. Gu King Cheng's mouth twitched, and she looked at her good sisters Oran in disbelief. Ziran actually begged this man to bully her, and tried his best to bully her until she was satisfied. Is this still the Ziran that I, Gu King Cheng, know? In his mind, the soul Gu King Cheng snorted coldly, with a sour tone. This bitch, her methods of seducing my husband are really sophisticated. I wonder why my husband likes her so much. Kill a few low-level monsters and you can make requests. Okay, let's play it this way. I have also learned this method of asking for credit and making requests. Now is the time to learn a few more ways to seduce a husband. Hearing the jealous words of the soul Gu King Cheng, the corner of Gu King Cheng's mouth twitched. No, you really are learning? You really want to use this kind of method that only a dog would use? Gu King Cheng said, speechless lie in her mind. Shen Hun Gu King Cheng said as a matter of course. Nonsense, why would I learn it if I don't need it? That's right, I just hope my husband won't be so cold. And I can use this seduction method to get him to pay attention to me, otherwise I can't use any seduction methods at all. Gu King Cheng. My future self will really be so excited that he will pout. Even when using such shameful means, she still has to worry about whether the man will pay attention to her. What a sin! I, the Queen of Hanghouse, have become such a humble woman. Xiao Yi patted Ziran's flat butt and said, it's my turn to take action next. Ziran nodded obediently. Yeah? Gu King Cheng's expression straightened, and she stared at Xiao Yi closely. Is this man finally going to take action? Well, let me see what's so great about the man who makes my future self pout. Xiao Yi looked at the 50 creative monsters that were split in half and waved his hand. Start the template adjuster to extract the regular fragment crystallization function. Extraction rule fragment crystal selection, creative type. An almighty power descended and covered every newly dead monster. These monsters, as if they had suffered a great terror, began to twitch all over. Half a second later, an aura of decay emanated from each of them. Their bodies became dilapidated and then turned into specks of light and dissipated in the air. Grandmaster level creative magic beast, successfully extracted 30 creative rule fragment crystals. Grandmaster level monster. Successfully extracted 40 creative rule fragment crystals. Put into storage space. Xiao Yi clapped his hands and said with a smile, okay. Ziran came over and kissed him on the face, saying, Xiao Yi, you are awesome. Gu King Cheng? Several question marks popped up in her head. What happened? She didn't sense any power, nor did she see what innate skills the man used. The man just waved his hand, and the bodies of the monsters became destroyed and then turned into powder. Gu King Cheng was shocked. Could it be that this man who made her future self so excited was actually better than her? He is so outstanding that even she, a powerful being who has reached the perfect holy realm, cannot tell what he has done? At this moment, Gu Qingcheng's heart was filled with strong curiosity about Xiaoyi. Chapter 430 Empress, I am actually not as good as him. The main reason is that her future self praised this man too much. And even her current self was nothing in front of him. As a super powerful person who has reached the perfect holy realm, she can contend against the old monster who has reached the perfect quasi-emperor realm by using her exclusive talents and skills. In the future, she should be very clear about this. But even so, her future self, or her current self, is not as good as this man. In Gu Qingcheng's heart, Xiaoyi seemed to be wearing a mysterious veil, becoming mysterious and advanced. As like a beautiful woman wearing gauze clothes, it makes people want to eye the gauze and see her true graceful face. In her mind, the future Gu Qingcheng saw her in shock. Of his hands on his waist, laughing proudly, and boasting. So, are you unable to detect my husband's methods? Let alone the you now, even if you are given another 10 years. You still won't be able to tell the difference that is such a great power. Gu Qingcheng put away her shocked expression and twitched the corner of her mouth. Are you showing off? Return it to your husband. My future self was actually proudly showing off a man in front of me. Is this still Gu Qingcheng? Shut up. You woman who was made to pout by a man. Don't say you are Gu Qingcheng.